ever would be. It's cooler than Antarctica's weather would be. Damn, I think my swagger is a weapon to me. And dudes don't count you off the record to me. So don't be stepping to me, trying to shake my hand. I'm already the man, ain't trying to make your band. I feel the fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fact that I'm real just make them mad. I be smoking helium to inflate my swerve. I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every lady wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. 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 You're not really seeing me, dog. Real talk. You feeling whacker than you ever would be. In mind, you think you would.
Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. Y'all, we got to get into some stuff because Tami Roman went on Carlos King's podcast and exposed basketball wives. It was a very interesting conversation, and shout out to my girl. What's going on, Custom Conversation? I love you so much. What's going on, Velda? We want to talk about some stuff because I enjoyed this entire interview because it's what we've been talking about with this season of Basketball Wives. So it makes a lot of sense as to how things are really going on. It also makes you think about what's going on now with Malaysia and Brandy on this season. And is it really real? You know what I'm saying? So I want to get into it really quick. But before we do all that, let's take care of the business of this channel. If you want to join my tribe, please stay on my site. Go ahead and subscribe. Turn on your notifications. Make sure you turn them on all so you can notify every time I go live. Like the video to keep me in the algorithm. Share the video to keep me in the algorithm. And also comment in the comment section to keep me in the algorithm. If you are here in the bushes, say what's up. We're going to love you as well. Let's go ahead and play the intro of this channel. And in the words of Tami Roman, let's get into it. Boom.
I'm fly, yes, I'm high, yes. Every wanna get to this guy, yes. Go out tonight, I just might, yes. Style cleaner than yours, so don't buy, yes. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair. I'm so debonair, so debonair.
All right, y'all, I am back. Listen, Cindy, do you want to come up? Because I know we do this stuff together. Do you want to come up for this conversation? Because I will drop the link for you so we can talk about this together. But while I'm doing that and while I'm waiting for Cindy to respond, what's going on, Sassy Peach? What's going on, Ricardo? What's going on, DV? What's going on, Candace Love? Again, what's going on, Cindy C? Cindy, again, if you want me to, I will drop the link for you so that we can talk about this together. Like, I love this interview. I loved it. So I'm down for it. I want you to come up here with me though. Hey, SoDeb, what's going on, Miss Robin? I'm working, Kiki, so I'm only hiding a little. Okay. Not sure. Okay. All right. I'm gonna drop the link for you, Cindy. I'm dropping this for Cindy, y'all. That's it. So while Cindy's going on here, have you guys listened to the interview? If you have, put a 1 in the chat. If you have not, put a 2 in the chat. So I want to know who has heard it because Tami dropped some jewels. And I also want to bring this back to Kenya Moore as well, but we'll talk about that, later on. What's going on, Lala Chanel? Spill the yes. And if you guys have not already, support Richie Sky. Richie Sky has done a really good review on this. It was really dope. So check out Richie Sky as well. Okay, so y'all haven't seen. Okay, good. So I'm giving y'all some stuff you haven't seen. Okay, great. Partial. Okay. Yes, the entire thing was really, really good. Tami talked about her entire career of going through, reality TV. Just her life, like, it was dope. I loved this side of Tami, for real. So I'm I'm waiting for Cindy to come up before we start talking, getting into everything. And I don't even know if Cindy has listened to it, but we'll go through it together. Uh, One, it was good. It was good. Okay, so the Sharina. I think it's Serena, but yes, okay. Yes, you're giving us exclusivity. Okay, cool. All right, I'm waiting on Cindy, y'all, real quick, and then we're gonna get into it. And thank you guys for just being here, because I don't really go live a lot, but I try to do more and more. I try to go live when I'm like passionate about stuff, so this makes more sense. And I will tell you guys something. I do want to do a. They said you got to make goals. So listen, y'all. I would love to get the goal for my Cash App or my Zelle for $30. I would also like to get. Hold on, let me find it, because I'll take this down for a second. 100 likes for this video, y'all. So if you haven't already hit that like button, please hit that like button. All right, what's going on, Cindy?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
I was
I
like,
should I should
I
have
know.
inboxed you. I totally didn't even think about it.
No, that's okay. So
Okay,
I didn't actually see the whole interview, but I did watch kind of a recap with Richie Sky. So
Richie, yeah,
yeah, so I am aware of what some of the things that she said.
and Richie did an amazing review of this.
Yes.
So I loved it. So I wanted to definitely come on and talk about it, because it's something that we do on this channel, especially with me and you. So I was like, man, when I went live, I was like, I should have hit up Cindy. So,
Raw. No, I was gonna tune in for this.
okay. All right, y'all. So I want to get into it. So Tammy broke down a lot of things. Now, we are Evelyn fans,
Right.
and I'm still an Evelyn fan, but from what I've heard from this,
I know it was rough. I was like, yikes. I mean, the whole thing with her coming on the show, she has said this in the past that she pitched herself for the show,
yeah,
and they paired her up with Shawnee, because
Shawnee,
to
yeah,
me, like I said, even though they said that they were friends, it seemed like Evelyn and her were really friends, like real
right,
friends, and not really Tammy. 'Cause they, for the first couple of seasons that she was on, she was the outsider, and they
yeah,
made her feel like that on purpose. So that was like her character, and she fell into it. But I said this on our last review that we were, before, the ones that we have done in the past. I was like, it is a show. They have to have some content for the show, right? I
right,
mean, and Tammy realized that she just put on her actor's hat, that they're not really friends, because you
right,
could see even when they weren't filming, the months that the show is not filming, it's not like they had a whole bunch of outings and interactions and stuff like that. So that was what I was trying to point out when you were talking about the situation with Brandy and Malaysia. I was just like, from even those non-twin twins, they
mhm,
said, like, they set them up to do certain things.
right.
They're going to ask, especially the key players like an Evelyn, to create a story. They needed something. So I was like, see, I told so, Deb, I told you.
But this also makes me look at the Brandy in Malaysia breakdown as,
Yeah.
is this even real? You
Yeah,
know,
that's what I'm saying, because
yeah.
I really
Which
don't
which
feel like.
which automatically I thought it wasn't. Like, I didn't
Right.
think it was.
Right.
I don't think that Brandy. I don't think that they did not talk for 3 years. I don't believe that,
Right.
because
Okay.
they have a 15-year friendship, just like Jen and Evelyn. Like, what I'm saying. I wish that Tammy would have talked about the Duffy situation on this
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah, me too. But it was interesting that one of the points that I wanted to make from last week's show is that you know or I'm sorry, this past week's show, was
Mhm.
that, when you were saying that Malaysia was a liar, I'm like, they all lie. I said that in the last review. They all do it, because here's a good point for pertaining to this particular season is that when, the non-twin twins said that they didn't even stay in that house, and yet and still all of them, none of them said that we weren't in the house. They all acted like they were in the house. They,
Yeah.
nobody called, including Brandy. She wasn't saying like, you know why are you saying that this is your house when we're staying at hotels? So in some regard, they've all lied.
Right. What's going on? The Vegas girl and Q in the chat and what was said. Um,
Hey
we're gonna get
guys.
into that. We're gonna get into that in a minute. Because I feel like again, they were, because even the twins didn't say that it was a lie on the show. They said it afterwards.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of stuff in production that they're probably not allowed to say that we don't know. They just are
Right.
trying to keep the setup of keeping a storyline going on the show. I feel like, but once again, I don't want, I don't like that narrative of like only one girl is lying because production told her to redo the scene. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like, I think that they all did that. They probably said you can't say on the show that you're not staying in the house. But so just let's look at all of the girls. They all are trying to get
Well,
their face back.
I wasn't calling Malaysia a liar because I think she was the only person who lied. I was
Uh-huh.
saying Malaysia a liar because when I guess from that scene she lied. And so
Well,
she could have
well,
said,
in
"Well,
a
I mean, I
way,
didn't know that she had slept with that man before."
right?
Instead of being like, "Oh my God, I didn't know." And I mean, from Tammy's interview, it kind of it points out a lot of things because it's like, well, um, even with the slander with Evelyn. So, well, I will get into this in a minute because
Okay.
I really want to go through this because it vindicates Evelyn a little bit, but
Yeah.
it also like vilifies what's her name? Evelyn.
Evelyn.
I said Evelyn at the same time.
It does. I mean, but I mean, the truth is just the truth. And I think
Yeah,
two things were happening. I think two
yeah.
things were happening. So anyway.
So first off, she was saying that she did not know Shawnee from she didn't get on Basketball Wives because of Shawnee.
Hmm.
She actually went, to the producers and they took a Shed Media, and one of the people that worked for Shed Media was actually worked with the Real World. That's how she got on Basketball Wives.
Yep.
And because she knew Shaq, she didn't know Shawnee, she knew Shaq.
Yep.
And I was like, that's very interesting because I think that she said that before.
Well, she said she knew of her. She
Yeah,
said that she knew of her because they lived when she was married to Kenny. They lived in the same area
right.
as Shaq.
And,
So
and she said in this interview, she said she knew Shaq because Kenny and Shaq were living in the same place, and then she realized that Shaq got married to Shawnee.
yep, that's right.
So that made sense to me because I'm like, we're all people are like they're really like going against the grain where it's like, well, they were friends, they were never really friends.
Hmm.
She also pointed out the fact that honestly, I think that me and have probably agreed on this is that the show was built around Shawnee and Evelyn's friendship.
Yes, and that's where we said that from the very beginning.
Yeah,
That was their show, and that's why when they did the spinoff for LA, they were able to go over there.
right. What's going on with Rena Carl? She said it was LaQuisha saying she just found out when she said it at the bar at the laundry party when she found out at the bowling alley. That's why she was like, "Oh yeah, that's." I was saying that. Yes. Okay.
Exactly. That we already know that though, but she also said that, I mean, I think it was almost as if like production made her reshoot the scene. So she couldn't
Right.
say I already knew. She had to act like she didn't know. And that's what they're
Right.
doing is acting. And that's what Tammy said that she had to fall into as well.
Right. Which does bring me back to this next point. She did say that she was kind of shocked about the situation with Evelyn and Kenny because she didn't know that,
Yeah.
but Evelyn reached out to her the next day and said, "I feel like they're putting us against each other."
Right. And she said that she said that Ev called her and apologized to her,
Yeah, she apologized to her, and they
and
went
then
and
they
drank the
had
next day
drinks.
together.
Yeah, then they
Yeah,
had drinks the next day. So, that's what she was saying that of course, and we've just heard it from this season from the non-twin twins that they set them up that way.
right,
And then she said that, she said that Evelyn told her that production already told that thought she
told her
knew.
that. Yeah,
Yeah. She
which makes sense,
Evelyn thought that Tammy knew is the point.
right?
I'm sorry.
And that makes sense though.
Yeah, exactly.
And I want to say what's up to Jennifer Loves Buick and just Simply's in the chat and Cheryl was in the chat. Y'all coming in late, so I'll just make sure I say hi to everybody.
Hey,
Um,
everybody.
but that makes sense to me, and
Me too.
it takes us into a place where it's like, well, Evelyn is not really the bad guy for real, you
Right.
know?
I mean, she just was doing her job. And like I said, from her other interview that she did on E, was that she said, I I was cast to be a villain and I played
Mhm.
my part very well.
Right,
That was her role on the show. That it's a
right,
job, and
right,
and that's why I think that's what I said about all of the other reality shows too, which we're not going to reference them, but it is quote unquote pieces of reality
right,
based around a show. You know what I mean? Not
right,
everything on the show is
for
true.
real, right.
Yeah.
She also talked about, the scene where she went into Dolce, Evelyn's store, her shoe store,
Yep.
and that was completely not a real situation.
I know. She said she improved and the
Yeah,
papers were blank. And I remember clutching my
yeah,
pearls during that
yeah.
scene. Yes.
But again, it makes sense though, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? And like, it's like, looking back, at this show, we knew that Evelyn and Shawnee were friends.
Absolutely.
That was a fact for
That
us.
was the fact.
I never thought that Timmy was a friend of Shawnee's at all. I never thought that.
No, no. I mean,
Never.
it's just like, and if it was like friends, it's like coworker friends. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Because like I said,
Yeah.
I never saw them outside of the show like I did with Ev and Shawnee. I
Yeah.
saw them outside of the show, but I never saw Tammy and Shawnee hanging out like that. They
Right.
only hung out for the sake of the show.
The show. Yeah.
Hmm.
Because even when it would be like, well, I haven't talked to the girls in a while, like,
Right.
we knew that Shawnee and Evelyn had been talking.
Absolutely.
We never, Tammy's always like, well, I haven't talked to them since last season, period.
Right. And that's what she kind of said too, but I'll let you get there in the interview. It's kind of like she thought that because they had the drinks and they were cool, that when she came back to film again and she
Mhm.
made the shirts that said non-mf or factor,
Right.
then she was just like, oh, okay, so
It's
this
a
is for the
game.
show. It's a
Yeah.
game. This is for the
Yeah.
show, basically.
And
Yeah.
she talked about, that's when she went into acting mode,
Yep, exactly.
which makes sense.
Totally
I mean,
makes sense. It
yes.
totally makes sense to me. Yep.
So, that part to me, it made me understand the rest of the time she was on the show.
Yep, exactly.
Um, oh, that was what do. What's going on, Evangelist Val? I see you in the chat. And y'all, please hit that like button and share the video. Subscribe to the channel, everything. Thank you, Miss Val, for that. Make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to Miss Val's channel. She's at 909 subscribers. She needs 100 more of y'all to go ahead and hit that button, that like button, and subscribe to that channel so she can monetize. So make sure you guys do that. What is going on, Karen, in the chat as well? I think that's the only new people that's there. So let's move to the next part, the Keisha situation. Did you hear this part?
Yes. I was like, what?
This shocked me.
That shocked me because first of all, I was so annoyed by Keisha. I just didn't it it shocked
Well,
me that she
and
was kind of in on it. Like
but
she
this turned people's views on Tammy around too.
yes, it did, for sure.
So the fact that this wasn't even real to me, like I feel bad.
Well, I mean, it's so interesting though. You shouldn't though. You're watching it for entertainment value. You know what I
Right.
mean? You were
What's
being
going on, Nola
entertained.
Reeds?
And it's not like you hated Tammy after it, but a lot
We
of
was
people
now people was
did.
trying to cancel the show because of that though.
Yeah, exactly. But again, that was kind of a situation that backfired, but it wouldn't have even occurred had it not been for production. They asked them to do something to create a situation. So
Right.
what she wound up creating, unfortunately, was like womp womp. But I mean, they asked her to do it. I mean, you can't be on a girls' trip for 3 days and nothing is happening when you're on a messy show. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like
Right.
they're not on a show that is about healing and friendship and all of that stuff.
Right.
They're getting paid to create drama, and so they asked him to create drama, and unfortunately that was what came of that. But so don't
See,
feel bad
and
for
see, people in
believing.
the chat is like a lot of people hated Tammy after that.
Yes, they did.
Tiffany said I stopped watching for years because of that scene with Tammy.
Yeah,
So, and the reality is that Keisha was in on it.
yeah,
She was actually dating a producer on the show.
right. And she stepped up to do that job, and I just feel like,
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like
she should have said that though.
I,
Like when she seen the backlash of Tammy, she could have said it. She could have came out and said something.
yeah, but I don't think, I mean, if she was still with that producer, she's not going to want to mess up the show, you
She
know.
ain't with the producer now.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, I mean, at that time, you can't go back and erase history. You know what I mean? Like, she's not
I
going to
think
speak.
I
You've
think
never
going
heard it.
I think as a woman, as a man, as a person, as a human being, period,
Yeah,
I might have been dating this producer, but we're not dating now. And I've seen this woman going through all this scrutiny because of this.
right.
I might need to say something.
Well, it should have been, it would have been done that year. So she probably was still with the producer. She's not, nobody is looking to track down Keisha now to ask
Right.
her thoughts. I mean, and if we really think about it, all of those girls on the show, we rarely hear the backgrounds, or, what's happening or what had happened on their seasons. We never really hear what brought them to that. Like, this is for the first time that I've heard any of those ladies go into detail about what really happened. So
Yeah.
they must have had a part of their contract, or there's a reason why they haven't been able
Well,
to talk about it.
I don't think that was part of her contract, but let's agree to disagree on that part.
Right.
But let's get into that actual situation. So Tammy was saying that they went on that trip for 3 days, like nothing was going on. Jen stayed in her room. She wouldn't come out. It was boring. So the producers asked Keisha and Tammy to do something.
Right.
Keisha agreed to it.
Right.
So when we watched it, we were like, damn, Tammy was so mean to her. And, Tammy trashed that girl. She stole her purse. And Tammy was like, I was like, yo, come get your purse.
Right.
It was
But
that simple. But the way that they put it on TV, it was like, Tammy stole that girl's purse. I'm number one on saying that. And
right.
I'm going to correct myself on this.
Right.
I've been so gung ho on Tammy stealing that girl's purse.
Yes, you have.
So I will correct myself and even apologize and say, I was wrong
Yeah.
because I
And
hated that. Like it looked bad to me, but to know that was like a scripted thing and Keisha knew about it and she
right.
went to her purse, like to me, like shame on me for even, not even, well, not shame on me because I didn't know, but
Right.
shame on Keisha for letting that go on for so long.
Right. And Tammy also said too, which I thought was interesting, was that she had gotten drunk. And so
Yeah.
she was drunk, and so she was like that it
Well,
just
she didn't
happened to
admit,
turn out.
she didn't admit to being drunk on that. She admitted to being drunk with Mika.
Oh yes, with Mika. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. But
She never
what
admitted to
she
being drunk with Keisha.
right. So not with Keisha. What she admitted to for Keisha was that she did feel bad. She shouldn't have gone through her purse.
Right.
That was the thing that she felt bad about. And she said that she apologized to her.
Right.
Yeah.
But Keisha, I don't think Keisha ever received it because even when they went to the reunion, like she was still like Tammy's a mean girl.
Right. Exactly.
So, tomato,
But
tomato.
exactly. And maybe she was trying to keep her role on the show, but at that point she
Or
should have,
maybe keep her man.
or maybe keep her man. So that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe that's why she didn't admit to it, because I was just kind of like, girl, that would have been the time to say something if you were going to say it. So
Right.
clearly she didn't feel bad about it, even though she knew it was set up. I don't understand why she wouldn't, but whatever.
Right. Now, do you think that Shawnee set her up because she said that Shawnee was the one who showed her the footage of Keisha trashing her on the plane on the way to that trip?
I think that, once again, and like I said, before, in other reviews, Shawnee is an executive producer.
Hmm.
So she has a deal, a partnership with the other EPs on the show.
Hmm.
And so, that's why she can come and go and choose to, not stay on, or to be on, but she'll never go away because she's not going to mess up her deal. That was her idea. This show is
Hmm.
her creation. And so, I wouldn't say it was only her idea to set her up, but maybe she was trying to give her a heads up about it. I don't know, because they're not really friends like that. So I have
Right.
no idea, what Shawnee's intentions were. What do you think?
I feel like Shawnee set her up.
Really?
Yes, because I feel like she showed her Keisha trashing her
Mm-hmm.
because when the moment came, because they were like, well, we need something, y'all, to show something.
Mm-hmm.
When it came down to it, I'm sure Tammy was pissed that Keisha was trashing her.
Yeah, I'm sure, but she still
So I
wasn't.
think that it elevated Tammy's anger when it
Uh,
came down to it for that scene. Because
yeah.
if they needed something, Tammy was like, well, you know what, I am. Tammy with that flag, you know what? I am a little pissed about this part. So
Right.
let's do this part because this makes more sense.
This
But
makes
in
more sense.
reality, she should have never even seen it, you know?
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know if it was a setup more than just being like messy, but maybe she did set her up. I mean, they have to have some sort of drama stem from somewhere. So if somebody is talking crap about you, that's the
Right.
easiest way to create a situation, you know.
All right. What's going on, Cups? We got E in the chat. What's going on, E? Um, just trying to make sure I say what's up to everybody. But I think that Shawnee probably should have never showed her that footage. She
Yeah,
could have
I
watched it.
agree.
She could
It's
have
just
watched it like
messy.
everybody else watched it at the same time.
Exactly, exactly. It's messy, but I'm thinking from it from the perspective from if that really was my friend, a girlfriend, I would
Hmm.
be like, look at this girl talking about you. I'm sure that
Right.
she has done stuff like that to Evelyn too, like because they don't know what they're going to say in the confessional. So if I'm the EP and I see my friend being dogged out, I'm going to be like, girl, look at this,
Right.
So I could see it from that perspective too.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think that that is that. And I wanted to say something because I can't find the thing. But what's going on, the reads? She was like, no, Tammy slander. Now, I still gonna have Tammy slander. It's gonna be from this, but I still have. Ain't gonna happen.
Right.
But I do understand why you saying this. The slander's gonna happen.
Yeah,
Um. So I think the next thing that I had pointed out was the loyalty from the show was between Evelyn and Shawnee.
absolutely.
Um, and which we've already said that, like
We've
we knew
said
that.
that, like, yeah, we've said,
Yeah, like watch me and Cindy because we point out the facts of the show.
exactly.
Tammy never had to even say it. And we have pointed this out. I think that when she was talking about this, I'm like, we kind of like the people who are invested into the show. We know.
We knew that already. We knew that
Yeah,
already. And even if we boil it down back to, the situation with OG, like they're never going to choose OG over Evelyn. They're never going
right,
to,
right.
So I
Well,
mean,
because Shawnee and Evelyn made the show.
absolutely.
And
And that was my
I think we
point.
were on maybe last week or week before that we were saying that and people were
Absolutely.
disagreeing, but we knew that the show was created around Evelyn.
Absolutely right.
So that was not new news to me or you.
Nope.
But for other people, now you know, like what we were saying is true. The show was
Yep.
created around Evelyn.
Absolutely. And so that's when they were like, "Oh, I don't like her, and she shouldn't be on," and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
This she was the show. That's why she could go over from Miami to LA. She,
right.
and if the rumors are true, and she does come back, then they're gonna people are gonna tune in for that. They know her for the show. Nobody thinks about Keisha on the show or
No, no.
anything else. The only second person that people think of from Basketball Wives is Jackie, and Tammy, but I'm just saying, like, outside of Tammy, it's Evelyn.
I don't think the fans chose OG over Evelyn. I think the fans of the actual show chose Evelyn over OG. If you were a
Absolutely.
fan of the show, you did not choose OG over Evelyn because we understood what the show was about from day one.
Absolutely. And
People
we
who are
understood,
new
and
tuning into the show chose OG because they felt a certain type of way. But if you go back to the history of basketball wise, like we talk about all the time,
yep,
the show was built off of fashions and being a part of this elite group.
yep, yep.
OG came on looking a mess. And I wish they would have pulled up OG's toe to post it up here because that Toji looked a mess her first season.
Yes.
And yes, she might have had good reads, but her reads were only the next season. But it became like, I'm gonna beat you up, I'm gonna break your jaw, I
Right.
want to fight you every episode. Like it wasn't like the normal girls that came on the show.
Right. And
So
then
that's why the original fans of the show were not feeling OG like that.
absolutely. And I think once again, I think I said this before, but I'll repeat it now that I don't think that OG understood the
Right.
show, that it
Right.
was a show. I think she took it very personally, whereas Evelyn understood this is a job. I'm playing a character.
Right. Right. And I think that was the main thing that I think the original people who watched the show knew that.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
if you went through Mika, you went through Keisha and Kenya, you went through the Susies and the Royces,
Yeah,
like you knew what the show was about. It was
absolutely.
a ratchet mess. We already knew that part.
We already knew that part. Exactly.
We never looked at the show to be serious. We knew it was a ratchet mess,
Exactly.
period. And
Absolutely.
we wanted to continue to be that way. We didn't want no colorism coming in. This is not the group of
Exactly.
girls for that.
Ex-
They
and
cannot.
and
They're not
that
going.
wasn't the show for that. It's
Yeah,
not
it
the
wasn't
show for
that
that. Yes.
at all.
Right.
When they brought that in, I'm like, yo, this is turning into like a CBS special. Like,
Right. I know. I was just kind of like, I was like, this is not what I want to see. That and people, and I don't care what they say. Like even if they're a fan of OG, that wasn't the premise of the show. And she was actually trying to purposely bring down the show because she was personally offended.
right,
So it's kind of like, girl, we have had drinks thrown in faces and bottles thrown and
right,
and yet and still now you're taking the fun away from the show. Like if you don't want to be messy and you don't want people to talk about you, that's probably not the show for you to be on. Like, and she just didn't quite get that, and I think she didn't get it from the first season, and then she was just angry on the next one. Whoops. So Deb, you're frozen. Hang on, guys. um Not sure what is happening, but we'll hang out here for just a second. I'm reading all of your comments. If E, I get that, but then that's what most of the audience for Basketball Wives tune in for, was kind of the mess and the fun of it. So whether you like it or hate it, if you didn't like it, then you probably wouldn't tune into the show. On some level, it's entertaining. It's kind of like one of those guilty pleasures. There are so many other shows that are on, and it's just kind of like a guilty pleasure, and that's what Basketball Wives has been, for me. And I think that's why it keeps continuing. It has an audience for a reason, and the reason is not colorism or about speaking up for Black girls. Okay, so Deb said, keep it going, Cindy. I'll be right back. So, we're just going to hang out here for a while. It was really interesting, though, to hear Tammy's perspective. I feel like, everybody should check out that interview for sure. So, Deb is doing a great job of doing a recap, but it was really, eye opening, even though I've said this on some of our reviews. So, Deb's and I, that we knew that it was basically a show, so I don't take it seriously with those girls. Okay, you tuned in for Tammy. She was always your favorite, never liked Evelyn. Understood, but Evelyn played her part. She was cast to be the villain, and that's the part that she played. She understood that. um and I also understood too, like, obviously, whatever relationships these girls show on the actual show itself, I felt like once again they were never hanging out after or outside of the show. I knew it was for a show. So thanks, Val. Let's see here. What else? Does anybody else have any feedback about what So Deb said so far? Were you guys shocked if you guys heard the interview that Keisha knew that you know Tammy didn't really, that she wanted to be a part of it? That's right, it's just D. Tammy understood the assignment too. That's right. Like they all knew that it was a show. Like, Tammy said her first season, she didn't really get it. Then she got it when they came back for her second season. That, okay, let me put on my actress hat because I'm doing a show. So she did understand the assignment for sure. No, Larry said, cast me, I'm going to show him. Okay. Lala Chanel said, absolutely. And I like her new show. Okay. And she said that was kind of too, like they asked her about, and I don't want to jump ahead for SoDeb, so I'll just leave that there. But yes, I don't know if I like her new show, but I was, entertained on the kind of a ratchet way too. But there's only been one episode, so we'll have to see. Cups of Conversation, I agree with you. You definitely did too much. Oh, there, he's back.
Listen,
Yay!
if it starts thundering in my house, like it's over for me. I don't know
Oh,
why that is.
the thunder scares
Yes.
the Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi is like, I'm out.
I'm out, right? That's right. So I didn't want to jump ahead. I just kind of tried to stay where you were. So I don't know if you want to go on to your next point.
I forgot where we even left off at.
I think we were on. We were talking about the last point that you had, which was Keisha and Tammy. And then,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So I did, and I saw people comment in the chat. Basically, like a lot of us kind of tan me out because of that.
Yeah.
But the reality was, it wasn't even real.
It wasn't real.
And I hate that because I was one of those people. That's why I say, I gotta humble myself and apologize because I was one of those people. She even talked about how not Evelyn, Shawnee had to go back and record a segment,
a scene in there.
Yeah. About that scene. I remember that was with that pastor. Remember that?
Yep, that's right. And I remember that whole episode clearly. And she said that, because she had to address the criticism, that the show overall was receiving. And I'm pretty sure it was to save the actual concept of the show, but yeah. Because I was like, why is she meeting with the pastor? What's happening here?
We ain't seen a pastor in all these years. Now they're got a pastor now.
Right, and now we see a pastor. I was like, where did he pop out from? But yeah,
I don't think we ever heard about it. We didn't even see them go to church together.
Never,
like, what's going on?
Never. It was that one and only time, and even all the drama that has happened afterwards, we never saw the pastor. So
yeah. I think the next point was about Tammy not getting invited to Shawnee's wedding.
Right. But she also said she wasn't surprised.
Right. She's like, I wasn't supposed to. Like, we weren't friends,
We weren't friends.
But it brings you back to, everything that people say about the show with Tammy. If you are a real fan of the show, you knew they weren't friends for real. We knew this.
Absolutely.
And
I said that, and even when we were talking, or the chat at one point, I forget which review it was, when they were saying that, Shawnee should have done this for Tammy and Shawnee should have done that. And I said they were not friends. Her and Evelyn were friends. That's why Evelyn was always protected in a way. And again, I can't really fault Ev for that.
Well, the show was created for Evelyn.
Me too, and her circle of friends. And I said that, I think on our very first review, when people were downing Evelyn, I'm like,
yes, Evelyn was there.
Show. Yeah,
Evelyn was there.
Evelyn was there, and Jackie was there at the wedding. Yeah. But I said that, I said that the show was created by Shawnee, and she chose Evelyn and Evelyn's circle of friends. Yeah, and that's how the show came to be. So there's no denying that that's what it was. And again,
I think Evelyn's circle of friends was her, Shawnee, and Jennifer at the time.
Absolutely, and then they had to throw
maybe
in the other girls.
Maybe Susie.
Oh, Susie was her friend. She said.
I think the rest of like Royce. I don't think Royce was her friend. Yeah. No. And I don't remember who else was on the show that season.
They showed a picture at one point of like the old cast, and I was like, I barely remember those girls. So whoever was on there, it wasn't, they weren't standout enough. But yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hmm.
And yes, I mean, so we knew the show was, we knew, oh yes, Laura, or was it Gloria or Laura?
Gloria was on there first.
So Gloria was on that show. That's it. First,
Okay. Yeah.
until they found out that she had slept with Shaq. Was it her sister slept with Shaq?
Yeah, Laura slept with Shaq, but
Yeah,
Gloria was
then
on the show, and
it
then
was
they
like,
brought
get
in
her out of
Tami.
here.
Right. Right, exactly. But yeah,
Get her
they
ass up out of here. She is not
out.
supposed to be here.
Exactly. They were like, "No, I didn't know all this now." But then now
Yeah,
it makes us think: did they really know?
right,
I don't know I never really, like I said, when you were really really kind of going hard for Brandy, and you have every right, that's your opinion, but I feel like I'm like you, I don't take it seriously, and I said that when you were trying to set up to come back on, like I take it as a show, and it's always been like a guilty fun pleasure of mine to watch it. And I just, we all have those like messy shows that we watch, or
right,
shows that only make sense to us, right? But
right.
still has an audience, and so I don't take what those girls do on the show that personally, like that.
Now I want to point out what E said, because I gotta bring my girl Brandy. I gotta bring my girl Brandy for this second. But with all these men, who haven't slept with them? You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right.
And that's the facts. Like, it's like bringing up the fact that these men are still with multiple women is not a dig, because we already know this. So
Absolutely.
when it was like, when Brandy said that to me on this episode that came, the last episode, we know this, but it's like, if you
Yeah.
knowingly know, don't bring these people around for me. Like, I
Right.
understand that part.
But they,
So I just said to
but
my girl Brandy real quick, because it's a no Brandy Slater channel.
but I'm just saying, yes, yes, we all know that, but I feel like, even it's kind of like, if she was saying don't bring these people around, production is the one that's doing it. The production is the one that approves anybody that shows up on the show, right? They know that they're going
Right,
to create drama. The point
right,
is to be messy and to create drama. So, of course, they're going to bring people around like that are going to be messy and create drama.
right.
They're not just going to sit there and have drinks and kiki and have fun. It's not about that.
But hearing Tammy say that, when Evelyn called her, like, I didn't even know, like, I thought
Right.
that production told you, because, everybody already knew. To me, it makes you go back and think, like, well, even what's going on right now, like,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna point this out too, because this is one thing that stood out to me.
Okay.
Tammy said that her and Shawnee are not friends, but when Shawnee's father passed away,
She
she
reached out
called
to
her.
her. Yeah, she did.
How in the hell did Malaysia not know that Brandy did that? That's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying, like, from my
That's
perspective,
all I'm
from
saying.
what they showed on the show, she didn't know because they hadn't spoken in 3 years,
Hmm.
based on the
But
show.
Shawnee and
And they both
Tammy,
said
but
that.
Shawnee and Tammy haven't been talking either. But she knew that Shawnee's father had passed away. So
I
there's no way
know.
that Malaysia did not know that. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
Well,
It doesn't make
I
sense.
just feel like, like I said, I know that when I am not really friends, like I don't know what's going on in your world. I have had old friends that I couldn't tell you if their parents passed away now or not, but
But you're not on reality television either. What I'm
that's
saying is
true.
this: the fact that Tammy knew about it, about
Yeah.
Shawnee's father passing away, we
Right.
know that Malaysia know that Brandy's father died. Like, there's no way possible that she did not know, because she's saying that they have mutual friends. They work in the same company. Period.
Okay.
So she knew. Period.
I
So
believe I feel like she didn't know, but that's just my opinion.
yeah. And thank you, Nikkei, Natty. There's a lot of new people in the chat. Thank y'all for coming here. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. I agree. Malaysia knew. I believe she's holding some guilt there. Me too. And when Shawnee said, I was like, y'all already know when we go back to the next review. So Dave is bringing this up. So, just so y'all know. Now I don't have to do it in the review because we did it today.
Yeah.
The next thing that was said was Oh, that was it. That was it. She went to her dad. Tammy said she would come back to reality TV.
Yeah, she did, and I was
Yeah,
happy to hear that. But but she
yeah.
also said, because I was like, oh, because she also
Specifically
said,
something.
yeah, but she said she would want to have a different format, like something
Yeah,
that she hasn't done before. So I don't think she would ever come back to Basketball
that's
Wives,
what
but she
yeah,
said
me
she
either.
would come back to reality TV. And in fact, that's what she said. Her new show is kind of that.
Yes,
Hmm.
but you know what? Because of Tammy's history on reality TV, that makes sense.
Yeah, it's
You know,
true. But
she
again, I don't.
does.
I mean, I have to say, I like her on these shows because of what she brings to the show.
Hold on, real quick, Cindy. If
Okay.
y'all are saying slanderous stuff about Brandy in the chat, it will not be popped up here. So keep it to yourself. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm laughing at cups of conversation that said Malaysia's innocent. But anyway,
Like Quisha is not innocent.
I feel like, yes, but you can't say one person, like I said earlier, you can't say one person is at fault for doing something when
Yeah.
they all do it. They all do it. Even your girl Brandy, you have to admit it to yourself. A fact
Now,
is a
what has
fact. So
Brandy done?
there.
What has Brandy done though?
But like, if it's about lying or being shady or doing something that people
When
don't
has
like,
Brandy ever lied?
she lied by saying that she stayed in that house and she knows she didn't stay. None of them did. All
No,
of
that
them
was
lied.
Duffy's house. That wasn't Brandy's house.
And I'm talking about she lied saying that she stayed in Duffy's house. All of them did. They all went along
Cindy,
with it like it was true.
okay, Cindy, I'm gonna give you that, but I mean,
See?
they all lied and said that. Even the
No,
twins
no,
did on the show.
that's right. But that's one example of it that we know of. So we don't know anything that happens in the back. I feel like, we
When
can't
it comes to serious stuff, I don't. Brandy has not lied. Like I'm not. I can't do that part. The little silly
I
stuff
feel like
about them
she
staying in the
is.
house. Yes, they all there said they were staying in the house. We knew. I mean, if we were being observant of the whole situation, we probably would
Mhm.
know that they did not stay in the house.
Well,
But
but I just, but
Brent
I
said
feel like, it was still a part of the story, and it was part of like the enjoyment of it. So it doesn't matter to me. I know that is the point that I'm trying to make. I know that they're trying to do it for entertainment value, and in
right.
fact, I don't want to, because I can't imagine somebody being that stupid. I don't feel like Brandy is the only girl out of the other girls plotting to have drama with Malaysia, and she is unaware of it. I don't believe that she does it. No, and so, we could you that's my go-to when you're saying that, you felt like Malaysia knew about her dad. I feel like Brandy knows what's going on. She's not
Well,
innocent to what those girls are doing.
we're talking about two different things. So we're talking about the seriousness of the lies and then like the shallow lies.
Yeah.
I think that Malaysia knew about her dad dying. I think that
Okay.
Malaysia's like we should lies. Yes, Lala Chanel, I did say like we should. And Tiffany GT, let's get into it. She said, "What about Brandy calling Zelle?" But mad Malaysia brought him. So the thing is that Brandy was Zelle's friend first, so of course she
Right.
called him. That makes sense because they were friends before Malaysia was friends with him. They were friends because of Brandy. If we want
Okay.
to talk about it, those are facts. So yes, she probably did reach out to him. That makes sense because they were
Right.
friends.
But I
But
think but I think that
going back
production
to
was
the
okay. But I think that but you're letting it fall solely on Malaysia. You have to keep in mind too, so Deb, that it is a show. Nobody's on the show without production. Nobody's coming on the show. Period. So the producers knew too, and they will allow this so that it creates a storyline and creates drama. Not one cast member. So Deb,
Cindy, what I'm
it's
going
the
to
truth.
say is this.
The truth is the truth.
The
Come
truth
on.
is the fact is that Brandy hasn't told any real lies. If we want to talk about the shallow lies, that's different. But
I feel like she
actually,
has.
she cannot. Well, tell me the lies that she told because Malaysia
How
coming
does
on to me because what I want to do is I want to actually go back through this
yeah.
season and
Uh-huh.
show how the conversation could have went between Brandy and Malaysia because it actually could have happened because don't sit here and say I don't know you. You do know me.
Right.
The thing is that we're in two different places. Now, Malaysia has said both, but she could have said
Yeah.
that at the beginning of those conversations instead
Yeah.
of saying, I don't know you and you don't know me. The
Right.
fact is, we do know each other. Now, in our places right now in life, we probably don't know what we've been through in these 3 years.
Right.
But what is the reason? And to me, I think we can agree on this. What happened in those 3 years? Because we all want to know.
Absolutely. And we have agreed on this. Because
Yeah.
I feel like I said, it can't be just that one thing. And again, I'm not slighting because it is a huge thing to lose anybody, but especially your parents. However, I will say, what else has happened? She hasn't been able, neither
Right.
one of them has said what really, really happened. And again, back to Tammy's interview. Uh-oh.
Hold on. Young Rich, what? Young Rich said, "Oh no, I'm late. I was getting my back blown."
Oh,
What's going on, Young Rich?
hey, young Rich.
But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was going to say, and back to Tammy's interview and her points, is that kind of like, oh gosh, I lost my train of thought now. But again, you know, if we go back to just their situation, I feel like something else is. Oh, the fact
Right.
that, I said in the past, none of the girls really talked about, the details of it. You really don't hear that. So,
Right.
I don't know if they're saving it for the show or not. Maybe they're
Mhm.
going to address it in the next season if Malaysia decides to come back. I don't know. But what I'm saying is something else happened
Something
for
happened.
yeah, to hold that much animosity between both of them.
Right.
Hmm.
And I don't. I when it comes to that, I don't think it's just a Malaysia thing. I think it's a two-sided situation.
Yeah, agreed.
And I do go hard for Brandy, but I want to be very clear that I do think it's a two-sided situation when it comes down to that. Friends don't
Yay.
friends don't break up like that.
I told you. And I
So,
said that. I was just like, it takes two people to make something work, and it takes two people
and
to
my
make
other
things
question
break
is,
down.
is this a production situation where they're making this
Right.
up?
Maybe, and it could be, and that's what I'm saying. But from what I'm seeing, like, even
The
if
the way,
they,
the way that Tammy laid out her and Evelyn situation, or even with her and Shawnee,
yeah,
it wouldn't be unbelievable for this to not be real.
right. But I have to say, with this, it would not be unbelievable. I could believe if it was a fake storyline. But from what I'm seeing so far on the show, it does look like real kind of pain between the two, like a sadness. Whereas, Evelyn and Tammy never had that dynamic. You know what
Well,
I'm saying?
they were
So
never really friends
they
though.
were never friends. So
Yeah.
you didn't really
But
get to
when you
see.
but go back to Jennifer and Evelyn though.
Uh-huh. That was
Like
emotional.
Jennifer had a real sadness, Evelyn didn't.
Yes. She
But
was
now we're learning
crying.
that Evelyn been playing the game for a long
Yeah,
time.
that's
So
true.
that makes sense. When it comes to Brandy and Malaysia, like this does not make sense.
Yeah,
Like something like tell us what the real deal is as
absolutely.
fans of watching this show because Evelyn and Jennifer, like we Evelyn laid out why she was mad at Jennifer. And it made
Yeah.
sense.
And it
She
makes
was crashing her
sense.
relationship.
Yep,
And even when
absolutely.
it didn't work out, the thing that I love about Jen was she was never like, "Well, I told you so."
Right. Absolutely.
I love that
But
about Jen.
but me too. And I think they went back and forth for many years. They would, you know, be fighting for most of the season and then apologize and come back, and then something else would happen. So
Yeah.
again, I mean, I would be interested to hear from Jen what was real in that situation, because I don't see them before.
I don't think that Jennifer talked about Shawnee's. I don't. Something in me, like, and maybe she did, but something in me does not believe that.
She said that she did, but she said that they asked her to do it. She said
She
that
said
she
what?
said it. She said that she was talking about her daughter and, all of that stuff, but she said that she production asked her to do that, and she regretted
Well, and
that.
see but that would make sense though, right?
Yes, exactly.
In the grand scheme of things, that would make sense.
Yes,
Does Jennifer really feel the way that they were saying that she did? I don't think that that's true.
I agree with you. I don't
I
think
think
so.
that when it came back down to it, they needed to be between Evelyn and Tammy.
Yes,
And they just dragged Jennifer, and that I think that they didn't think that it would drag onto Evelyn and Jennifer as
in
much.
that way, exactly.
Yes, and so it took on a whole nother life,
And
and
it's
they
the
never
same thing
corrected
that
it.
just yeah, that's the same thing that happened with Tammy. Like, they
Yeah,
did one thing and it took on its whole other life with this whole purse thing, and she was kind of vilified for it. And and I don't want to talk about another show within this show, but I will, just because Tammy was on both. It's kind of like the Real World situation too. You know what I mean? Like what happened
with
with her
David.
and David. It took on
Yeah.
its own a whole nother life. You know?
But I just feel like Tammy don't get it right on reality TV.
Yeah. But that's her
Like,
role, and she
yeah,
understands that. You know, I think
yeah.
that she was probably
I
more.
wish Carlos would have talked to her, like again, I said about, with the Duffy situation, and
Yeah.
even with, I mean, they did kind of go into the real world stuff, but not that situation on the
Yes.
second time she went back around.
Right.
I wish Carlos would have went into that stuff too, because to me, like, I really love Tammy, to be honest. I
Yeah.
really
Me
do.
too.
But
I'm rooting
there's
for
been
her
so
to.
many things that she's done that this is like, well, why did you even entertain this, or why did you do this?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like, you're above, like, reality show wise, like, you're above all this.
Yeah.
Like, you are that girl, because you're the first black or the second black woman that's been on reality TV. Like, you made the mold.
Right.
You know
But
what I'm
she
saying?
did, but she did say in the interview that, when she made choices for her life, she kind of
Mhm.
had to kind of refigure herself out and how to reposition herself to get where she wants to go, because she didn't want
Mhm.
to continue working for corporate America. She was working at
Right.
Morgan Stanley. She was just kind of like, wait a minute, what's happening here? She had this basketball husband. She had this particular life. She
Yeah.
started out on reality TV, and in fact, she was probably more real on the Real World than she was on Basketball Wives, because she wasn't acting at that point. She was really just a 22-year-old girl,
Right.
But
Right.
then, when she grew into kind of like, I need to make a change and I want to kind of pivot, she decided that she was
Mhm.
going to come back to reality TV. And so, again, you can't be on a show like Basketball Wives and not be messy. So she just,
Right.
she made those choices to kind of get herself back out there, so to speak. You know what I mean? For her and her girls. And nobody can ever fault her for getting her hustle on. I respect
Right.
her hustle. And that's why I really like her, because I feel like even though she may have been acting and, may have done some things that I personally wouldn't do on the show,
Mhm.
she still was like, I understood my assignment. I'm going to hustle for my girls. And until I get something that I really want to move towards, which is the things that she's doing now, then she's going to stay on the show. And that's exactly what she did. She used it for what it was worth. And then she said, her final season, she was just like, she didn't want a raise. She didn't want to do, she specifically said, I don't
She was
want to
trying to
do.
get out. She was trying to get out of her contract. So
Yeah,
yeah.
she was trying to get out of the contract. So she played it right until she got what she needed from it.
And Nola, I'm not gonna say that Tammy is the truth, period, but I will say that she has a lot of facts.
Yes,
Okay,
she has a lot of
I'm not saying
facts.
she's not the truth, but she does have a lot of facts.
Yes.
Um, and again, because she did make decisions, period, that
Yeah.
were not good decisions,
Yeah.
you know,
Well, they were good decisions for
for
what
the
she was
show.
trying for the show. Yes. She understood what she needed to do for the show.
Yeah,
Nobody doesn't want to see Tammy without her cigarette and her beer and her
yeah.
being I mean, that's her character. you
What
know,
but the thing is, it's not the beer part that messes it up. It's when they give her the shot
yeah, and the
with the beer.
shot. That's when she turns into like
When the
this,
shot gets involved, then
yeah,
Tammy is a different person.
she's a different person. And she says
Yeah,
that. That's why she sticks to beer,
yeah.
Yeah.
And she did say that. She has said that. That's very true.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Uh, so the one thing that was very interesting to me was that she has been trying out for Housewives
Yeah, me too. I was like, she said she tried twice, and I was like,
twice.
what?
Yeah,
That
and I'm
I
like,
mean,
you know what though? I would love to see it.
I'd be here for it. I
Me
totally
too.
agree. I would totally be here for it. When they said that, I was like, what? They
And
wouldn't let her
shout out
on.
to Andrew Gabor on his channel. Y'all make sure you subscribe to the channel because I was over there earlier and they all disagree with me, but I'm here for that part.
Me
To
too.
me, because she did say that she would love to be on Potomac to back up Karen.
Okay.
And I was
See,
like, I
I,
could
I
see that.
I don't
I could
watch
see it.
that one, so I want.
But I
I'm not.
would, but I could see her on Atlanta.
I could see her on Atlanta for sure, and I think
Yes,
she would be, way more entertaining than Drew, or
yes,
somebody,
yes.
some of the other girls where I'm just
Because
like,
if they want another Nene Leaks, it's Tammy.
it's Tammy.
Hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely right.
The
You
only
know?
thing is that Kenya has to hate her.
Well, they need
because the Kenya and Tammy sparring together will be epic.
it would be epic. It would be the new
Yeah,
version of Evelyn and her, basically. Yeah.
yeah.
And I could see both of them doing it. I think it would be funny, you know?
So I don't know. Put a 1 in the chat if you would love to see Tammy on the Housewives. Put a 2 in the chat if you like. Hell no.
Yeah.
But I would like if they posted something like we would all be like, I don't care how much you hate it.
Right.
If they said Tammy is entering the Housewives, everybody's tuning into that.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There ain't no way you ain't tuning into that.
Right. I mean, and Lala Chanel, I see your point too. However, she's a hustler, like I said. She's is trying to make her money. She
Yeah.
I don't think that it's about evolution at all. I feel like she, has dropped into some hosting roles. She's done, her acting. She's doing this reality slash,
Well, she said it's reality.
yeah, investigation, that sort of thing. She's doing all of these things. I don't think she should be only limited to do one thing. Candy is on the Housewives. She's not only
Right.
limiting herself. She's been on The Shy, or she's on The
Look,
Shy
here
now.
go Ricardo said Candy's on reality TV and is
And
acting and more.
acting.
So that's true.
Absolutely. And that's my point. That's exactly my point. Yep.
And I think that the one thing that you can say about Tammy is that she's reality TV gold.
She
Like
is.
you can't like she's she to me she's like Tiffany Pollard.
Yes.
She's like she knows how to do it.
She knows
So
how to do it. I mean,
why would you stop your bag when it comes down to what you're like this
are
is your
known
thing.
for. This is your thing.
Yeah.
She's known for this. I mean, we would
Still do your acting
know
roles
her.
and everything because I
Yeah.
mean that's you still can do that stuff, but you are more valuable over here.
Absolutely.
And if it changes, switch it up and go over here. But I would never stop my bag
Never.
if I know that I'm that girl.
Right. And that
doing
is exactly my point. Like, it doesn't make any sense for her to say, no, I would never do this. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
She started the genre. There was no reality TV before the Real World. Okay. So she started
Charlene,
this whole genre of television.
Charlene said Potomac is better for Tammy. I would be so afraid for Tammy to be on Potomac.
Really? I don't know those girls. Why do you say that?
Atlanta seems more of a Tammy Lane for me.
Yeah.
Because Potomac still tries to keep it at a certain level. But I also know from listening to this interview that she said, like, she just plays the role. Yeah. So I could see her being on Potomac, but I could see more of Tammy's personality on Atlanta.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I don't watch Potomac, so I can't really say.
Why don't you watch Potomac?
I just never got into it. It's
Cindy, you need to do a binge watching day of Potomac. Like, you will love it.
I don't know. I just feel like I don't really like those girls. Like, I don't like Candace. I don't vibe with Giselle in that way, and Robin. Like, I know who they all are. I just don't watch the show like that. Or at all.
The people in the chat is saying, I think what I didn't want to say, Tammy would end up whooping Giselle. Tammy would bat the hell out of Giselle. Like, it can't, like, I don't see Tammy being nice to them. And to the point where, like, and you know what? Maybe for someone, because when people say that, Candace mouth is terrible, so is Tammy's. So that might be a good sparring situation for them. Maybe I don't know.
Maybe. I just feel like you said, to me, watching her all these years, I think she just would fit better with Atlanta, but maybe I feel like once again,
and she works in Atlanta the most. So.
Oh, does she? I was going to say, I mean,
all of her acting stuff is filmed in Atlanta.
Oh, okay. Well, but I know that she lives in Dallas, so okay. But it makes sense if she films a lot in Atlanta. I was just going to say, either way, she's going to be gold. I feel like, I mean, if she got on that show of Potomac, I would start watching for sure. Okay.
But then you have to go back and watch all the other seasons so you understand why she's there.
I would go back and watch everything.
Well, Potomac is housewife gold for the Black housewives. Like, Atlanta's good, but like it's kind of like wishy-washy now. But Potomac is like a different feel when it
I
comes to
know,
Black
and
Lives
I
Matter.
think that's what it was. It was like it seemed like a different vibe, and for whatever reason, especially when it first started, I
Yes.
couldn't get into it.
What's I think it's Poji. I don't know how to pronounce it, but and thank you for coming to the channel. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Tell me, be like, hold please, yes.
Yes. No, she said pause. She said pause.
Pause. Oh yes, it was
Yes.
pause. But the same
It's the same thing.
thing.
Yes. But when she said that, I was just like, "There's the Tammy that we know and love."
Yes.
Yes. Good point, Poji. You got him. He needs a second. You got him with that one. But yes,
Yes. When she
yes,
said that though, I died.
yes. Me too. I was just like, you can't, like
Put this
nobody
shit on pause for a second.
pause. She was like, everybody pause. I was like, oh, okay. Yes.
And I love, like, I do have a love-hate relationship with Tammy, but and like I said, like, even though I know that her show is scripted and it's not
Yeah.
real, I'm still going to support that.
It's entertaining. I'm going to support
Yeah.
it too. It's entertaining. Now, like I said, is it the most, intellectual loving show? Absolutely not. It's ratchet, and that's what she's good at. She's good at it, whether it's real or not.
She does say put that shit on pause too, but she
Yes.
told Jackie Christie, "Oh no, hold please." Oh, she told Jackie that.
Oh,
Okay.
talk about Jackie. Okay. Yes.
All right, y'all. So I am going to drop the link, but before I drop the link, I do have to say something. Y'all keep your comments to a minimum.
Yeah. And
because people want to have, I want to get everybody's opinions on stuff. If you have a long story, just keep it to a minimum.
Yeah. And I will say too, I do have to hop off by no later than like 5:50 or something like that.
Well, we're gonna drop off when you get ready to get done too, because I'm gonna be on long. So we already been on for an hour, so
yeah.
I really did enjoy doing this. So we didn't get to do our review this week.
Me too.
But Tammy was like, "Listen, they did a review this week. Give them this."
Absolutely. And you know what? And this is better than that episode that was a filler episode anyway.
Yes.
I don't.
This week wasn't really that good. I'm like, what even happened?
Yeah, it was like the sound bath and them talking about like I like this group together. I was like little side eyeing Jen. I was like, Jen, you've been shining this whole season, and I didn't like that the messiness that she was falling into. But whatever, it's neither here nor there.
Go get my medicine, okay?
Hey, Nola. Hey, Ricardo.
Hi.
Let me take down my overlay.
Got them blocking my good cousin. And you supposed to be her brother.
That's my sis.
He about to be mad at me, though. I'm about to say it.
I ain't gonna be mad at you. I'm gonna just correct you when you say something that's wrong.
Because they say a lie is a lie is a lie.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Little lie, big lie, small lie, medium lie.
Right.
22 WBBW lie. A lie is a lie.
What lies we talking about? What lies we talking about?
Period. A lie is a lie.
But why am I mad about the lies? What we talking about?
Because I'm saying you're trying to make excuses for your girl, like, oh no, she lying about little things. A lie is a lie, period.
That's right, Nola. That's right.
A lie is a lie, period, bro.
I'm telling y'all now. I swear.
So you mad about her lying about her being in the house?
No.
I mean, listen.
She lied about.
But what's the other lie?
We're talking about this entire
you
situation.
want to know what else she lied about?
What?
She lying about what size clothes she wear. That's what she lying about, and it's highly offensive.
She ain't lying about the clothes that she wear because none of them girls wear clothes the size clothes that they wear. So that's not a thing.
All of them. It bothers me about all of them. But
Malaysia don't wear the same right size clothes. Brandon don't wear the right size clothes. Angel Brainstead wear her pregnancy clothes. They ain't wearing the same. Nobody wearing them.
She lying about the real reason why she mad with Malaysia.
No,
but
I
they
think
both lying.
The thing is this. No, but the thing is this.
Her daddy is the only reason why.
I don't believe that either. But the thing is this. When she came to Malaysia, she asked Malaysia about it. Malaysia said, I just don't know you. So then tell me what you mad about. Like, that's the thing. She said she asked Malaysia. She didn't say she's mad at her because of that. She said, did you know that Wolf died? And she said no. She didn't give us.
Black
She didn't
Box
give a
is
reason why
lying
she.
them too.
She never said why she was mad at Malaysia. She never said that yet.
I tell you this. I tell you this. I swear on all the 403s down to the Bunny Ranch in Vegas. If this issue between LaQuisha, aka Little Black Box,
You could call her like Quisha, Little Black Box, or Malaysia, whichever one you want to
I'm
call
not
her.
calling her no Malaysia. That is not her name.
I said Malaysia.
Okay, so I'm gonna start over. I swear on all the 403s or the 304s that is down to the Bunny Ranch in Vegas. If this issue between LaQuisha, aka Little Black Box, aka girl, you need to wear clothes that fit you because you look like you had a bad BBL, and Brandy, aka the Amazon, because she taller than me. I'm 5'3".
Now, no, the stick on Malaysia. Stay on Malaysia. Now, don't go to Brandy. Malaysia.
I said the issue between them two. I said she taller than me.
Call her Brandy. Brandy's her name.
I called her Brandy the first time. And the AKA the
We don't do
Amazon,
Brandy slander over here. We don't do it.
AKA ain't nobody slandering her. That is a compliment.
Y'all go check out Rand with Ricardo where she slanders Brandy over there, not over here.
That is a compliment. Calling someone a child, she could be down there with Wonder Woman in there. Okay. If this issue between them is fake or it's trivial, if it's fake or trivial, they will rue this day. They will rue the day they tried me on some reality TV and had me down to my own channel.
Let me put you on pause real quick. We'll put you on pause real quick. Ricardo, her name is LaQuisha Malaysia Pargo, not whatever you saying, lovely giving. But thank you for commenting. Go ahead.
That's not true. You can't just, like I said earlier, you can't call you can't single out one of those girls as liars. They all.
Brandy has never told no lies. Brandy had never told no lies.
She did. She
did.
I said this.
What was the lie?
Just say Brandy ain't never been caught no lie, because all of them lied about something
right.
on that show.
He never been caught no lie.
Brandy been honest about her relationship with that man cheating on her. They've been on therapy with Ian Levin. Like, she's been very transparent. She's been on her shit when it comes down to it because.
But they all do it.
But what was the lie?
Whatever
we don't know
is asking them to do, and we don't know.
What we do know is that Malaysia, LaQuisha had been lying.
And you can tell by her
they made
crunchy
that
edges.
part of the storyline this season, though, so Deb, because they showed them at the bowling alley, and then the girls, we wouldn't even known about that if the non-twin twins said that she already knew, and the girl came out and said,
the non-twin twins didn't say that. The girl Ashley went on Instagram and said that Malaysia knew. That's what I was about
to say. Exactly.
Okay.
So, but she just said that on the show, but we know that production does that all the time. Tammy's interview said that. We already knew that, though. They do that all the time.
Well, the girl said it too in her, post. I ain't got that picture no more. I deleted it. But she said, I told her at the bowling alley.
Like
so
she told LaQuisha.
She said that they made her they said that they made her reshoot.
Had a reshoot. And then when they were sitting down there and it all came out with the girls, but then again, it's just like, what? How much of this is real? How much of this is a lie? Which
exactly.
Y'all gonna rue today. Y'all played with me like this. She said, oh, I just found out. In reality, I think maybe they were trying to dig deeper into, forget the, what's going on with these cameras, forget the production people around. Did you know? Maybe they should have said all of that and delve deeper in. Did you know?
You're staticky. You're really staticky.
Hold on.
Yeah. I feel like, whether they're going to say, did you know or did you not know? They're filming a show. They all know and understand that. They're not, if they wanted to get down to the real nitty gritty of it, they would talk about it off camera. Okay. So that's the truth of it all.
But don't come on camera and lie to me. That's my
thing.
But they're acting. They all lie.
They all lie and play in our faces. And here's why I say that, because my whole point of
my girl Brady ain't lie to me.
Oh Lord, you gonna have an intervention. That's what's gonna.
We're gonna have an intervention, and I'm finding the exorcist. So we can get that Kool-Aid about you that's got you so convinced. But here's the thing, like my whole point of even coming up here was, not to backtrack because we're going forward, but we were talking about the situation with OG, sorry.
Oh, you can call her OJ.
And you was, I'm
hold on. What's going on, Rick Irv? I ain't seen you in a long time. What's going on, man? Go ahead, Nola.
But you were saying like she got mad, she took it personal when they playing a role, which is true. I agree with that. But here's my thing. in reality, right? Which this is supposed to be a reality show. In reality, if somebody do all that stuff you were saying, like throw a glass in your face, throw a drink in your face, you running in their mouth. That's reality. You're not
Yes.
about to sit up there and let nobody handle you like that. So where OG understood the assignment was that this is fake reality, not real reality. OG handled
Did
it
she?
like she would in real life.
I mean,
Did
she
she?
didn't. She,
But
I
y'all
mean,
don't sell me a reality show rooted in not reality. But I, like I said, I said all the time,
Did
this
she?
not really reality. Because real reality, if I don't like you, I ain't coming to your house. I ain't coming to
Right.
your party. I'm not going on no trip with you.
Right.
I'm
But
OG.
not one of
Okay,
these
so
damn.
OG. I'm not. I can't sit here and agree with no OG anything because OG watched this show before she came on this show.
yes.
She knew what it was when she got on that show.
But
When
guess
she
what?
came
Do
on
you really
again, and I
know?
said every time we talk about OG, when them boobs were sitting like this, it was a mess. When
I'm
that
not gonna
toe
say
was
anything.
when that toe
I
was
didn't say
hanging
nothing
out, it
about her
looked a mess.
panties being on
Hold
point.
on. When that toe was hanging out, it looked a mess. When that wig was sliding back, when Malaysia said it was looking a mess and I could see it, it looked a mess. Girl, when you come back to the next season, just fix your fashions,
Right.
period. And then
well,
come on, be a cast member. That's it. It ain't a problem. This is they did this with Tammy, they did it with
Yep.
Roy, they did it with any girl that came on the show. OG was no different, but she wanted to be
Right.
treated different because she was a darker skinned girl, whatever, or the featureism or the colorism or whatever. But when you come on, come correct because everybody else had to do the same thing. OG was no different. So don't come on this show saying nothing else besides the fact that I came on looking a damn mess. Period.
Right. And Tammy did say also too that yes, when we say reality, we're talking about the major points of your life is true. The
Hmm.
other stuff is made up through production. So they're get where they live, who they're
It's two different things.
dating, yeah, who where
well,
they live, who they're dating, their children, all of that
Hmm.
stuff, that is real. That's real.
they
And I
might as
forgot about her. I forgot about her Jiffy popcorn pop hat that she had on too. That Tammy said.
Yes. Yes.
they might as well
All that.
just treat this like The Hills. After we found out The Hills is very scripted. Y'all should treat it like most of these shows. Y'all should treat it like The Hills. At the end of the day, most of these
Ricardo,
people.
your thing is like it's very
Really
static.
really really bad static.
Hold on.
But yes, I mean, I
Now
think
look, I
my
didn't say her
my
fashions was on point.
It was
right.
I'm
horrible.
just saying,
Horrible.
I just feel like you know what you see on TV, right?
Mhm.
Right.
If we That's just like all of us. We sign up to do a reality TV show. We know what we see on TV.
Right.
Right.
However, we don't necessarily
Oops, now Nola
Now
dropped
you
off.
done went out.
Now you
get
went
there
out.
or getting in somebody else's face and getting in the ear and how far it will go when it catch you off guard. That's just like people who fight Floyd Mayweather and say he a whole lot harder to hit than what you see watching the
Is
tape.
this better?
Yes.
You know
Yes.
what I'm
Okay.
saying? So I think it's to a certain point, but I think the people who go on these shows need to start realizing that they getting backlash from doing all of this foolery and decide how much of their integrity and their soul they willing to sell for this reality TV check. Because I don't care what a producer tell you to do. At the end of the day, it's ultimately up to you to make that asinine decision to look like a fool.
Absolutely.
But I think you got to think about the show you on. Like Basketball Wives was specifically for one thing,
Yes.
right? It
Yep.
was the fashions. It was even Tammy said it today on Carlos King thing. It was going to lunch and eating. That's what it was about. It was about the glamorization of the basketball wives and the ex basketball wives. You can't come on the show looking a mess. Period.
And take it
If you
personal.
do, if you do, they're gonna point it out.
Yes.
And just like when
Wait,
Tammy came on, and she's a light skinned lady. So Tammy and OG ain't no different when the OG came on. Go and watch the show, girl, before you come on the
I
show.
got a
Period.
I got a
Yes.
question. So why didn't they call out LaQuisha for looking orange every single episode?
Because
Why?
when LA started, Ricardo, when LA started, it was a new franchise. They
Yes.
wasn't on that. That wasn't the Evelyn, and that wasn't that franchise. So that was different.
Oh,
It
I'm
could
talking
have
about
been
as of recently. She didn't
no.
look orange in the beginning. I'm talking about as of recently. She be looking real orange, and I'm like,
Well, they had an opportunity to do that. They just haven't done it. But I'm saying when she first came on to Basketball Wives in LA, she wasn't the cutest girl either. But she
Yeah.
wasn't also a main character either. It was Jackie and the Govan Girls.
Yes.
ugh.
Exactly. And again, I mean, all of them, like I said, I mean, what's her name? Brooks makeup has
Right.
been looking a little orangey, mainly good though. She's
Yeah.
obviously
Brooke
beautiful.
or her
And
behind is throwing me off. Like, did she have a BBL? Somebody let me know.
Who, Brooke?
maybe,
Yeah,
maybe.
it's throwing me off. Like when she's like, you know how you could tell that maybe they had a little something done to them, the way they clothes be fitting, and then you just be looking at them like, I don't know if it's just you've been hitting the gym like real hard, and it's just all muscle butt up there, like Apple had muscle butt from Martin, or if you had some surgery. And if so, I want you to dress differently because I don't like this situation.
I think they've all kind of done overkill with the lycra this season. I'm not sure why
Yeah.
that is. But I was just going to say, not only, Brooke, but I feel like, or Malaysia, I feel like all of the makeup,
It's
Brandy
a
as
lot.
well. It's been a lot. It's been kind of been not the greatest in this season. And I'm not really sure why that is.
Duffy and
Um,
her wigs.
But
yeah,
it's because of the different production companies they've been working with.
yeah, it could
Because
be because
Because
Angel's
so
makeup is bad too.
we're going on a break, so we have two more episodes, and we're going. This is season A, and then we're going to season B. But there's a whole different production team for season B, and
Yeah,
the girls on the show actually helped produce season B.
got it.
What? Oh Lord.
So you're going to get to see a little bit of the difference when we watch it. Season B.
I hope so because this makeup team is not working. Like
Mm-mm.
Angels under eyes, that kind of cake, whatever they're doing doesn't look the greatest, and it didn't used to look like that. So
Angel and the
I hope it gets better.
I want to know who in the wardrobe department allowed Angel to come on the set looking like that. I want to know why did they have them big old hood ornaments on her ears? Like why?
You know why Angel came on like that? Angel's promoting her business.
Yeah,
And
No,
whether you
I
like
know
it,
she.
whether look, hold on, whether you like it or not, all those things you can buy at her shop. Angel is a walking billboard of her business, and I support it because they trashed her the first season she came on.
Oh yeah, they. Ooh,
They
they
did,
did. Mm.
but because she's working with big artists and stuff like now, Angel wearing everything Angel brings. So when Angel come on with big earrings, you know what, you can buy them at her shop.
yep,
When she come on with the paternity clothes, you can buy it at her shop. Whether you like it or not, somebody likes it. So when Angel is promoting her business, that's her sole purpose on that show. I can guarantee you that.
yes, absolutely,
I mean,
and as she should. Like Sheree
Absolutely.
Sheree should do finally her She by Sheree,
she ain't gonna she
and
by nothing.
Whenever she makes it.
right,
Whatever.
right. And I was
What?
gonna say, but can I finish?
Yes.
So
Go ahead. I'm
like
sorry.
any of the other girls with any of their brands, Kenya does it too with her hair care. Like
Yeah.
they should. That's what the point of the show is, right?
Yeah.
Like it stopped being about girls lunching and having drinks and cocktails a long time ago. So if you're going to be on the show, promote your brand.
Love
But
the
but the
picture.
thing, the thing, Cindy, with this show is that these girls don't have nothing because
Exactly.
Why hasn't Malaysia promoted her business?
Yeah, but
What business?
she doesn't have
She
anything
has that
produced
clothing
yet.
line. She has a clothing line. She promotes it the same way that Evelyn promotes hers on Instagram. Malaysia does it. Now,
Oh,
Because
Evelyn has always promoted her business on that show.
he has.
Malaysia has with those earrings and also like her bodysuits, like Portia's had them on.
Yeah.
There's a lot of girls that's reality show. They have Evelyn clothes on.
Kenya has it
Malaysia
on.
has never. Kenya has Kenya. I forgot the other one. I know it was Kenya,
Hmm.
but Malaysia has never mentioned her business because I don't think that Malaysia owns it.
Okay.
But
Once
Well,
again,
but
what
I
it's
business?
just
true.
saw a clip when they was talking about Malaysia owning those when her and I think it was her and
why
Drea.
you got Tammy as your picture?
Because I know you will be looking at it. But they just showed a clip with her and Dre. I think it was her and Dre going back and forth. No, her and the girl that's pregnant. And she
Angel.
was like,
Angel.
yeah, Angel. And she was like, why are you talking about my business? Because I work hard for my business. I don't have nobody giving me alimony or whatever. And Malaysia was like, no, my sheets, my such and such. The girl was like, and you get alimony. Malaysia was mad as hell. She's like,
She
no,
don't get
that
no
is my
alimony no
money.
more.
I work
Because
hard for that.
those sheets ain't sold nowhere. That's not even a business anymore.
That's not.
And
Then what is this
well,
new
Angel said
business?
it wasn't a business back then either.
It wasn't. Because who has it? Who has it?
Not me. Do you have it?
I don't have
So
it.
I'm just telling you the clip I just saw.
I just dropped the
Um,
link for you, Nola. Nobody ever bought that. I would have actually. I would have purchased it. I
Yeah.
never could find out where it was at.
She couldn't either.
it wasn't real.
And
I was
she hated on Angel Brink saying you had me
Mm-hmm.
looking like a sexed up Power Ranger, but you didn't even sleep in the bed with your comforters and stuff. So maybe you should have been a sexed up Power Ranger to sell the clothes that you didn't even have.
but she looked like a sexed up Power Ranger anyway.
It,
She
it's
should actually what she should do. I would say what Brooke and Malaysia should do is the bodysuits because they wear them every day.
they do, but
Exactly.
That's y'all's brand. Like, why not promote that and make your own shit?
right.
Or
But I
Brooke with
feel
the
like
lingerie.
I also feel like, Jennifer is starting to do that too a little bit here and there. She's done it through the years, but this
She
season is the
does.
most, yeah, season is the most that, with her hair, I really feel like it could be a success. I hope that she sticks on that and moves
I think the
forward
hair
with
is gonna do well for her.
I hope so.
Mm-hmm.
I think it
It
would.
should.
It looked beautiful. Yeah.
You know, Candace has the same thing, but Jennifer has something different because I think that she's renting hair. People don't like it, but she's renting out that long hair. I think it was like 80 inches,
Yes.
and
Yes.
no one does that. So she has a niche, so it will work for her
Yes.
because the girls that's in the industry they want that long hair.
Yep.
And to me, Jennifer is on to something because British is doing vending machines.
Yeah.
Somebody we already seen it already, but
We
what
hope.
Jennifer's doing is different. And if it works for her, like she's going to make money
Mm-hmm.
off of that because
And the
it's
quality
rare
of
you
it.
see that. Yeah,
Yeah, she has good quality and
Mm-hmm.
she's
yeah,
known
And Jennifer
and
ain't the
throughout the
villain this season.
yeah,
throughout the years her hair has always looked bomb, always.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So she's a good
Mm-hmm.
advertisement. Like people would want to invest in that because some of the other
Right,
girls can't say that. With their wigs and their weaves has not looked the best. Jennifer's looks natural and it's always been beautiful.
right.
I'm a.
Jennifer
We
hair
don't
and
care
her
what we
face
don't care what
and her
Zell
makeup.
said about her breasts smelling bad and her bad fashions.
Right.
Jennifer's always been top tier to me when it comes to that
Me
show.
too.
She's
Wait.
always
Mm-hmm.
looked
Let me.
amazing. Her hair's always looked good. Jennifer's always came to even when Tammy was on the show with Carlos King.
Yeah.
They said that they said that she was coming on and look cute with her cute fashions and her cute hair.
Yep.
So we know that's what Jennifer comes for. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
So,
why I said she could do makeup too if she would really wanted to, because her
I'm gonna
huh?
face
say
card
this.
never declines.
Yeah, I'm gonna say this about
Wait,
Zell.
what'd
You
you
can't.
say, Prosperity Girl?
I said she can do makeup as well because her face card never
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
declines.
I'm.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna
Absolutely.
say this. I'm gonna say this about Zell. I don't know how he talk about anybody and they fashions, they hair, or they breath when he come out the house
Ricardo,
just the way he
you got that
dressed.
you still got that you got that static still.
We do.
Yep.
Seriously.
Yes,
Yes.
Mm.
every time.
Like it
Well,
sounds
I
It
can
went
pick
really
it
it
up
went
good.
for you.
away and
I
then
can pick
now
it
it's
up for you,
back.
cousin. He come out the house looking like he stank and have the audacity to want to
Yes.
talk
Absolutely.
about somebody else. Cause I swear he smell like cheese and get back every time I see him.
I
Yes.
agree.
Peanut
And
butter
he
in his toenails. Ew. I don't know how the
Jennifer
hell
is
you supposed to be
beautiful.
a
Can I
goddamn
just say I
designer.
really hope Jelani be, if not the one for a long time, so she don't have
yeah,
to go get her
Listen,
no
we
other
support that
dog.
on this channel over here.
I put that
absolutely.
on my Twitter. I said, Jelani, we will come for you. We will
No,
find you. We got our good.
I'm not fighting
I
I
him.
said we got
tweeted
our
Jennifer.
good
I said
eye out
Jennifer,
for
don't mess
you.
this up for us because I
Yes.
feel like I'm gonna mess it with him too, and I don't want her to mess this up. I don't want him to mess it up. Listen, I am Tim, Jelani, and Jennifer, the two
Yes.
J's.
It's like I want her
Yeah.
to have
It's
some
like J and
happiness
J, Johnson
finally.
and Johnson, Jennifer and Jelani. I
Yeah.
I
want it.
said she has kissed enough frogs. She needs her
Yes.
prince, and you better be it,
Yeah.
cause that girl has been through a lot.
But if y'all look at this man when he's around her, when he was at her event, this man's smile was on his face. He looked like he just
His face
like
looked like a Christmas tree lit up
yes,
inside.
Yeah.
like
What's
he's
that
in love
Marvel
with this
show?
woman.
And her
Like
too.
the
She
same
was
thing. Jennifer
shining.
ain't never looked so corny, cheesy ever on
Yes.
this show.
Exactly. She never
Agreed.
looked
So
happy.
to me, like I want this to work so bad for her.
Yeah.
And people keep saying they don't want to see it, but I want to see a
I
Jennifer
want
and
to see it.
Jelani wedding special.
How it
I
sound
want to
now?
see it. I want to
I
watch it.
want to see Jennifer finally get a happy ending.
Same.
Yes.
Lord knows she needed
And then
that
she
because
can
she was
exit basketball
divided.
wives. I want to watch. She's like Cynthia for me. I want to watch it. I want to see the wedding special and just
And then
go.
Yes.
she can go off into the sunset. Like that's the
Yep.
end of
Yes.
her
Yes,
story.
we seen her for so damn long. We already invested. We may
Unless
not
she
as
has a
well finish
baby.
it out.
Unless she has the baby. and I
Oh
want
my
to watch that
God,
too.
please. I want to see that
Mm,
too. I would love to see her with a baby.
Me too. I want
'Cause
to
I
watch
think that's
all of
what
it.
she wants. I think that's what she wants. I
And
think she
Tammy
wants a
and Tammy
family.
and Tammy was saying that on the interview with Carlos King. They were saying that she's not a main cast member, but her getting into this relationship with Jelani, like we've never seen Jennifer in this light before. Like to me,
Right.
it elevated her a little bit. And then if Jennifer gets
Hmm.
pregnant and have a baby, like to me, come off of Basketball Wives, and I want a whole special about Jennifer and Jelani. I want to go through the whole process with her from this baby. I want to
And
see the
see, I
marriage.
would,
I want to watch all of it.
I would want her to do that on her own. I wouldn't want her to do that in this setting in this
I
group.
said not on
Hell no.
Basketball Wives. I said I want her to
Yeah,
have her own show outside of the
yeah.
Basketball Wives.
Yeah. And I
The
feel
I
Beavers
don't
like
know
will
what
mess
it
it
is,
up.
but it seemed like soon as the girls get a man, the other girls just
Get
come for their
sour.
man and want to have like Jennifer
And
done
they
been
they
through
got to
enough.
stop.
I don't want to see
Don't
it.
hate on her for that though, because like this moment to me, as a fan of the show for these many years, like
It'll be
I
full
waited for this
circle.
moment.
right.
We
I
waited
feel
on
like
it.
that song.
Yeah,
It's been a
time,
long
a
time coming,
long time coming,
but
but I
I
Yes.
know.
And I
know.
feel
Yes,
like
that's
See, but
how I
the difference is
feel.
we like Jelani. Nobody
I
likes
like it.
Rockstar, so
Listen,
nobody wants to see you with
exactly.
him, Angel. That's the problem. It's not
you know
you,
what
it's
sealed
him.
it?
hold
You know
on.
Yeah,
what
Do
sealed
I
it for
sound better?
Jelani for me?
Yes, you
When
do.
he was at that
Okay.
fashion show, most men that we see come on this show or be with these women,
All up in the
they
camera.
kind of want to be all up in the camera and
yep,
front and center.
Yes.
And he
yep,
stepped to the
They
back,
be just
played his part, and looked at her like, "That's my woman," and was glowing.
yes.
I was like,
Yes.
"God, Jelani,
See,
he wasn't
you better
But
shooting
not
to
get
nice.
the
add on
rumble
to that,
coming
Nola,
to me."
though, but to add on to that, though, if you look at the show, like if you zoom into the background, he's in the back, he's cheesing, he's watching his woman do her thing, like he loves that lady. Like to me, like
Hmm.
I love to see this for
Yeah.
You
Jennifer.
see how
Like,
they were sitting at the table together? He was
yeah,
like, he want to stay here forever. She was like, hold up, forever is a long word. Yes, girl, forever is a long word, and you better be with it.
yes,
yeah,
Be
Right.
with
And
it.
I feel like like this experience to me, like if it can come full circle, like you just said, so Deb, it would be kind of like a Cynthia Bailey. Like it would have come full circle. It came full circle
yeah,
for her. Like we saw her in the bad relationship. Then we saw
yeah.
her finally get her Prince Charming. She already had her daughter. And
Mhm.
so it was no more storyline for her. And it would kind of be similar to me with Jennifer and Jelani if it were to continue that
Yeah.
way.
Yes, because
Jennifer.
So
this
Jennifer,
even needs to be the the
Jennifer is
season.
it.
Because next season they'll probably be right back at her again. Because I don't. Yeah, they be
But no,
trying to
I'm gonna
dog
say
her.
this prosperity girl. The only thing is this: the difference between Cynthia and Jennifer is I would watch a Jennifer show with
Yeah, I
her
wouldn't watch him.
exploring her relationship and being pregnant. I would watch that.
But
Yeah, I'm not
that's the thing.
watching.
50 Cent wasn't trying to have no more kids. But on to Jennifer
Yeah,
and the man with the nice beard.
but
Because I saw,
we could have watched her get married though. Like that, we could have watched
Yeah,
that
I would
part.
have saw that. I
Yeah.
would have
Jennifer,
we,
been
we
but
will.
Jennifer's situation is very different because one, we've seen her for almost 11 years, not even having
been
any of it.
wanting
Yeah.
And so
Well,
now she has a man who wants to have a baby with her. Like I want to watch. I'm invested. I want to see all of it.
Well, that's the thing. I ran it down to because I was like, I call him the man with the nice beard because he has a nice beard. I run it down every time they on my screen. And when they were talking this past episode, I said, if y'all gonna get married, go ahead and do it because y'all look like y'all in love and want to be together. And he not Lorenz Tate in the Rain on Me video. That's not the case. He not even the peach. And I call y'all. I call Rockstar the peach because he deserves a peach because that's how he act. He don't be like the Lorenz Tate in the Rain on Me video. He be standing there in the background, just smiling, just so happy.
Carter,
He probably around
Carter,
talking to people like,
you never, never
you
like
are
that.
different. Yeah.
You slept
That'll
like
be a beautiful baby because she is a beautiful woman and he is
mm-hmm.
a beautiful man.
Can we go to
Yeah.
Kennedy Monroe's comment? Can you just imagine baby JJ? Imagine a JJ baby on G so dope. Oh my god.
Yeah.
That baby
Yes,
would be cute.
that's
Really.
gonna be a beautifully melanated
Beautiful
baby. Good
chocolate
God.
baby.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's
I
I
don't
gonna be
mean
a
even
the
like
whole
little.
bougie
entire.
I don't
baby.
even like
I
children
wanna
like
I
that
wanna
anymore. Our
walk through the
babies.
whole entire situation. When you got pregnant, how are you feeling? When do you have the baby? I want to go through all of it. Jennifer, you are ours right now. Like I want to go through all of this.
So Deb
Yeah.
gonna be her
I love a
doula.
little chocolate
I was
baby
about to say
too.
Yes,
from now on you her
I would be
midwife.
here. I would like listen. I would go to school for it just so I could deliver the baby. Like I want to be there for the entire thing. To me, I wanted Jennifer to win from day one, and to see
Yeah.
her right now, like it's I love watching this. Like
Yeah.
they're not fighting, they're not throwing tables at her like we should. They're not
Smacking
Evelyn
her
is
in the
not
face.
mad about the blogs, like because she ain't there
Right.
with Chad. Like
That's what I'm saying.
it's Jennifer.
And that's why this should be her last season. If she do get, if this relationship does last, she
Let
needs
it
to
go.
get,
I would say that, but I also
because
want them to
these
pick up
heifers will be mad
the
next
Shed
season if she
Media
come back
should
in love
also
with her baby.
big girl, but Shed Media should also pick up this journey.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want her with her own. But what I'm saying is, if she come back to this show next season, happy, married, pregnant, oh, these girls are going to find a reason to upset her. It will be some drama
Ooh.
around Jennifer.
Don't be an Angel Brinks.
Yeah.
No,
No, I could
Don't
already.
be Angel Brinks Foundation.
don't be her earrings either, or her big fat feet trying to go on trips that she knows she should be sitting her ass at home for.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say this: if Jennifer comes back pregnant and happy and married and giving everything that most of these girls aren't giving right now, it's gonna be jealousy coming from, and I'm gonna list them off. Duffy, because they've been engaged for so long and ain't no wedding in sight.
Who cares about Duffy?
I said if she come back to the show, I said that's who I'm listing the people who gonna give her trouble.
I think
Or
that
that's gonna stress her out.
if she comes back to the show, like I said with Angel Brings, show is, I mean, you shouldn't be pregnant and be on the show because you know
No.
it's going to be drama. Production is going to find the drama. Okay,
And
Hmm.
then there's
so
the stressing
Angel
people.
knew that. Angel knew that before without being pregnant. She knew
Yeah,
what kind of
Hmm.
show it was. So
Because they was
if she,
always down her throat.
yeah.
Yeah,
right,
they was
and
down her
so if
throat
she
from the
didn't want
first
to,
day.
if
But
she
I would
didn't want,
love to see like Evelyn come in on the show and be like,
Yep.
"Yo, girl, you finally having a baby." I
yeah,
would love to see Shawnee come on and like, "Girl, this is what's going on." Even with Jackie, the same thing because they're friends. Like everybody else can
Mm-mm.
stay on Basketball Wives, but
Mm-mm.
those three people,
No,
like, I would love to see it.
No.
yeah,
no, no,
but
no, because they don't need to
it's
come
not,
down here and be
yeah.
coming to the church for it to be all on the YouTube. Jennifer christening the baby down to the church with Pastor and the last lady. No, mm-mm. No.
No, because the thing is that Shawnee, Evelyn, and Jennifer were friends.
They
I
were.
don't
Word
Are they
care.
friends
friends.
I
now?
don't.
Word friends.
Jennifer, keep them evil spirits away from
To
your
me,
baby girl.
to be honest, because of Tammy speaking out now, I think they always have been friends. Like they
Yeah,
played a role, and
yeah,
Jennifer was like, I'm gonna take a back seat the years that I'm off. Evelyn and Jennifer were best friends before Shawnee was ever involved in that shit.
yes,
So
correct.
it comes down to the fact that Shawnee was a part of that friendship. So yes, they had to be friends because she was friends with Evelyn.
I'm gonna just say it.
And she
That
couldn't wait when they was beefing either.
she gonna
Tony couldn't wait for Evelyn
But
and Jennifer to
Tammy
beef.
caused that situation. I don't care if Tammy told Carlos King that Jesus came down and told her something else. Tammy caused that issue. It was
Yeah,
not. It wasn't Jennifer.
right.
I
It was
don't
more than one time that they beef, so it wasn't always Tammy. Them kids, them
No,
chicks beef.
no,
I
no,
don't
no,
know how
no.
many
Tammy
seasons.
started that mess when she said that stuff about Shaq.
That was the
Jennifer,
last season.
when
Wasn't that the
Jennifer
last
said what
season
she
they were
said,
on?
I knew that Jennifer was not lying because
know. That was
Tammy's
the
that way. And then when she put it all off on Jennifer, and Jennifer didn't have the receipts because and Tammy knew that, you knew what it was. Tammy was like, "Let me drive it home." I don't believe you can't pay me to believe it.
I don't care about their friendship. I'm talking about the lady who out here moving like that other lady who lost her voice for snatching that lady husband. You want to snatch that lady husband down to that church, took her position as first lady,
What lady are you
and
talking about?
you know what lady I'm talking about.
No, I
Oh,
don't. I
Shawnee.
don't know. I don't know.
Shawnee, I think. I guess.
Wait,
Oh,
which
that's funny.
and the other lady, same situation where she snatched somebody's husband, lost her voice, and now every time she sing, we don't want to hear that. Now you the first lady down to somebody's church, and it's just like you ain't never been first lady in your life. Don't bring your child down to that church because somehow, some way, karma has a way of bouncing off of the person it's supposed to hit onto everybody else and everything else that's around them. Don't
You
do
are
it.
staticky, staticky,
I'm a
staticky.
I'm
Are
a
you on
lead.
Are you on your phone, Ricardo?
Yes.
You need you need to get on something else because that static is like
A
Ooh,
killer.
I
Chris.
hate this phone.
It's killing.
I swear to God, I do.
Yeah.
That static is dangerous to us. Like it sounds
Yeah.
really bad.
Yeah.
Hold on.
Did I make my last point for this?
Well,
I
Tammy,
Oh
was
what
no,
did
looking
I
you?
for
didn't.
y'all last night.
So I did want to celebrate Tammy as well.
Yeah.
I didn't hit my last point. So I did want to celebrate her because one, she does have that scripted show that she's it's fake, but she also has Miss Peck that's coming back, and she also has a new show that's coming up on BET in August that's coming out that she is
Yes.
the actual producer on. So shout out to Tammy Roman for everything she's done. To me,
Girl, we
y'all,
get a shout out from
I
so
get
dead
I
time.
do get Tammy Roman hell on the
Yeah.
channel. I do. But one
Yeah.
thing
Yes,
I will
you
do is I
should
will
be
support her.
ashamed.
I will support her though. That's my thing. I don't
And
care how
again,
much hell I give her. I will support her. And so with her scripted show that she has going on with this cheater situation, I might not watch it, but I'm gonna play it on my phone or in my back at my house so that she get the views for it. I'm not watching that because it's fake. She does
right.
have this pack show coming back up, but she did say that she has a show coming up in August on BET as well. So congratulations to Tammy Roman.
Don't
Absolutely.
you
And
have one coming
I
with
feel like
Evelyn?
So that they changed it.
Yeah, I'm so
At first it
confused.
was, at first it was Tammy and her, but then they took Tammy off of it.
And put Nivea on.
No, Nitty was already on there. So
Okay, so they
they took
Holly
Tammy
Robinson.
off. And so I don't know if Tammy's on that show, but
but I
if
don't know
they
why
are,
Tammy would have been on the show because she's
she's
married and it's
married.
supposed to be about
A
dating.
dating show, you're right.
Yeah.
I
Listen,
didn't even know what the show was about. I just heard Tammy and Evelyn, and I'm like, huh? I didn't
Yeah.
see that coming.
Yeah.
I
listen.
don't know why Tammy it's a dating show. Tammy's married, so it doesn't make
It
sense.
doesn't make sense for her to be on there. Yeah.
Do
But
But
y'all
I
Holly
really
really
want
Robinson
to
Like,
Pete
see
is
Holly
on it, and she
Robinson
married.
Pete,
might be like
Nivea?
a counselor on the show, but Holly Robinson is the main person that's doing the show.
yeah,
Okay,
they
Tammy
said
I
was,
that
don't
they
know.
said
I'm
it's
just
like a
hearing
and the
names.
way that they
bachelorette.
set the pictures up was it was Holly Robinson in the middle. It
Yeah.
was Tammy Evelyn, Tamar, and
And Nivea.
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 So it wouldn't make sense for her to be on
On
the
it.
show. Like it didn't make
No,
sense.
not at all. I will
No,
say about
nine's just who Evelyn, Nivea, Tamar, and Holly Robinson Pete. But I mean, do y'all
Yeah.
want to see any of them really date?
You know what? I have a special
Do you
place in
have
my
to
heart
ask
for
that
Nivea.
question?
Hold on, wait. I have a special place in my heart for Nivea.
And
So
Evelyn.
I do want to see Nivea go on the show and date. She's had a. Have you ever seen her story?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I
yes.
have. But
Uh-huh.
I
It's
mean, I
been
don't.
traumatic. Like I want her to be happy. Like she's
Yeah.
been through so much in her life. Like I want to see her be happy with a man if that's what she wants. If
Yeah.
she doesn't want it, then don't do it. But I would love to see that. I don't think that Evelyn really wants a man for real, but I could see her going on the show to get one.
Yeah.
Um, who
Get
I
was
that
could
the?
see
baby.
her going on the show to get a check.
I could see
Yeah.
the chick part,
Yep.
but Nivea to me most specifically, or Tamar. Tamar wants a man too.
Yes,
She
she
she do too
does.
much for me.
So
Tamar. I used to
She's
love
too much
Tamar.
for me.
Tamar's on my last damn nerve. Did y'all see the damn twerking video of her got looking the
Yeah.
damn fool?
Yeah.
I'm like, girl, those are
hey
not
Miss
your
Drea,
friends.
Hey, Miss Drea.
Hey, Drea. Those are
Not
not
like
your
I said,
friends.
I
Got you
can
looking
see
like that.
Nivea. It's just the rest of them. I don't. As we all know, I don't care for Evelyn. I will never care for Evelyn
well,
ever.
and that's your own personal flaw. That's fine.
I mean, in your personal
Not a
flaw is that you
flaw.
like her.
Well, again,
I still love you either way.
like I said
I
from the
mean, I love you
beginning,
either
we
way.
all
We
have to
can agree.
keep in
Listen,
mind.
this not gonna be the first thing we disagree about. You in Atlanta, you have the fell cats that can't never rise up. You know, I mean, I'm pretty sure
well,
we'll have a lot more battles.
Absolutely.
like I said too, I mean, and as Tammy's interview stated, and I've said this from the beginning, that it is a show. We understand it. It's a show. It's for entertainment. So
Right.
she played her part. So it wasn't like she was
Mm-hmm.
set up to be the nice girl for us to like her, right? She was set up to
Hey,
play
Faith.
the villain, and she played her job, and she said that she did. And I mean, a check is a check. You can call them, fake actors, or it's the storylines are real. They're not. She came on to play a part. She played her part well.
I
And
agree.
there would have been no show without her. So,
I'm just
And
glad that you
we can
acknowledge
never
that,
take away
Miss
her
Cindy.
impact on the show. We can never take that away.
I'm glad
Exactly.
that you
at
acknowledged that
all.
there would have been no show without her, since
I
my
never said that it
brother
would not be.
over here
Okay,
needs
wait,
the
wait,
Exorcist
hold
We
on,
talk
wait,
about
wait,
Miss
wait,
Kool-Aid
Sin.
hold
We
on, hold
talk
on,
about
drinking.
hold on.
Miss Sin. So
I
there,
ain't
we
never,
talk
I never,
about
I
Sin.
never said
Sin
that. I
said
never said
that,
that.
not you.
I
Sin
never
said it.
said that.
Our friend Miss Sin said it. We love you, brother.
Did
But
you say that?
Miss
But
Sin said there would be no show without Tammy as well. She loves
You
Evelyn, but
said
she
that, Cindy?
understands
there
the
would be no
assignment,
show without
and she
Evelyn.
knew.
There was a show before Tammy was on there.
I said
And
there
it
would
was
be no
whack.
show without Evelyn.
Oh,
Oh, I
Evelyn.
thought you
Okay.
said
Yeah.
Tammy. Girl, no.
We thought you
And
said
it
Okay.
was
Tammy
whack.
now.
Evelyn
No,
is
no.
I was
whack
like,
to
wait a
me.
minute now.
No. I said
I'm
without Evelyn.
sorry. I didn't.
She meant Tammy though.
The
I agree with you,
fashion,
Cindy. I agree with you, Cindy.
the fashion.
Even Carlos King said on his interview that without Tammy and Evelyn, it would not be no show.
Yeah.
Tammy and Evelyn.
Between the two, they cannot have a show without one or the other.
Right.
See, that's all we had to do is put them both together. Y'all want to keep leaving Tammy out,
So
but
let's be clear that Evelyn is a factor of the show.
Yeah. Well, let me
and
just say
Tammy
It
this.
was
was
a
she.
main
It is because
factor
she was
as
in the bottom of
well.
drama.
No, but look, I
But
feel like
What's
Tammy
at the
going
was
on,
time,
Josh?
too.
Wait,
but I
what's
feel like
going on,
oops,
Bernice? Sorry, y'all. I was
Bernice.
doing this with everybody.
No, that's okay. I just wanted to say, Tammy, sorry, Evelyn, there would have been no show without Evelyn. However, when to help the show continue, they brought in Tammy, and that was needed. They needed that conflict for the show to keep it going, to be honest, because all of the other girls kind of fell off.
Was
They,
scared.
they kind of just fell off. Like
But it's just like Housewives of Atlanta.
yeah,
You cannot have a show without Nene and Kenya sparring.
yeah,
Like it's magical.
yeah.
Like you can't have it.
Yeah, and
This
Marlo, you're not doing a good job.
who ain't
You're not Nene. Marlo, you're
Marlo.
no
not Nene. You don't
no.
want to see it. You don't know how to do it
But,
right.
but,
You want to
but
go
hear what I
low.
said though. What I said though.
I said, you
You,
said Nene. I'm just
you
letting
cannot have a
Marlo
show
know she's
without
not
Nene
Nene.
and Kenya sparring, and you can't have basketball without Evelyn and Tammy sparring.
Yeah,
Those are magical moments. Like you can't have it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Marlo, you're not doing the job. You're not no Nene. You can't do it. You don't do it right.
Yeah.
Nene never had to go as
And
low as you
Marlo
do
Marlo
to
came on there. She
do
gonna
her
be
thing
Nene. She did.
yeah.
It doesn't work.
It doesn't
at
work.
all. And we don't like you on the
But
show.
this was the thing that I wanted to talk about was that I do see a lot of comparison with, and nobody ever said it. I'm saying this. I see Tammy Roman and Kenya in parallel because they know how to work the system.
Yes, agreed. Yep.
Hmm.
Tammy, the way that Tammy talked about her career, I see Kenya saying the same thing.
Yeah.
Kenya
Hmm.
had a lot of small roles, but when it came to the reality TV, she killed it.
She
But
knew
she
how to
worked
do it.
because she knew how to do it.
Yep. That's
Hmm.
right. Absolutely right. And I feel like that's why the interaction with her and Marlo isn't working, because Marlo is not like the Nene kind of shade. She goes too deep in talking about her mom relationship with her mom and her child. Like that's not how you go back and forth. That's not how you uh,
Yeah.
actually spar. And Nene and Kenya know how to do it.
And
Come on, Abba's child.
let's say hello to Abba's child.
Hey.
Come on,
Let's
Abba's child.
agree.
Pass the collection plate for us
Let's
and
agree to
cupcakes.
disagree
That's the truth.
because Kimmy could never do what she cannot do. The thing is, this my thing is this, and y'all can disagree with this.
Don't you
There
say
can,
it, because I know what you're about to say.
there can never be a Timmy without an Evelyn. There can never be a Kenya without a Nene Leaks.
Yeah.
They have to spar. Like it has to work together.
In the
Yes.
same way, there would be no Evelyn if there's no Tammy. Don't forget it goes the other way around
I
as
said that. I said
well.
that.
No, it would still be a show without Tammy, because it was a show without her. It
Well,
just
it
got
But
wasn't.
it
better.
wasn't
It
working,
just
and
got
it
Come
better.
wasn't
on, Sandy.
working.
Come on, Sandy. Lay down the
They
facts.
stopped
It just
working,
got
so they
better,
had to
and
go
Hold on,
find
Prosperity girl,
Tammy.
because Cindy got
hold,
facts.
hold
Let
on.
Cindy tell you what it was. Go ahead, Cindy.
it was already a show with all the same drama, and Evelyn did
That's
spar with
true.
the other girls. It just continued the series and took it to another level
That's
when
true.
Tammy came on, and that is
Exactly, and they were ready to let it go before Tammy came too.
No, they
So
were
when
not ready to
Tammy
let it
said
go.
it up,
That's not true.
they
That's not
were
true at
ready.
Not
all.
on that
true.
And that's
That
series.
is
why
not true.
Evelyn begged
Not on
Tammy.
that one.
I mean, and
Big girl,
that's
that's
why
not true.
Tony begged
That is not
Tammy
true.
to come on the show because
I
the show was
mean,
going down
Big
the
girl, that's
toilet.
not true. That's not
That's
true
not
And it
because
I'm
was,
if that
sorry.
was
I just feel
big girl,
like
if that was the fact, Tammy wouldn't have to go to a producer to get to another producer to get to Shawnee to be on the show.
yes,
That's
absolutely.
not true.
and then when she left, she had to go find her again. She didn't need to produce it the second time because they needed that show. They needed life.
Well, also look at this. When Tammy came back, Evelyn wasn't there, but then they brought Evelyn back. So then, if Tammy was good enough, then why they have to bring Evelyn back?
And
Absolutely.
if,
And it,
and, and if,
and once
and if
again,
Evelyn was good enough, they wouldn't need a Tammy in the first place.
no,
Evelyn
but
didn't come.
once
No,
again,
they never needed a Tammy.
right, but
Those
They
are the facts.
did.
Tammy seeked out the show.
yes,
Evelyn never
And
did
they
that.
wanted her.
Evelyn
And
created
they
the show.
wanted her. The reason Evelyn got on
Nigga,
the show in
wait,
the first
wait,
place
hold
because
on,
she was that
wait, hold
girlfriend.
on. Give me a second. Evelyn created a show. Tammy
yes,
seeked out a show. When the show was over for Miami, they brought Tammy back, but then they had to bring Evelyn because it wasn't enough. So you have
right,
to give Evelyn her credit.
absolutely.
I
So
mean,
Because
Evelyn
listen.
just
once
snuck
again,
in over here.
I'm
once
a
again,
firm
they're
believer
con-
in
but
giving. I'm sorry.
And I
I'm
can
a
even agree with what Jacob saying. They need each other.
yes,
In
Thank
true
you. That's what I'm
fashion.
saying. That's all I'm
No.
saying.
You
They needed
said
each
that
other.
Tammy needed that. You said no, that's not what you said,
No,
big girl.
because when I said that the first time, y'all went and said she didn't need Tammy. They didn't need her. They wanted her.
I don't
She
think that
cussed it
Evelyn
out.
never needed Tammy because if that was the fact, they would have brought Tammy in the beginning.
right,
You just said
The
they
truth
needed
is
each
that
other.
The truth is what Tammy said of her mouth on this interview with Carlos King is that she seeked out basketball wives. They never seeked her out.
right. And
So
let
she
me
was
just
never
say,
needed.
absolutely,
And if Evelyn and Shawnee wasn't friends, they wouldn't have got the first part, the show period. So,
Well,
but hey,
the
hon,
show never been created.
right,
right.
absolutely.
So
But
you're
hey,
right. I
hon,
mean,
hey,
it
hon,
never
Because
been
Evelyn
created.
only
prosperity.
got on
But
so
the
Hang on,
so
hang
in
on.
so in all
the
fairness,
facts is that
the
Tammy was
facts are
never
that
needed for the
Evelyn was
show.
gonna always be protected, no matter who was on the show, to make it look like she was that girl. She was
exactly.
untouchable,
What you
Thank
said?
you. Because
regardless.
she was
If
Shawnee's
the show
friend.
Wait,
was
what you said? I didn't hear
created,
what you said.
if the show was created around Evelyn, then no matter who came on the show, she was gonna be protected and made to look like she was that girl.
Well, we watched that though.
But
Right,
here's my
and
thing. I'm
But
not
they lost
interested in
it.
seeing a 50-year-old mean girl. I'm not
Well, she was
interested
at
in
50 at the time.
We talking
hell,
about
she
now
about
that
to
she
be
turned back.
59. But she at the end of the
Okay,
day,
but
it's like I would
we're talking
have
about this. We're
loved to
talking
see
about the
her
show as a whole. When it first
at
started,
the
she
show
wasn't a
as
50
a
year old girl.
whole. The
But she
show
was
as a
ratchet
whole, the
and they
same
lost
way we
it.
went
Tammy
from
was
seeing
never needed.
Kenya, the same way
They,
we went from seeing Kenya to be being mean, nasty, and vile to this season she's tolerable, right? I would have loved to see something
Kenya
like that
never
with
started
Evelyn.
out as being
Evelyn
mean,
was just a
but
bitch the
Kenya didn't start
whole
out that way
time.
either, though.
no, she didn't.
She didn't
Didn't
start
start
that
out that way.
way.
No, let me just say this because I have to jump off.
Okay,
I'm so glad that we had this because we we missed our show, but
I know.
hopefully we'll pick it up again on
I was
Tuesday.
looking for y'all,
Yeah.
Cindy.
Oh, thank you, Prosperity.
First, she
Um,
did. She's like, "Where's you at Sydney at?" I was like,
right.
I can't do it this week."
That's okay. But look, Tammy gave us gold, so we had something to
Absolutely.
talk about, and we did talk about the
Yeah.
show. So you guys have a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys on next Tuesday.
You
Okay.
too, Cindy.
Love
Okay,
you,
bye,
Cindy.
ladies.
Be safe,
Love you
bitch.
too. So Deb, love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye bye.
Bye. And Kennedy Monroe, Shawnee did not bring Evelyn on the show. She's to throw out for herself.
Am I better this time?
So, Deb, oh my God,
Nope,
I can't wait to get
it's
off.
still static.
I need to tell you something.
How?
What'd you say? Think I'm sorry. I didn't hear you.
No, I said we gonna chat in your DM after this is over
Yeah, that's
because I
fine.
gotta tell you something.
Listen, I hold my girls down.
I mean, listen, I give
Evelyn
them
and
all
Brandy
their
is my
credit though.
girls. I'm gonna hold my girls down.
Well, we
I
know
give them
you
all
are.
they. I'm gonna give them all their credit though, because for the role that Evelyn played, she played it
Hmm.
very well. Because I feel
Hmm.
like Jada Pinkett when she played on Low Down Dirty Shame, and she seen
That's
that
my
man
movie.
in the public.
and went the wailing on him because of how he treated the lady on the story. That's how I feel about Evelyn.
Oh,
I don't like her.
I
Bill.
love that. That's
Y'all
my
remember
movie
Low
right
But
Down
you
there.
Dirty
gotta you gotta
Shame?
understand the process of
Yes,
the show.
Nola, that's my
The
favorite
reality
movie.
is that the fact is that Evelyn created the show. She might have called Shawnee to do it, but it was Evelyn's show, period. And if she don't want you
And
on,
she lost it.
because y'all big for saying, well, Brandy did, and then Shawnee said, thank you for your services, but y'all won't give her that credit. Like the reality is, this is
And
Evelyn's
she
show.
lost it. And she lost it because she was too ratchet.
Who did?
Evelyn, that's why they stopped
She never
Miami.
lost it. She never lost it. She left the show because of
Why did
Chad.
they take the show off?
She left the show because of Chad, but she also came back. And what y'all don't
And she
want,
came.
what you will know is that next season she gonna be back. So listen,
We know, and we gonna be dog when we gonna be ready
facts
for that
are
ass next season.
the facts are this is Evelyn's show. Period.
Man,
No,
you not gonna like
Miami was
us.
Evelyn's show.
No,
This is a
the
collective over here.
franchise is Evelyn's show. She's the one who created this. She
But
brought
what's she
Shawnee on
coming
because
back for?
Shawnee had the
This
connection.
50-year-old mean girl.
She's coming back because the show won't last.
But I mean, was she who?
He helped
What I
destroy
mean
you
when I
with the
said
way
was she
she
coming back for?
Y'all trash Brandy every week. Y'all trash people trash Malaysia every week. Brooke, British, y'all don't like
No,
nobody.
when I say
Evelyn,
when
I didn't say you. I'm not saying you, but they trash them every week. The reality is Evelyn is best for wife gold. Period. She's that
what
girl who holds the show
and
together.
they gonna
but
trash
who
her
she
too next
but
season.
in thinking about this,
But the ratings will go because Evelyn, whether they say it online or not, she's the girl that holds the show. Period.
when when I think in terms of the cast that they have now, that's why I say was she coming back for? So would it? I mean, it would be the click of what
To
Evelyn,
me personally,
Jennifer, and Jackie.
what I want to see is I want to see Evelyn and Jennifer. I want to see Brandy and Malaysia. I want to see Jackie and Shawnee on the show together because those are the core people of these shows.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just trying to figure out who in this group besides Evelyn, besides Jackie and Jennifer, that she really gonna do to make you. You know what I'm saying? You know how you can see when we get the cast lineup, you can see
Mm-hmm.
certain girls when they say, "Oh, they're gonna bring this person in." You can
Let me
picture
ask
it
you a
like they're
question. Let
gonna
me ask
be
you a
with this,
question.
this one, this one.
Let me ask you a question. So let's say you made a show, right?
Hmm.
And then because of all the controversy that's going on, and you left, but it's your show. Like you created this. Are you going to leave it because people don't like you? Because of some people are trashing you? You're not. Basketball wise, whether people want to admit it or not, this is Evelyn's baby. So her coming back makes a lot of
If
sense.
this her baby, why is she letting Shawnee get all the credit?
That part.
She's because Shawnee was the person who probably had the money to do it.
That's why she chose Evelyn over Tammy. Like they friends for real, for real.
Tammy said that.
They friends for real, for real. Okay,
Tammy,
I
I
mean,
mean
listen,
Evelyn and Shawnee
Evelyn
are
is
actually
what
real
she
friends.
love her. For those who, I will give her this much. She came in and did what she had to do. And the simple fact that those of us who do not like her, we stand firm on it and say it with our chest. And for
Mm-hmm.
those who love her, you know what I'm saying? They stand firm on it and say it with their chest. So she came on and played the role that she played. I
Hold
just would
on,
like to see.
hold on. A lovely Gavian Royce never created basketball wise. I don't know where you heard that from, but Royce never created the show. Tammy even said, go listen to Carlos King's interview with Tammy. Tammy even says that Evelyn created the show, and she, what, Shawnee, and that's what happened. It was never. I don't even know why you would say Royce. Royce was never
Y'all,
even a part.
y'all should know Royce didn't create the show the way they treated her.
Yeah,
Miss
Royce
Girl
was
was
never. She wasn't even important on the show.
Royce was down bad, especially well.
I
You
just
sound
would
a lot
like
better
to
than you,
see.
Ricardo. By the way,
I restarted the
I
phone
just
and
would like to
everything.
see for me to become a person who can tolerate Evelyn.
I can't.
I would like to see more besides the mean girl antics from her at this
Well,
point.
she tried to do that though, but because they keep bringing, did she come home when Tammy's on? It never works out that way because she
Well,
tried to come on that
Tammy's
way.
definitely not coming back. So hopefully, if she
So
be
the
back
next
next season,
time you see her, it might be different.
for
But
me, that's I want to see some growth. Like I don't mind when they get into a little, little ratchet match. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind that, but it's like constantly, like what she did to CC was utterly ridiculous.
Stop. Can we stop bringing up CC, please?
That,
as long as
so you
CC
gonna say that was
CC
ridiculous?
brought her own shit on her own self. CC destroyed her own family.
Nola, are you
She did
Single-handedly.
talking about
not.
So yes, she
So we're
did.
gonna ignore
She brought
everything that Byron said,
Nola.
and
Nola.
we gonna still
Let's
put it
not.
on
Let's
CC.
Nola. CC destroyed her husband's family and then married that man.
Man, that man was
CC did
no?
that.
already feeling. That
It
man
had
was
nothing to do with no
already
Evelyn.
feeling some type of way. That man was
What was
already
Evelyn's part
feeling
in
some
that?
type of way. That
What
man,
was Evelyn's part in that?
Wait,
listen, I'm
can
not
I
talking about the family part. I'm
can I
talking about
speak?
when Evelyn was calling that girl Ling Ling this, that, and the third, saying she give happy
That
endings.
was like way like a late in the season.
That's what I'm
Koji,
talking about.
she already came in and
I wasn't talking about the family
Nola,
ending.
Nola. So this is the thing. Like, see, this is what the part that happens where we gotta like really ground this. CC had already done told OG about her family problems. She had already done try to break everybody's jaw. OG was the problem way before this part. So when Evelyn called her Ling Ling, okay, so are we really
That
like?
was in the beginning of the season.
No, that was at the end of the season.
No,
Go back and
no,
watch it.
I'm gonna have to
That
go
was at
back
the end
and
of the
watch that
season.
because
Go back and watch it. Listen, people watch. I watch these.
The
I
OG put
literally watch
Byron
these shows
out there
like
saying
every
Byron
night.
wasn't the daddy, saying Byron wasn't the daddy. They were already beefing.
That was at the end of the season when she called her Ling Ling.
Can I just say this? When
Now
it comes,
you got that static again.
hold on, am I better?
No,
I can't stand the
like it's very staticky.
how. You know what? I hate this phone. I hate these headphones. I hate StreamYard. StreamYard act like a bad child in church.
Not a bad child in
And we
church.
got she's blessed one. I want new blood. Show that show.
That's
Bring
supposed to be
one
shoot.
shoot or bring
Mhm.
Juanita Jordan. Bring Larissa Pippen
Nope.
in. I know Savannah. I don't want to see none of these people.
I don't
I
want to
want to
see.
see the girls I've been watching.
Don't nobody want
Let's
Larsa.
make a franchise for those girls. But
No.
for the real fans of the show, we like the girls we watch.
Juanita sitting on her pile of money. Larsa is down with the Kardashians, passing Tristan around like he's a bag of Halloween candy. I don't know. So that lady is not about to do that because they about to bounce between
Hey, look
teams.
here.
And I don't know. Alicia, who is that?
Savannah James give me she not about to come on here and play with none of these women
No, she's
like
not.
that. Like I don't think she would ever.
And who
I,
is
I think LeBron would tell her sit your ass down.
and who is Alicia?
Who
I
is
don't know.
it?
Yeah, I don't know who Alicia is. Who's Alicia? But I don't think
Is that
Savannah would do it.
Aisha?
And I
Now,
think
why am I
LeBron.
in
I
it?
don't
And you
think.
could have did
Now,
it.
see
The
how I
same
get
way I
drawn
did
into
because you
it?
never
I didn't do
apologize.
Are we talking about Aisha?
But yeah, bring that girl into this.
You
Are we talking?
muted me because I said I don't think she would do it.
I'm gonna do
Now,
it
Now, why
why
am
again.
I
I
thought it
in
was
it?
funny. And you could have did
Now,
it the
see how I
same way
get
I
drawn
did
into
because you
it?
never
I didn't do
apologized.
that.
Don't bring these girls into this.
Are we talking about Aisha Curry?
I was just responding to the comment that we had, and then I get put out in timeout like a bad child.
In church? Are we talking about Aisha Curry? Was that who they were saying? Child, she not gonna do it either.
Ricardo, can you log on to something else? Because that static is like bad.
Hold on, I'm gonna try my laptop. Okay,
Yes, because that static is horrible.
I'm gonna try the computer.
I ain't responding to no more comments. I get put in timeout.
I just want to know how they got thrown into this. They ain't did nothing. They ain't even said
I
that.
didn't throw them into it, but you gonna punish me because I was responding.
See, I was being good. I was in timeout. I put myself in timeout.
Stop hating on
Maybe
my
we'll
girl
get a bit. Can I
Evelyn.
just say
Stop
this
hating
one
on my
thing?
girl Brandy Maxill, and we good.
I already know I'm about to get put in timeout again, but
I'm just saying, if Savannah was on the show, hear me out before you mute me. We might get a matching meme of her walking out with her purse like we have for LeBron. We might get a his and hers. I'm just saying.
If anything, it'll went from worse to worse.
They take Drew off of ATL out of RHOA and put her on here because everybody else's girlfriends over here or was a girlfriend, so she'll fit in better over here than she would on Real Housewives. And her and Malaysia can swap wigs because I don't know what Malaysia's doing this
Who
season.
can swap wigs?
Her and Drew,
Don't
because they
listen
both
now.
are
Drew
horrible.
done got her some
What's
grown
going
up
on,
in
Jake?
hair,
Wait,
and
what's
she
going on,
not going
Jacob?
back.
And wait, what's going on, Jacob? Make sure you subscribe to the channel. The way Tami talked about production with Carlos King, you could tell production set Malaysia up with that new girl and
Oh,
girls
you
doing
know they did.
and this whole Brandy and Malaysia bullshit too. So let's pull all of it. It's not to
Oh
me.
no.
I'm telling y'all,
Why?
it ain't real. It's not real.
Can I say this? Why we have to
You
keep
can say whatever you
going?
want to say, boo.
You probably gonna put me on mute again, but I don't care.
I never muted you.
Why? Okay.
Only thing that I ever
If
said was,
anything, it'll went from worse to worse.
but go ahead. Say what you want to say.
What can I just say? This is becoming a storyline for me across all franchises. I'm not down to Basketball Wives, but just across all of the reality TV franchises is why we always have to find the ex, the ex-husband, the ex-baby, that somebody always just happen to be friends with these women. It's like
I
it's
told
getting.
you
I'm
exactly.
tired of that
It's,
recycled. Maybe I'm the only one. We had the cookie lady. Like I'm just tired of it. Why we gotta keep doing this?
ain't nobody ever end up still with whatever. It's always a third cousin removed on these damn shows.
Right.
I'm just
That's the
saying.
new
So shout
formula.
out to my girl
You don't
Brandy
have to do
Maxfield because my girl's holding it down. I love her, and she's doing her
No.
thing. And stop hating on her. That's all I'm saying.
somebody. What's she
She
doing
she
her
keep
thing at?
she keep on this show. Somebody gonna bring one of them 100,000 women that her husband
Okay,
been
but
on the
she
show.
can bring one of
Exactly.
the other men to cheat with the other men too. Like that.
But
My thing
but
is,
I want her to be.
hold on,
I want her to be better if they do.
wait.
I want her to play the
Let me
girl
just say,
Dub.
I want to say this because I want to be very clear on this. People keep on attacking her about this, but you don't think Malaysia's man had 100,000 women? Shawnee's man ain't had that. Evelyn's man, any other
Yeah,
women
but
that's
none
on
of them
the
men
show,
said it.
like Christy,
Listen,
these
no, no,
people,
no. I'm not
they
attacking
all
her.
had that. So why is that an attack on Brandy Maxfield? Like,
That's not an
yes,
attack on her. That's an
the
attack
only
on him.
difference
He
is that
trifling.
that man went and corrected with his wife. Period. So why is that an attack on her?
But I'm not attacking her. I'm just saying you. If she keep on, I'm
But
just
y'all
saying
keep bringing it up like,
inevitably.
oh, was that man cheated on her? They all been cheated on.
No,
Even Tammy
no.
said
What
on
I
the
was
interview with Carlos King, this man slept with everybody. Like that's not no new shit. Like
That's
stop
not
bringing
what
it
she
up.
said though,
no, no, no,
Stan. She said
no.
if
That's
she
not
don't
where
get
I
off
was
the show,
going with it. I
somebody
was
on the
saying.
show, how petty they are,
I
they
was
are
She
saying
going
did
how
to.
not
That's
bring
what
that
petty.
up
they're
on
going
the
to talk
show this
to.
season. No, y'all bringing it up saying
No, no, no,
she
no,
was
no,
like, well,
no.
don't bring nobody who slept with him. Well, he done
I
had
was.
everybody. All these men have everybody. So why are we doing that with Brandy?
Listen, you
Because
be
her man
so ready
said
to
it
I'm
and
put
he
talking
shouldn't
on
have
about,
said
your
it
I'm
and
about
he
cape.
knew that
soapbox
we was
now.
going to do this,
You
so
be
he shouldn't
I'm
have
so
about
done
ready
it.
to
soapbox
put on your Superman cape for Brandy.
Yes.
I was chiming
Superman,
into what I was
Spider-Man,
saying. I
goddamn,
was tired of seeing it on the storyline. And if she keeps on being on the show, somebody's gonna do it to her. But I hope that she would be the one that pay it dust and don't pay the girl no mind and feed into what they're trying to do. But you cut me off
I
before I could
told
get
you.
everything out because you want to throw your Superman cape on it. I'm not saying it as an attack on her. That's trifling on him. And I feel like if you're gonna stay and work it out, you might as well stay and work it out in in therapy that serve you champagne and cry into some money to make yourself feel better while you get over the hurt. But I was just saying, if she continues, like she come back next season, somebody always throws it in these girls' faces. And I was
Exactly,
using
because
it
that's what
since
they
we're
do.
talking about basketball wives. I was using
And
her
she's the
as an
only wife.
example. Like if she continue to come on, they're gonna do it to her. Bring on one of the women because that's what they do. But I would hope she would be the one that don't want to get mad or lash out at the woman and just pay it thus.
But she
Well,
already
no,
told you
that's
that
not
she
gonna
knew that
happen
she
because
would
she
be
done
mad though.
already said,
She
"Don't
already
y'all
just said
bring
it.
none of his old
She
women
already said
on
it.
this show." She
Exactly.
said
She
it.
already
It's,
said
it's
it.
going to happen. The Incredible Hulk is coming out.
And then when she beat one of their asses, then don't be mad at her.
We can't
Oh,
be
I
mad. Hey,
won't.
you bring
I mean, I
somebody, you
won't.
bring her man's white girl on the show, you deserve an ass whooping. That goes
My
without
my,
saying.
my thing is this is I don't understand all the hate towards her
I
because
don't hate her.
no,
Me either.
everybody
She
be
just
like,
gives
I
you
don't
that.
even like Brandy. I don't know why she's back. And Brandy. I'm like, well, what did Brandy do to y'all? Like, because to me, when Brandy was on the show, the relationship between Brandy and Malaysia was one of the best things I ever watched. The same thing with Jennifer and Evelyn. I love watching those friendships. So it's like to me, it's like, well, what is the issue with her? They're like, well, she was always getting in the way. I'm like, well, Malaysia did the same thing though. People have so much anger towards Brandy, and they have none
Brandy
towards
was
Malaysia.
aggressive.
I don't
I don't
Brandy was
understand.
know.
way more
I feel
aggressive
like
than
Little Black
Malaysia
Box is
was.
definitely lying. I feel like Little Black Box is definitely lying. I feel like she definitely knew that girl daddy died. I just
You can call her like Quisha, you can call her Malaysia, whatever, one little black box. But people don't like Brandy, and I'm like, well,
I
what
don't
is the
I
dislike
don't
I
reason?
like
don't
neither one of
dislike
their ass, so
Brandy.
it don't
Let me
matter.
tell you, I'ma just be 100 with you. You know, I'ma always say how I feel. I don't
And
care
tell me
if
what
you
I
don't
want to
like it.
know.
I feel like this. At the end of the day, I'm mad with Brandy because Brandy gives too much when Malaysia walk in a room. Like
Thank
I don't feel
you.
like you should ever let nobody dictate your mood. Like I don't care if I do feel some type of way towards you.
Thank
I'm
you.
not gonna give you that, and I want her to stop giving Malaysia that. Like I just
And
want
then
So
her
when
can I
to.
you
tell,
give it, you
so
can't
can
be
I
mad when somebody don't like it.
so let me say this to you. Okay, no, let's say that we are really good friends, right?
We know that
Hmm.
part, though, dude.
Let me say that we like really good friends. Let's
Damn,
say
I
we had a
thought we
kid,
was really good friends.
we had a
We gotta
whole
just.
15-year relationship. We are good. Me and you, like we had 10 toes down with each other.
He gonna say that every time.
We have a 3 year gap. And then we see each other again, we in the same space. I'm not gonna sit around and say, I don't even know you. That's fake as fuck to me. And
That's the
excuse me,
difference between going
hold
all
on,
the way in.
wait, let me finish. That's fake to me. Because if you can't know me, if we've been friends for 15 years and we had a 3 year gap, because it's Shawnee and Tammy ain't really real friends, and she knew to call her because her dad passed away. To me, you were never really a friend to me. You were a fake ass friend. But let's take it to there. So when my father died, you know my father. And I'm gonna dumb it down to the fact that you even call my dad died. Well, we don't know each other. That's not even an excuse. That's bullshit.
Well,
The
if
fact that you
if
don't
we
know
gonna
me,
be honest,
you knew my damn dad person dying, and that we don't have mutual friends. You know, Jackie. You know somebody because you came back on this show, so you knew somebody that we were
mhm,
mutual friends with
I
to bring
agree.
you
I
back
agree.
to bring you back on the show. So you knew that,
I absolutely believe that she knew, and that's Florida on Lil Black.
and
Like
it's
Lil
effed
Black
up.
Box can get it.
It's
If
effed
she can,
up. So
you know what I'm saying?
Malaysia
She
don't get
can get
no
it.
passes with me when it comes down to it because
No, no,
you're a
no. I'm
liar.
not
Well, they
saying.
don't get
I'm
no
not
pass for
saying giving.
nobody.
I'm not saying give Malaysia a pass. I think what she did was flawed and messed up. Me
Brandy just
personally,
do too
I
much.
don't understand
But when you are a friend to somebody,
there
so
is
let's go
no
back to what I was
way.
saying because I didn't want to even stick there.
Ain't that much friends
When
in the
you are,
world. Ain't nobody gonna
but
take
hold
step
on,
you
hold on,
with
Clicker,
how
hold on,
I'm gonna
wait.
feel.
Listen to what I'm saying. No, when you are a real friend to somebody for that
You
long,
know you.
it absolutely does mean a lot to the fact where something happens. If I'm working with people who are not even really friends can reach out to me, it means a lot to me that my father knew you and had a relationship with you and you never said nothing.
And
That might not be our real issue, but this is the tip of the iceberg for me. And I get
and
what
I'm
Brandy's
still
coming
not
from.
gonna give
So
you
that's
all
why I'm
my
gonna stand
energy.
all the way 10 toes, your toes, everybody's toes down with Brady because Malaysia is bullshit. It's a lie.
Malaysia's
I
bullshit and
definitely
Brandy
believe
still
she's
do too
lying.
damn much at the end of the day. I'm not letting nobody change my mood. I'm not letting nobody take me to a place that I don't want to be. I got enough going on. My father did just die. My cancer has came back. I got to deal with my kid, my child. I want another baby and I can't have another baby. So every time I'm not giving this one person all of my energy, every time she comes in the room, every time her name is said, every time somebody speak about her. No, she does too much when it comes to that. And she's giving her too goddamn much. And that's why she's
Because she
irritating
was
the
a
hell out
real
of people.
friend, though. That's the thing.
Nobody cares about, well, I got real friends, but you
You
still
don't
don't
care about
have to
it.
give
You don't care about it. Let me tell you something
you
about me.
still
Let me tell you
don't
something
get
about
to
me.
give a person that much, and
Big
I
girl.
am
Let
where,
me tell
and
you
the
something about me.
majority is with me, and that's why everybody goes in. You ask why we go in, or why people go in, and why people can't take it, because she does way too much. If you don't want to be a friend with
But
this girl,
that's
and this
you,
girl,
though.
you can
You
be a
got to
friend.
understand other people's personalities, too,
And
though.
evidently, it's
The
a
thing is
major.
this,
But the
bigger.
majority also. But you and her are the only two that want to give all this damn energy to goddamn.
We're not the only two. You have to understand there are different personalities of people, right? Right?
Correct.
So if Brandy don't understand this, like as a friend, Melissa knew this 10 years, 15 years ago when she became her friend. You know how to operate with this girl. So you know that this girl holds on to friendship the way she holds on to them. You've known her for 15 years. I don't give a damn about being on no damn show. She knows this girl this way. The way she's playing her, to me, it makes me mad every time I watch it because
Well, don't
it
be
makes me
mad
want to
when
cry. It makes me want to
fans
fight. It
don't
makes me
like
want to
it.
be upset because don't play me on national television. Girl,
And don't be mad
you know
when
how
the
friend I
fans
was.
can't
Can I
Because
take
when
say
you
it.
it?
was going through stuff, hold on. You knew the friend I was when you became friends with me. You brought me on the show, and between all the situations you was going through and I was going through, we had each other's back for 15 fucking years, and you gonna tell me you don't know me? Absolutely not. I'm not dealing with that shit. And don't sit here and
But
lie
it's
on me
not
on
like
no
the
national
friendship
television.
broke up for one reason. It was
Wait,
all Malaysia
wait,
as
wait,
well. It's
wait,
both
wait,
of
wait,
them.
wait,
It's not
wait.
just one person broke up that friendship. They both broke up that
I
friendship.
never said
So
that part. I never
what I'm
said that.
saying is,
Thicker,
and
I
so
never said that
Malaysia
part.
might feel the same
But
way,
don't
and
but
Malaysia's way of dealing with it is being quiet and not doing it. And when they had that sit down, she didn't even have all that damn energy for the girl. That was the time for her to go all the way in to let her know what the problem was, not with every damn body else and every other and every scene. That's too much. And you ask why the fans can't get with her, and that is why, because
so
we're
let
trying
me
to
ask you a
figure
question. Let
out.
me ask you a question. Let me ask
Wait.
you a question. Let me ask you a question. So you got a friend for 15 years, right? Right? And then all
Mm-hmm.
of a sudden we on TV together. It's already fake to me, but we on TV together, and then you give me this fake ass apology, which maybe it was real, maybe it wasn't. And then somebody say, "Well, do you trust it? Do you trust it?
No, you don't trust it, but I'm
You
talking
don't
about
trust
before
it."
that part came,
So then why
after
does
that
Brandy have
part
to
came.
say? So then why does Brandy have to lie?
I did not
You
say
know,
like
I don't
I'm
trust
talking
it.
Wait,
about when
wait,
they had that
wait. I
sit
do.
down.
If it does work
Brand,
out, yes, I might go back to our friendship. But she's being honest. People have to lie and say,
no, but
"Oh, well,
that's
you know
not
what?
what
Because
I'm
he
saying.
apologized."
So you're not listening to what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm
Okay, I'm listening. I'm
saying
listening.
is she has every time she black box LaQuisha, whatever y'all call this child. Every
Like
time
Quisha
her
or
name comes
Malaysia,
up,
whichever one you want to use.
Brandy Brandy goes in a blind rage. She gets mad. Before the apology, before she said that she don't, I understand you ain't supposed to trust somebody that quick because they say they apologize. I understand that part, but when y'all had that discussion at that table and it was just the two of you, why didn't you bring all the problems that you had then? You brought it up in every damn scene, every other scene. So when you
Did Malaysia ever
that's
ask her
why they
that?
expressed it then. But no,
Hey,
you
girl.
want a storyline, and she used this as
Did
her.
Malaysia ever ask her that?
That's what it was,
Did
huh?
Malaysia ever ask her, does she trust her?
I'm not talking about just that part. I'm talking about the whole situation. Oh
You
my
told me
God,
the
don't talk
conversation
about
they
her.
had.
Don't bring her.
You
It's a
told me the
whole
conversation
lot
they had
that Brandy
together,
has
right?
done. It's just not about her saying she don't trust her. We understand that part. We're talking about everything else. Every scene from the first scene, she wanted to go in. She
Brandy
let a
is not
girl
going
be
around saying,
frustrated, and she
Brandy's
goes
not going
in.
around saying, I don't trust Melissa, I don't trust Melissa. People ask her questions, she's answering honestly.
No, we're not
Period.
talking about that. question. We're not talking about that question. Leave that question out of the
Can
equation.
I
I
just
don't
So
care
say
what?
about
one
that
thing?
question
Wait, no,
because you
wait.
gave the
Let's see what
right
Noah saying. Let's see what
answer.
Noah saying. Let's see what Noah saying.
Okay, so my point was this: I'm not mad at Brandy. It just, and not just Brandy. I'm saying Brandy because we're talking about Basketball Wives, but
Mhm.
any show. To me, I don't. I just it just bothers me when you let somebody they mere presence walk in the room and you was having a good time, just bring
Thank
your
you.
whole mood down like that. Like I don't I don't care how mad I am on the inside, me personally. I'm not gonna give
Thank
you
you.
that to let you know that you affect me like that. That's my
Thank you.
issue. Like I don't
But
want Brandy to
Brandy
do that.
walked
But
in that
but wait,
way.
wait, wait. I'm not finished. Because you keep saying they were friends for 15 years, right? And you
Right.
brought up if me and you were cool 15. First of all,
Right.
if me and you was friends for 15 years, there is no way in hell that we gonna
I
go
agree.
3 years
Before you said what you
not
were saying, I know
speaking
that that's true. That's true.
and not doing nothing. That's number
Very
one.
true.
Number two, even if life get the life and bam, we didn't get a chance to make up. I found out your daddy died. You not about to get no phone call or no text
Oh
from
no,
me.
you won't
In
get a phone call
15,
from me.
no, listen,
You
you
won't get
cut
one
me
from me.
off. You cut me off and you didn't even hear what I had to say.
No,
In
I'm listening to you.
15
I'm
years
sorry.
of friendship, I don't care if we ain't talked. You not about to get no phone call, no text from me. I'm pulling up on you. Like I don't care what we went through. I'm pulling
Okay,
up
I can
on
see
you.
that. I can see that.
You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be a
But they
phone
don't live
call.
in the
It's not going
same
to be a
place
text.
though.
But what I would have respected if Malaysia would have said, "Yeah, I knew your daddy died, but you know what? We ain't talked in 3 years. We wasn't feeling each other, and I ain't really even know how to call you, come
I
at
don't
you, or
respect
anything."
that neither.
Would have won, but it would have been honest. You know what I'm saying?
It would
If
have
if
been
if
honest.
that was,
That's true.
I can respect somebody for their honest truth. I ain't gonna say it would have
Yeah.
been right, but I could have respected that than just sitting up here telling a bold faced lie that you didn't know that this girl daddy died. Like at the end of the
Right.
day, for you to say y'all don't have no mutual friends, you cool with Jackie. I know Jackie would have said,
Exactly.
as much as Jackie liked to be in everybody's business, Jackie would have definitely
So
said,
you
I
know
know
that
you
she
and
lied.
Malaysia not cool. Yeah, I know that she was lying. When I put that in the chat earlier, I was just saying that to aggravate you because I know how you feel
And that's
about
on
Malaysia.
that's that to me, that's the only thing that even really matters for me is the fact that she's lying.
You know what I'm
Like,
saying? I
bitch,
just feel
if you
like
don't give a damn about me, you just say like, I don't give a fuck that your dad died, and I can move on.
right.
That's the reality. But don't sit here and lie to me and say, well, I didn't even know. We don't have mutual friends. You know, Jackie. You said that Jackie told Jennifer, and Jennifer told you. Like, y'all have too many. Y'all, you know, Zelle. Zelle was your friend, and Zelle's message supposed to tell you that stuff. So there's too many outlets to tell that you knew no to me. And I know people don't like Brandy. Cool, don't like her. But in this instance, she's right. And I can't receive nothing else because I don't give. Like you, I will pull it the fuck up too. I don't care if you living in Timbuktu. I'm gonna fly to Timbuktu to find your ass to sit with you because your father passed or yeah, whoever passed. I'm flying to find you. So I'm with you on that. But what is being portrayed is like, well, people don't understand the fact that this Brandy and Malaysia shit to me, Malaysia's horrible to me. I never want no friend like that. I would never respect you. I don't have for you. And to me, the way that Brandy's operating, because it's like, well, she's going back and forth, but I understand it because I am that way as well. And that's what people don't understand. When I go hard for Brandy, I'm that friend who does the same shit that Brandy is doing. I would be like, I love my friends regardless. But in my head, I'm like, fuck you. But I still want to understand why I want to experience what the fuck happened because it gives me some validation. Well, I can't even say the word.
Validation.
Validation as to why you don't feel like this is important to you. You knew my dad, and when she said that, I was like, I knew this part. But when she said, I was like, this makes sense to me because you can't be around somebody for 15 years and I know their parents. Malaysia is a bad fucking person to me. She is horrible. And until she fixes it to me, I can't respect her ever. Because it makes me want to like cry the fact that she was okay with pretending she done that girl's dad dying. And that man knew her and loved her. It's not okay.
I mean, listen,
And
but
I
I've
get it,
listened.
I get that people don't like Brandy, whatever, but this is not okay to me. Period.
For me, it has nothing to, I don't dislike Brandy. Like I said, I don't dislike Brandy. I just don't like when you give people with for anybody, shall I say, to give someone that control over their emotions. Like I had some people that I had to realize in my life, you know what? I love them. I love them, but they don't love me. You
No,
know
look,
what I'm saying? And
give me 1 second because I hate this comment all the time. So Dad, let her talk and stop cutting her off. Damn. First of all, you have to realize that there are delays on these stream yards. And I hate this because it's like I don't be cutting people off on purpose. I'm talking and sometimes I don't hear people saying stuff. So DC, I appreciate your comment, but leave it to yourself. I'm not cutting anybody off. I didn't hear what was going on. So I'm talking and I didn't know. So humble yourself and just say, I don't know. Or say, so Dad, can you hear her? Something else. But don't say this. This is disrespectful. But go ahead, Ola.
Exactly, and this is his show as well. And spell his name right.
It's so rude.
So disrespectful. So rude.
That's what we're not going to do.
um,
We're not never going to disrespect the host of the show that we're on. And if he overtalks someone and tries to get someone to calm down so he can say a word, that's what he can do. This is his show. We're on his show, and we respect him and we love him and we understand. We all get heated. We all have our little moments where we go in when we talking about somebody and we're passionate about it. And we all on this stage know that. So Deb get passionate when it comes to Brandy
mhm.
and Evelyn. So we're not hurt and we're paying no attention. So you should be okay with it too. Or
And if y'all thought
one less
y'all would tell me after the
subscriber,
show's
one
over,
hurt.
they'd be like, so Deb, like I felt this way, and y'all not be like, my bad. Like next time I get it, but like I hate when it's in the chat. Like I see even Q, like, and I love Q because Q's always here. It's like Deb, let them talk, boo. Like literally, like there is a delay, so sometimes we don't know that people are talking or we're trying to talk at the same time. I don't understand. We don't get that part. So let us have a conversation. We're not mad at each other on the panel. So let us have this. Don't do that. I hate that.
Some
And
people.
that cuts it off too, and that breaks it up. That breaks up the mojo that's going on the panel when y'all do that. Because then we got to stop and read that. Then we got to stop and explain. And it's a lot. This is his show. However he conducts it, it's how he conducts it. Love you though, Q.
I would never disrespect none of y'all. Like y'all know that. So
Yeah, we know
No, you
that.
wouldn't. That's why I don't need to explain.
It's
um,
what is
I didn't
understood
take
does
it.
not need to be said.
I didn't take it personal. I know you get hella serious. I mean, you just passionate. I'm a passionate person when I talk to, so I didn't take it personal. But what I want Brandy to realize, and a whole bunch of people, like, and if this helps somebody, it do. Sometimes you have to realize that some people don't love you like you love them. They don't
Hmm.
love you at all. You know what I'm saying? They might not even like you. And so when it comes to the point, like you saying, you would have been mad when she played you like you
yeah,
don't know me. I understand that hurt. Like 15 years, you don't know me. I the core of me, I might have grown in some areas. I might have regressed in some areas, but the core of
Hmm.
who I am is still the same person I've been all my life. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would have understood that, but I'd have took it. I would have made a mental note like point taken. So you don't know me, I don't know you. I'm gonna treat you like somebody on the street that I don't know. Like it might hurt for a little bit, but eventually, you know what I'm saying. You get over it. We have to learn to let go. Like when you try to have a conversation with people and they don't want to have that conversation and they paying you dust, they letting you know how you feel. So
mm,
how they feel about you. So at that point, move on and get yourself together. Like you got to deal with your hurt in 15 years. She's gonna grieve the process of her friendship, but girl, grieve it and let it go. You know what I'm saying? Grieve it and let it go. Cause when somebody you can't save a friendship that don't want to be saved, and when you realize the person ain't
Exactly.
moving and rocking and rolling with
Hmm.
you, how you moving and rocking and rolling with them, man, you got to keep it pushing for your own sanity and for your own peace. Don't keep being out here giving your energy, love, and time to people who don't want it. And that's why
I
I'm
agree.
mad with Brandy. Like, I want her to see it for what it is and move on. To me, Brandy's still dealing from an anger of hurt. But if Malaysia wanted to come to her and fix the friendship, she would. But I
Hmm.
feel like
Exactly.
that should go both ways. And the fact that Malaysia don't have that for you, I want her to stop dwelling on that because that's only gonna hurt her more. And that's what
But I
pisses me
also think
off.
that there's a difference between what's going on the show because I think that these girls don't want them to be friends, and so they are baiting.
Exactly. They don't.
They're trying to make a division with them. And if I'm Brandy, like I get it. Like these other girls coming on with me, like that same Brandy, I'm down for it. I can't really hear Malaysia because don't come on and roll your eyes. I'm waving at you, you rolling your eyes. I'm like, I don't know you. Like, girl, if we were really friends, like, come to me and tell me, like, what's going on. To me, Malaysia's missing the whole situation. And nobody got to agree with what I'm saying, but Malaysia's handling this very wrong because I ain't gonna never, like, and I'm gonna just use me and you again. Like, if we friends for 15 years and then I see you, let's say we had Prosperity the Girl's wedding, I wave at you, you roll your eyes, like, I feel I'm saying, fuck you.
Never gonna
But I'm
do
still
that.
gonna say, well, you know what, Nola, like, what happened? You know what I'm saying? And you like rolling your eyes, you nonchalant, like it don't mean anything to you. It makes me feel a certain type of way instead of just saying, like, you know what? When she sat down with them and she was like, you know what, I don't put my issues off on you because I've already done this, and you told me that you don't, like, I put enough on you. Say that. Don't say I don't know you to me.
Then that's what you should have came with when that was first asked to her.
And
She
that's
should.
and Ricardo, that's what I'm saying. Like, she said that after her and Jackie's conversation, but when they had the first conversation, she's like, "Well, we don't know each other, and I never said that we was cool." Like, the reality is that you're going through shit, and even British said, "Well, it's our responsibility as sisters to say, let me put it on my back too with you." And Melissa's like, "No, I don't want to do that. That's Malaysia's thing. That's not the group thing." And to be honest, I don't think that Brandy would think that that was her thing. Like, Brandy put all Malaysia shit on her back every single time she said that. When she was ready to divorce Gennaro, she called Brandy first, so she knew that that was a person she could do that with. So then why treat me bad because you're going through shit? It is a character flaw. What Brandy said, she was right. And until, like, Malaysia realizes that that's what it is, it don't get better. And don't do it for a show because you lose out on a really good friend. Because to me, Brandy was a good friend to Malaysia, and I don't give a damn what nobody say.
I feel like
I
they were
just
good friends to each other when they were friends, but I don't know what this is, and I
Well,
just want,
yeah,
but
I'm gonna
like
say that.
Nola
I'm gonna say
said,
that.
I just want, no, I just want Brandy to let it go. If a person is paying you dust, pay their ass dust right back. That's why when you ask me and I say if it was friend, yeah, I ain't got, I am this space where I'm at now. I ain't got time to be getting angry every time I see somebody. That's what you're not going to do. You're not going to
Right,
alter my mood. You're not weed. You're not a drink. You're a person, so you're not going to alter my mood unless I want you to alter my mood, which is that's when you take your edibles and you take your drink. Other than that,
Yeah.
you're not going to do that. And then that's more stress on you. You talking about having another baby? That's what I'm saying. She has too many other things going on in her life to allow Lilasia, LaQuisha, LaQuisha, whatever her name,
Little
Black
black
Box, to
box.
allow her to
like
keep
Keisha, Little
altering her
Black Box,
mood
and
like
Malaysia.
that.
Little three
That's
words,
all
just
I'm saying.
names.
That's why it irritates me because I can't get with letting somebody alter your move every single time, even when their name come up. Like when her and Duffy was talking, I just don't let that. Don't give nobody that much power over you because that's what it is. It's power over you and how
Right,
you're feeling. No.
I
right,
think after the initial, I don't know you and I didn't know about your father. Once again, we not about to rehash this. She knew about it. I don't care what nobody say. Y'all got mutual friends and comments and comment and acquaintances. And just how Maze and Nola did over there on when they did they live about this, when they did the whole skit with LaQuisha, LK, aka LBB, and Zelle on the phone talking about Brandy. Y'all, you knew I don't care no more. What it should have been with Brandy in the sense of giving out your energy to these people, because once you give out your energy and once they know they have a way to affect your mood, they're going to keep picking
right.
at you until they can't pick no more, and until you do something else, like until you either do something, you change it up and do something else, or until they decide to do something, change it up themselves. What it should have been was after that initial I don't know you, or I don't know you anymore, and I didn't know about your father, you, Brandy, should have left it alone. You come in a room, hi, hello, and then keep it pushing, because at the end of the day, we will never know. And I'm going to keep saying this until they come out themselves and tell us in the three in that 15-year friendship what caused y'all. And I mean, really, I don't care about this show no more when it comes down to it. What caused y'all for the that 3 years to stop talking to the point where now we are back on a reality show, or in quotations a reality show, and you sit in front of this woman's face and tell her, I don't know you and I didn't know about your father, lying like it's your job. What happened? They will never tell us. So now we can only
It's
speculate.
yourself.
Right.
We can only speculate, and at the end of the day, I get where Nola is coming from, I get where Thick Girl is coming from, I get where SoDeb is coming from. And not trying to like say, oh yeah, well, I'm the youngest and this and that, but I am the youngest out of all three of y'all. I can say when I've had friendships break up, and I mean like long-term friendships, like you were family to me, like my mama treated you like a daughter. Sometimes I still, and she treated you like a son. Sometimes if we still have a mutual friend in common, I'll be like, hey, how is this person? How are they doing? Even though that person has told to me over the years to my face that they don't like me, I still, check in here and there because I'm worried about them. But at the end of the day, I'm not giving you my energy and I'm paying you dust because you do nothing for me. And you've already told me how you feel about me, and you can't say anything different. That is why when I have these situations happen to me, not saying it's a recurring thing, but when I do have a friendship breakup, which that stuff hurts badly,
It does.
especially when
I wanna say this. For Janice that's saying this, let's keep it 100. Brandy was stay on the show, so she doing whatever to stay on the show. But Brandy should never left the show. And when I do my review of the history of Malaysia and Brandy's friendship, you will see why this doesn't make any sense. Malaysia gaslighted a lot of stuff that happened with Brandy on the show. Whether y'all want to admit it or not, I'm going to show all of it because it was never a lot of Brandy. It was a lot of Malaysia.
V is
Even when,
welcome.
even when Brandy was off, when Malaysia showed up, when Jackie had invited her to that event, and she was like, "Well, they were saying she was the first one because he invited Brandy." They was like, "Well, I think Jackie was like, no, Evelyn was like, well, she was a plus one," and then Jackie told her she was like, "I was never a plus one. I was always the one." She was never the one. And that's the reality of it's the mixture of the both franchises. Malaysia was never top tier when it comes to basketball wives. It was always Evelyn and Shawnee. We all know this. So she should have played her cards right and not gaslighted Brandy the entire time. Brandy should never fell for it too. So I blame Brandy for
Yes,
that
I
as
was
well.
about to say that part.
Yeah, I
Hmm.
blame Brandy. I blame Brandy for that as well because she should never let Malaysia do that to her. Because when it came down to it, Malaysia chose them over her.
Yeah.
So as a friend, I get why Brandy has the issue with that she has with her because, girl, you was never really my friend for real. You brought me on because she had Bambi,
Baby.
then
Ugh.
she brought on
Bambi.
then she
Ugh.
brought on Brandy. Brandy stuck because Brandy didn't give a damn about nobody else but her friendship with Malaysia. So that's why they were able to take over the franchise of LA. Because at
But
first it was the Govan sisters. When the Govan sisters left, it was Brandy and Malaysia. Jackie begged for years to be a part of that situation. People don't want to hear that, but Jackie was never that girl all the time. Jackie became that girl because Jackie did crazy shit.
mm,
But that show was based off what after Malaysia beat up that girl, that Govan girl, they started liking Malaysia. The second season she brought on Bambi, she still didn't really have it because Jack got beat up. But that third season when Brandy came, Malaysia and Brandy became the girls of that franchise.
child, don't nobody want to hear about the hood
Malaysia
squirrel.
never was ever that girl until Brandy got there. Be honest about it. She
I
never was.
In a friendship.
And she still ain't had a storyline either since she left.
Never. It's been
Yeah.
the same one. I'm a single mother. We already know that, girl. You've been a single mother for 10 years. What else?
If I got to hear she a single mother one more time,
I
All
don't want to hear
right,
about it.
y'all. I love y'all, but I gotta go.
We love you
I'm
I'm
too.
about to
sure.
ask you what time
I'm
the
sure
show
I'll
was
be seeing
starting.
you later to come chime in.
okay,
But I gotta go get ready. Love y'all.
okay.
All
When
I'm
it
right.
about
comes,
to,
All
I'm
right,
about to
babe.
soon too, but but that's what I always be saying. Like to me, like the whole thing about Brandy, like I hate that because Malaysia wasn't important until Brandy got there, and that's facts.
there,
If I didn't watch that show, go back and watch it. She used Drea, she used Bambi, and then Brandy came. Brandy is the one who stuck around.
I would say
Yeah,
this.
she even tried to use the angel girl. She even tried to use her.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, you hope that your friendships are like real friendships to where they grow into, y'all become like family. I have a few of those friendships. You hope that those friendships will grow into that. And then you also hope that somewhere in your friendships that it's mutually beneficial for the both of you. Just in the sense of, you got a shoulder to lean on when you need it. And at some point maybe it looked like Low Black Box, aka
Like
LBB,
we should in Malaysia. Go ahead.
Little Black Box, and Brandy's friendship would have been mutually beneficial. But here's the thing. And VH1, like the official like account on YouTube, they're gonna help you a lot when you go back through the history of this friendship because they've already put a lot of that stuff, compilation videos up there. So people are able to see how it started, the middle, the beginning, the middle, closer to the end, and now what it is now. You would hope that your friendships are mutually beneficial. It was more of she, Brandy was beneficial to
Malaysia.
LBB. LBB was not beneficial to
Her at all.
Brandy a lot of the times.
She
And a
wasn't.
lot of the times. So now, once again, we're in this space of, you know, you
But
kind of
give my girl her props. So she came on and she did her job and she did it well. And that's my thing. Thank you, Genevieve, for saying big facts so dead because those are facts. What I said, I don't care what nobody say. I'm giving y'all the facts. When I tell you I watch this show, like when I go to sleep every night, I study this show. Malaysia used girls to be a friend for her because Malaysia can't hold it down by herself. That's why you had a Bambi. That's why you had a Brandy. That's why when she came on, she tried when she didn't have no one, she was arguing with Tami and them because she didn't understand when they were saying they had no substance because they said that she was
She
childish.
didn't.
but
Malaysia can't handle nothing by herself. Jackie would have been her best go-to, but she never used Jackie for that because she always trashed Jackie. So when
but,
Jackie went onto the winning team, Malaysia was by herself. And those
but
are facts.
but it goes back to, if we stick to LBB very quickly, it goes to however she was raised, how her relationships were as from adolescence until, right before this show, how those relationships she made with women. That should tell you like how she handled people in real life, and then how it was going to be handled on the show. Whether or not y'all was like real friends or just TV friends, how she handled stuff in her life previous to reality TV would have told everybody everything they needed to know. And did
But who
they? And
cares
not.
though?
I'm
I mean,
talking
honestly,
about how it.
let me just say this because I mean I'm kind of tired of hearing about it. Who cares? The reality is this: people keep on saying, "Well, who cares about her cancer story, Brandy's cancer story?" There's a lot of people who are going through cancer. There's a lot
We
of
would
single
want to hear
mothers.
about that. That's what we would
There's a
want her to
lot of
talk
single
about.
mothers. Hold on, there's a lot of single mothers. But Malaysia trying to make this a whole storyline is bullshit. Who gives a fuck? And excuse my language, who gives a fuck?
Oh,
And
Malaysia,
I'm
that's
going
why we
into
want
the.
Brandy to calm down.
you have not been able to get this together. Like you should know already how to handle this. It's been 10 years. I'm tired of hearing about it.
Oh no, I was going
Brandy,
And
into.
that's
Brandy
why
has
we
been dealing
want Brandy to talk about her
with.
story and not
Well,
Malaysia.
listen, Brandy has had different cancer scares throughout the years, so it makes sense because she did not just deal with one cancer scare; she's dealt with multiple different cancer scares. Malaysia's baby daddy story, like I mean, who else? Like we've seen this already.
But I was going into
Did
the
you hear what I
fact
just said,
of.
so Dad? Did you hear what
Would you
I
say?
just said? I said this is why we don't want her to keep allowing Malaysia to distract her from a good storyline. Her
Yeah,
cancer is a good
it's
storyline. Her
real.
marriage and how they got back together and how they're building back together is a good storyline. Leave
Yeah,
Malaysia over there. Fuck that friendship. She don't want it. Oh well. Talk about something else. That's what I'm saying. She has
right.
way more
I know.
than
I
Malaysia
understand
in
now.
that
So I didn't hear you say
friendship.
that.
Which
And,
for
and that's
me,
the
I
thing
was
that's
getting.
real. Like people don't understand the fact that cancer is real. Look at the women on this show. They have all dealt with people who die from cancer.
I have too.
No, I'm talking about
No, I know that, but I'm talking
I'm
about.
saying on the show though.
Yes.
They have had all people. Most of them have dealt with people who died from cancer. Tammy's mother died from cancer. Shawnee's father, I think he died from cancer. Like they have had a lot of people who died from cancer. Like it's relevant to the show.
Yes.
And it's very detrimental. Like for even when Drea said that, I was like, damn, Drea, like I love Drea. But cancer is not boring because it's so serious for the Black community to talk about cancer. I don't care if Brandy come on every season about cancer. We got to talk about it because as a Black community, we don't take it serious.
And this
it's for Black men. Like we don't even take our high blood pressure. And I talk about this for me. I have high blood pressure. It's a silent killer. We got to talk about it because we die from it all the time. So for me, like I appreciate Brandy's story because it's serious.
And more people would if she would talk about it.
Drea doing modeling. I don't give a damn about Malaysia being a single mother. We know all this stuff. Malaysia could do so much better for herself if she just put that man on child support years ago. We could have been past this. But she wants to go through all this stuff. Kudos to you, Malaysia. Now she wants to put on child support, so just do it. And then after that, then what happens after this? You're trying to make this storyline about you and Brandy's friendship. But the reality is that cancer story is very serious. And I don't want people to downgrade that part.
And here's the thing.
It makes it's serious.
But Malaysia ain't broke. How the hell you broke? You got a house in Atlanta and you got a house in fucking California right now, girl. Your storyline don't even make no sense. That's why we don't care about it as well.
Money. But where the point I was making of going back to you saying you notice that she has used the people who are supposed to be her friends. That's what I was talking about. And it goes back to how she treated these people in the past. But now we're here and going on to the Brandy situation of, yes, I would rather her talk about what's going on in her life and leave this friendship alone. That girl don't want to be friends with you. And I would appreciate, because I would like to see it more, maybe Brandy being able to do some cancer events or hosting some things or having some panels.
Ricardo, I want to hear what you want to say, but I gotta cut you off for a second. Listen, I'm not saying that Malaysia's story is not wrong. What I'm saying is this.
How many times
if I'm making a decision about an important storyline between child support and a baby mom who made a decision versus someone who didn't make a decision having cancer, it's different.
Exactly. And we don't hear this storyline every season. We hear it.
I'm not blaming Malaysia for being a single mother who don't get child support. She made a decision not.
Well, I'm blaming her because she the one that didn't want to
Brandy did not make a decision on having cancer. So can we just? This is my thing. Like y'all, I do a lot. I'm over exaggerate a lot of things, but when it comes down to this, like I'm very strategic on this part. Malaysia made a decision to not put that man on child support.
Exactly.
Brandy did not make a decision to have cancer.
No.
That's the difference. So that's what I'm saying. So when she comes on to talk about cancer every time, when the cast members of this show have dealt with their family members dying from cancer, look at that into consideration because they all have had child support. They all have baby daddies who don't support their children. Maybe minus Shawnee. They've all had this, but cancer is a different situation. So look at the situation as sort of you liking someone versus the issue. That's all I'm saying.
And my point in saying this, let's be clear, I would rather hear more about what Brandy has going on. Because when she sat there and she had the scare and they were talking about, her doctor saying this is way too many scares in this time, maybe we need to look into having a full hysterectomy, and then her talking about how she didn't want to do that because she still wants the options to have children. We could have talked about that more into more episodes than, we talked about it one episode. We maybe heard about, a cancer scare here or there in a few conversations, but it was more of the focus of this friendship. I want to hear more about Brandy. I want to hear more about the cookbook. And
can I ask you a question? Did I not say that I like Tami?
You said that they missed that part. You was off.
So this this wasn't what I was pulling up.
And he gave her flowers. He talked about what she got coming up. He did all that.
Don't belittle her. Don't belittle her to be a baby mom because you don't like her. I like Malaysia. I said this, and I said this about Tami.
But that's all she gives us.
But that's all that she gives us. Take yourself out of the box for real. That's what I'm saying.
All Malaysia talks about
the stories that these women are telling because there are a lot of people who don't want to even deal with their cancer situations because as the Black community, we don't want to talk about it, right? As a baby mama situation, Malaysia already knows this. Like all the girls have said that they've talked about this the entire time. This ain't a storyline. Like, let it go. Talk about something else. When Malaysia talked about her brother dying because of the cop, I like that storyline.
That was a good
I loved it.
storyline.
It was the best thing that Malaysia did to me. Because
And her having a
as
fear
Black
of the
man,
police officer.
listen, as a Black man, y'all don't understand the stuff that I've been through as a Black man with cops. So when Malaysia did that, to me, I love that when Malaysia did this. But going back to the baby mom thing, like, let it go.
Yeah,
We
even
know
when she had the storyline with her being afraid of the cops. That was a
Yes,
good storyline.
that's what I'm talking
And
about.
teaching her sons about
Can I-
not having to be afraid
Yeah.
of the thing.
Can I speak on that? The comment that was made by Kimmy Nicole. Kimmy Nicole, we know she's an ex-wife. That is not the issue in what we're talking about. The issue is within her. The issue is in with this storyline that she is portraying. She had an option to, when they got divorced, take half of what he was giving and put him on child support, or take
Mhm.
half of what he had and not put him
Yeah,
on child support. And
right.
she
She was
took
her
half
strong Black
what
woman.
he had and didn't put him on child support. So now we get into now times, and her storyline once again is her being a single mother, and nobody's knocking her for that. Much respect to her, because I respect all single mothers. I was raised by one.
But she
But
ain't a
this
single mother.
but here, I'm trying to get
And
to the
to be
point.
clear, I never called Malaysia a baby mom.
Yeah.
That's what y'all was saying in the comments. So that's what I said. But I never called
Yeah.
her baby mom for
And
that.
the
And
point
Go
is,
ahead.
she's not a single mother either. He has some kids more. If we
More
talk
than
about
she
the
has
real.
them. More
but
than
the-
she has them.
yes,
But y'all
and
don't know that.
that's the point I'm getting to, in the sense of the people who like we all watch the show, but for the people who review the show, or we get up here to talk to somebody else who reviews the show, we all know that it came from her own circle.
Thank you, Kimmy.
Yeah, we all know that it came from her own circle. Not what we said, not what nobody in the street said, her own circle, that she does not have her kids 95% of the time. And that is why he can't be put on child support, because they
Right.
live with him most of the time. They probably don't live with him when he is coaching. That is where our problem with this storyline is coming from, because she comes to us every episode with, I need to put him on child support. And, maybe I don't want to put him on child support. And then she got her sister there, or you have Jackie saying you need to do it, but then she says she doesn't. And then it's just like, well, why are you playing in our faces when we all know, and most of these women on this cast knows, and production knows, that you don't have those kids full time, and you
That's
just
what
brought them on the show. You
Right.
just now brought them back on this show,
Right.
looking for houses and everything else. And for
Because
her
we
to
haven't
say,
seen them in the last 2 seasons.
no, and for her, one, because of COVID, and I don't know the other reason, but for you to say,
But she ain't have them.
when they went, did y'all hear when she said when they got that new house, that new place? I don't know if she bought it or is renting it, that we're back in our old neighborhood. So you're back in your old neighborhood, and you could afford, like, the neighborhood you had in the house that you had previous, so you could afford to
They
do what?
don't. They do not.
No, they don't.
And I know that people are not here all the time that we do lives, but we have discussed this multiple times. Gennaro has those kids like 90% of the time.
Yes.
So let's not, like, y'all want to give Malaysia all this grace, but Malaysia don't have those kids all the time. Now, she might now because they moved to LA in the new house, but before that, Gennaro had those kids most of the time. We know that for a fact. So we're talking about facts, and because of my channel, like, we do Basketball Wives like heavily. So maybe go back and watch some of the old videos so you understand what we're talking about, and then come back to this one.
Yeah.
Because that's why we are where we are right now.
And then
Again, I love Malaysia. I never have said I don't like her. I do call her like Quisha and Malaysia, but I love Malaysia. I love her as a personality on the show. But her decision that she makes, sometimes I don't like them. They don't make sense to me. So her throwing a table at Jennifer doesn't make sense to me. Her making a decision about the Brandy in her situation, tell us why. Like, she don't give us everything, and her giving this dry ass shit. Like, people call me I have the best resting bitch face. Malaysia has it too. So I get it, but I'm not on national television. So if you have a resting bitch face with me, and you're on national television, Why do you have this with her? Like, tell us. That's the only thing that I'm saying, because if she says something about Brandy that makes sense, you're not like, you know what? I get it, I
Mhm.
understand it, but I don't know you. That don't sit
I
with me.
want both of them to tell the truth. Both
Just
of them to tell us what happened and why their relationship went down. Because it's two sides to every damn story, and they now one of them giving us
Absolutely.
Nate's side of the damn story.
well,
And I
think
and
about it.
I might be just saying Malaysia because I am a Brandy fan, but I'm with you on both sides. Like, I want to know what the hell happened
Yeah,
between both of y'all. Y'all were best friends. I watched the show with y'all because of y'all friendship.
I and that's
What
the
is
thing.
going on?
And my thing is, I don't dislike them. I don't like, I'm indifferent. But if I'm going to sit here and review your show, I want to know, in a sense of this is not making sense to me, what is going on. And then to Shy Town's comment, they both have real issues, divorced and co parenting and cancer. Y'all are beating a dead horse at this point. We know they have real issues,
Right.
but Mal-
Bringing them.
LaQuisha is beating a dead horse with her storyline. When it comes to Brandy's everything else,
She said it.
she's. I want to
Like,
know.
she had been in front, like, we haven't talked, you know. Even when she sat with them, with the girls, she was like, well, I don't know if I should go, but let me go talk to her. And she was like, well, I didn't. She was like, hey. And she was like, well, I didn't know we were going to talk. She was like, well, why not? She was like, well, I mean, she waved at her. Jennifer waved back. First of all, why are you and Jennifer sitting next to each other? We don't even know why that happened. Malaysia's fake as fuck to me. Excuse my language, but she's fake. You'll see, you sit next to Jennifer when you throw a table with her, and we have never seen you guys even make up. So now Brandy's back. Now you're friends with her, and then she sits down with all the other girls, and she waves at you. Jennifer's like, "Hey girl, hey girl, hey girl, hey," and she's like, "Well, weren't your best friends? Well, we were friends. No, bitch, y'all were friends. Like, y'all were best friends." She's like, "Well, no, y'all were best friends. No, we were friends." Malaysia, like, cut the shit.
In the sense
What's
of
going
it
on
makes
here?
no
Like,
sense.
tell us, as the people that are viewing, even the people on the cast want to know. If Jennifer's asking you, that means that we don't know, as viewers of the show, what is going on. And if whatever it is, just say it. Like, if it was because she, when she went off at the meat market, when she's like, well, she was mad because she got the show and I was on the show. Malaysia, but what did you do during that time? Because you can already tell what it was. She was like, well, Brandon didn't want to film me. That's not even true, because those last seasons, Jackie, Brandy, and Malaysia could have said they want to film together because they were friends on the show. Jackie jumped ship, and
Hmm.
then Malaysia jumped ship. That's what the real issue is. They left Brandy hanging. If we want to be honest, go back and watch it. If you ain't seen the show, watch it. Jackie
Brandy need to say that too.
and Malaysia jumped ship off of the show, and they left Brandy hanging. And because they were like, well, she called Shawnee a bitch. Brandy was on the show 2 seasons after that.
Yeah.
That was never the issue. The issue was that when Tami came on with Duffy, Tami said that Brandy was edging Duffy on. So the season after that, when she came back on with Evelyn, they all walked out because Tami didn't want to be around Brandy because she thought that Brandy edged Duffy on. That's the real issue. And to come down to it, Tami, they weren't even your real friends. So it's a double-edged sword. Period.
Let's be clear. If I'm gonna just say this, if it would have happened the possible way that we think it could have happened, where neither Jackie nor LaQuisha jumped ship, and it would have been Brandy,
And
uh,
Jack,
I said Jackie or LaQuisha wouldn't have jumped ship. It would have been Brandy, LaQuisha, and Jackie filming, and then they could have brought in any friend they wanted to bring in, and then it could have been, Tammy, your favorite, and then the first lady filming, and then they could have brought in their friends, and there could have been a meeting in the middle. However, it also, if they would have stayed friends, and if they would have filmed together, we would have seen Brandy make it to the
Yes, they
next
do.
few seasons. And then we would have got to see, the whole like the we not about to get into them, but I mentioned their names: Cece, Kristen, OG, Barbie, and the rest of them thrown in. But that's not what happened. Everybody decided to jump ship and get with the AKA the winning team, and Brandy was iced out because like sometimes I'd be like, I'll go back and watch that season. I'll be like, now Hold on, Brandy, you was on here? Really? I was, and you,
But what would Malaysia been mad if the shoe was on the foot? Would Malaysia been mad?
huh?
Yeah, but Brandy
Yeah.
need to also say that too. Say that's why you're mad. Look, bitch, you left me and you went and Jackie and you left me. Say that. Let them know what it really is. Don't keep acting like it was just because they got put off the show or it was she didn't want to film. Tell what the truth is. If they ain't gonna tell it, you
But
tell it.
the truth is that they did not want to film with her because Jackie and Malaysia did film with her.
Yeah.
What happened in between
That's
that
what
time?
I'm saying. That's why Brandy
What,
needs to tell and
no,
Malaysia. They
but
all needs to tell.
hold on, there, girl. The thing is this: what happened in that between time? Because Jackie in Malaysia was filming with her. So what happened in between that time? Because after that, then they trashed Malaysia, and Malaysia
That's what
like
I'm talking about.
bowed down to them.
And that's what I'm talking about. Both of them need to tell. Well, we don't know.
It was never.
Somebody
It
need
was
to
never that.
tell.
It was never that they want to film with Brandy. Something happened in between the time that they could have.
Hmm.
Because it was three of them against three of them. Something
That's
happened
what I'm
between that
saying.
time. What was it? We went. I want to
That's
know.
what I'm saying. They need to tell. They all of them that they need to tell what happened. And until they tell what happened, we gonna be sitting right here keep saying the same thing that we've been saying every damn episode.
Right.
I got a question to ask y'all. Because now I'm realizing as I go back and watch some of these shows, like the old, like as the seasons before we got to this season, and just to fall asleep and everything, just paying attention to what's going on. Did y'all pick up on what season she really started, like that money really just started to dwindle for her? And I'm not
For
talking
who?
about LBB.
Oh,
Did you like pick up on what season the money started to dwindle for her?
I think it was a season after Brandy called Shawnee a bitch.
That and that is one of the reasons, other than whatever else happened, that is one
But
of the
I think
reasons.
that it was even if she didn't do that, it was going to happen because they didn't feel like they were worth being on the
Oh
show.
no, I'm not talking.
Listen,
I'm not talking about. Sorry, I'm not talking about Brandy calling her. Because she was
I'm
acting
not
like
talking
a.
about that either. I'm not talking
Oh,
about that either. I'm saying when Shawnee came onto the show, they already had a perception of these girls already,
mm,
right? She said that they didn't have any substance. That was before Brandy called her a bitch. So they were already damned to hell, according to Shawnee and them. That's why they brought Tammy to the show. Tammy even said it on the reunion.
yeah,
I can save your job. In reality, they didn't even need them because their show was already working already. Shawnee and Tammy came because they canceled Miami because of the shit that Tammy and Evelyn had already done on Miami. Those are the
And they
facts.
wasn't working and they needed to work again.
When they
hmm,
brought on Tasha Mulberry, that season was the worst one they ever had. So they brought on Tammy to the LA crew with Shawnee. Nobody ever asked for that.
no,
No
because
one did.
here's the thing.
Malaysia and Brandy and Jackie were doing fine without them. The ratings were not going down. They wanted to boost the ratings with bringing Tammy and Shawnee on. But the reality is that Tammy should have left her ass. I mean, Shawnee should have left their asses over in Miami because they wasn't beating up bitches for no reason.
And I was like, here's the thing about this situation. Of the moment after Miami ended, and it was just like, what is everybody gonna do? Evelyn, whether I like that lady or
And
not,
Evelyn went on to Oprah's channel too. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
she went and got a show on own.
Yeah.
Tammy was doing other stuff. Tammy started acting just a little bit more here and there. She was
Hmm.
on Marriage Boot Camp. Then she was hosting the after shows. And then you saw her get back on the show. And
Right.
then eventually everybody else from whatever else they were doing got brought back on. Nobody asked for them to come back on because they had already
Right.
kind of moved on at this point. Like, let's be real about the situation. Once again, whether I like your favorite or not, that both of them have moved on just a little bit. And if it wasn't for, once again, the first lady bringing them back
Right.
and wanting to be in LA, none of most of the stuff that happened after it wouldn't
Would
have
have never
happened
happened. It would
because
never happen.
let's be truthful, Evelyn and Tammy had already moved on.
Absolutely.
They had already
Because when
moved
they
on.
brought that to LA, I'm like, why are they doing this again?
They had
It
already
didn't make
moved
any sense.
on. she,
And then
I'm gonna,
and they brought Evelyn back because of that whole donating the money to Jackie's daughter.
yeah,
Even that was like, why?
because the first, I'm gonna say it. Y'all may not agree with me, but the first lady wanted to recreate whatever she had in Miami in LA, and she really didn't care. Like we all saw it, she didn't care for the girls who were on the show. And hold on,
And that's why she brought them back. That's why she donated to that girl because they knew they wanted them back and they were going to use that as a storyline. That girl wouldn't have donated to that girl in no damn regular life if they would. She was just out there living life
But
because she
now
wouldn't have cared.
hold on now. I think that
She
she would
wouldn't
have
have cared. Not
donated to it.
that. Not to her. I'm saying to that specific person. She didn't even care. There was no reason. She
I
been
think what
donating
she
to
said
other
was
people
right. She
all this
donated to a lot
time.
of things, and that one that she donated to. I think
Yeah,
I
she
don't think that she
donated, and
thought that
that
it was gonna
became
be
a
a thing
storyline, and that's why
because
she donated because it was going to be a storyline for a part of
no,
the
hold
reason
on,
for
girl,
bringing her
because
back.
this is the thing. I don't think that everyone thought she was coming back to the show.
I do that in the off season. I think that they coughed that up,
She
and that's
said
why
that.
she
She
came
said
back.
that. She said that.
I don't care what she said. They say a whole lot of things that ain't true.
I'm just
Well, I mean
saying
that's
that.
true, but I don't think that she donated because of that. I know that Tammy said there was scuttlebutt about her coming back, and then Evelyn's coming back, and I think that Tammy might have been on something. Maybe she wasn't on something, but the reason to me I felt like she did was because maybe she didn't think that that Jackie was even invested in that girl's life because it's been for years talked about that Jackie didn't care about that girl.
And I was like,
So
with
I
that
think that
being,
she
Yeah, but
donated.
also
I
it was
think she
part of the
did it because
storyline to bring her back.
the girl needed help.
and it was also, we really didn't
Yeah,
hear
and it
anything
was a
about.
part of, and also a part of the storyline.
We didn't hear anything
Oh,
about, like, I don't remember hearing anything about the other daughter, because when that whole situation happened, I said Jackie got another daughter. But
no,
going
she
back
talked
to,
about that. She talked about the daughter before.
okay, but going back to what I was originally saying, when it came down to, okay, whether I like that lady or not, both her and Tammy had already moved on, and it was the fact that the first lady wanted to recreate whatever magic that happened in Miami before it got bad and got canceled. She wanted to recreate that with the last show that was on the air, and decided to do that over there. And she brought back people who in reality would have been a lot, what would have been more well off not getting back on this show, and probably wouldn't have been going through the things they're going through now, and wouldn't have been in the situations because somebody was on an ego trip and wanted this back, wanted the attention, wanted the energy. Because first she jumped herself on the show just a little bit to fill it out, and that's where they don't have any substance, and there's this and there's that. Then it was, okay, well, we're going to bring back, Tammy first. Then there's a, okay, then here comes Evelyn. And then it goes the breakdown of everything else that happened. This is one big old ego trip by the first lady. And at the end of the day, if and only if people weren't jumping ship and trying to get the attention they so desperately are craving, we wouldn't be sitting up here talking about this jacked up situation now.
So let's read. I want to read this. I don't know how to pronounce his name. Is it Kishar? I want to say it's Kishar. She says that the reason why Evelyn, Shawnee, and Tammy came back to the show is because they wanted to be mean girls to the other girls, to others. So they never had no type of life ever, and they was like, you know what? Let me go be mean girls to the basketball class. Like that doesn't make sense.
And why I made my point of Evelyn had her own show. She had not just had a baby, but she had her son. She
Well,
was in,
let's just. I want to ask y'all since y'all up here. Do y'all believe that?
no. Like I made my
You think
point.
that
I
thick girl?
think her, hello.
Are you there, thick girl?
It's Tammy right now. Tammy that took over. You see the
Uh,
face? But I
well,
made
Nick
Damn
Cage.
it. It's all because what Ricardo said. Shawnee wanted to go on a
Oh,
power trip,
wait,
and it
wait,
was
wait.
her show,
Do
and
you,
she
do
could
you believe
do it,
that though? Do you believe that though?
and that's why.
Wait, thick girl, do you believe that though?
Huh?
Do you believe that they came back because they wanted to be mean girls?
No,
We
I
didn't.
believe they came back because Shawnee wanted to do a power trip.
Mhm.
And it was her show, and she could do it. And so she brought the girls back, trying, like she said, to recreate what they had over there. And she messed every damn thing up because it was. She felt like it's my show and I can do whatever I want.
I could get rid of this person. I could get rid of
And
that
Tammy
person.
even said that during the reunion. She
She
said, "We
brought
can't
me
really
back.
save your show." And I'm like, "Well, they weren't doing bad, so then that's not true."
But then that has to show
I
what
think
was.
that's when I really stopped liking Tammy because I was like, "Well, I didn't even like LA like
It
that." I
wasn't
mean,
to
I never
save
watched
the
LA like
show.
that. I never watched LA, but when Miami got canceled, then I went back and like binge watched those shows. And I'm like, well, they didn't really need the Miami girls for real.
But
So
it has to go to what was she
No, it
like I
wasn't
said.
to save the show. It was to take the show away from the LA girls. That's what
no,
that was.
No, Tammy.
But Tammy said to Brandy on the reunion, "I came back to save y'all
I
show."
know that.
And my
But
point
what I'm
is
saying is she wasn't going to shave the show. She wanted to, Shawnee wanted to take over the show. That's what it
Right,
was all about. It wasn't about saving the
right.
show. It
I
was
agree with
about
that. I agree
taking
with that.
over the show.
I agree
and
with
then
that.
I have to say this to the point of I remember when Tammy sat up there because I remember what she was wearing. Okay, I remember she had the the what is it, the crimped like wet and wavy kind of, but it looked dry, and she had the gray suit on, and she sat there legs crossed and told Brandy, she brought me on here to save your show. And my thing is, the show didn't need saving because I was watching before y'all jumped on here. But then that makes me think, what were you telling them, First Lady? What did you tell them when it came to the show?
Exactly.
What did you tell them
That's
to
what
bring
she
them
told
back
them,
on?
but that wasn't what it was. What it
Because
was a power trip.
once
Right.
again, they had already moved on in life. So on this power trip that she was about to take, what did you say to, because let's be clear, she treated Tammy like she was a pit bull on attack, and she, Evelyn was the best friend. What did you say to them that Tammy, not trying to like take anything from her, but that's how she was treated, like a pit bull on attack? What did you say to her to say, oh, I for her to say at the reunion, I was brought here to save y'all show when the
That's
show
what
didn't
she
need saving?
said.
Well,
That's what she said. The show needs to be
Carlos
saved,
King
and the
did
show is
say
about to be whatever. And that's what she said.
one thing that
That's why
Carlos
she
King
did it.
did say is that without a Tammy and an Evelyn at the same time, the show don't work.
Hmm.
And those are facts.
It don't.
Those are facts. So everybody who trashes Evelyn, it don't work without Evelyn and Tammy together. And I always say, even with Housewives of Atlanta, without a Kenya Moore and a Nene Leakes, it don't work.
And then my point is,
And that's why when either one of them was on the show by themselves, it really did not work.
It don't
And
work.
when they came together, it worked.
and
Yeah.
when I say it
Well, I'm
comes
talking about
down
this
to
show.
the,
I don't like
it
it.
it should really tell y'all that this was not the type of time nobody was
We
on.
still hear Nola.
Yeah, it should tell you what type of time that Tammy and Evelyn were truly on, because Evelyn, I don't think, was living in LA at the time of coming back to the show, and neither was Tammy.
No, Tammy wasn't living there. She was actually traveling on the weekend. She said this on the interview with Carlos King. She was traveling to Miami every weekend to film the show.
No, I was talking about when it came to LA. I said neither one of them,
Oh,
because
Tammy
most.
was living in Houston.
Yeah, I said neither one of them was like living in LA full time. Maybe came out for business, maybe came out to host some stuff or do interviews. But when I say they had moved on, I meant both of them had moved on with life. Neither one of them.
I want to clear this up real quick. Joshua, that's not true.
That
Those
child.
girls were holding their own number. They're consistent numbers. They wanted higher numbers. But that show was doing fine without Tammy being there or Shawnee or anybody else. They ruined that show coming over there. They
It
could
was
have
an
went back to
ego trip.
Miami.
It was they wasn't gonna be able to come back to Miami. It was a whole ego trip by one person and one person only, and she decided to bring people back because she needed in her head her backup. Even though when you were on this show, let's be clear, she gives nothing. Her storylines are boring. When she had her own show, like, let's be real, did anybody watch the
Who
show?
Evelyn?
The first lady, the
Shawnee?
first.
Oh yeah, that
Did,
show.
did anybody watch? That's what I meant when I said it was an
I
ego
mean,
trip.
no, I did watch it though. If you asking, I
I'm
did
about to
watch
say
it.
I watched the show. I ain't even gonna lie to you.
I
I'm
watched
talking
it.
I
about for
watched it
it
for the
to
kids.
They were hoping for a
To me,
second.
like I don't want the girls to be stuck on a show together. Like, and I think as black people, like going back to the black people stuff.
Hmm.
Yes, we are watching reality TV. I want these girls to all elevate and do other things. But you go through your phase and all that stuff. To me, that shouldn't matter. What should matter is that we're watching these black women try to create other avenues for themselves. But what happens is that we pick our favorites, and then when the other people go off and do other things, we don't support it. So it doesn't work. And then we're like, well, you came back to basketball because it didn't work. Well, it didn't work because y'all didn't support it, and
I'm
that's
gonna just,
period.
I'm
So,
gonna just.
but the facts are is this. Even with Tammy show, like I said, this Tammy show is fake as fuck right now, hands
I
down,
like
it's
it.
fake. But what I said was, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll put it on my TV in my bedroom while I'm doing other stuff because I'm gonna still support her because I'm not the best fan of Tammy Roman, but what I will do is support her because this is a black lady trying to do something. So I want to support her. So I'm gonna turn it on my TV in the back of my house. I'm not gonna watch it, but it's still gonna play so she gets the views for that. And to me, as black people, we gotta set our difference to the side when it comes down to this. This woman has worked for almost 30 years in this industry trying to
Are we
get her
talking about
own
Tammy Bruce?
shit, and she deserves everything.
Hmm.
I can't fight that part. She deserves everything that she's doing with the Miss Pat show, with her own show, with her doing Bonnet Chronicles. Tammy deserves everything.
She has a
And
show
whether
on.
you like her or whether you don't like her, support her
She
because we need to support each other. Period. It doesn't matter if you don't like her or not. Support her.
Tammy has a show on Apple TV too with Octavia Spencer, and then she did like
What's the name of the show? Let us know what it is so we can support that.
child. I'm gonna have to go look like. I,
Inbox it to me so I can post it on my next
okay,
video. I want to
I'm
support
gonna
it.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you. I know she has that, and then all the stuff that's going on. And going back to the point of supporting Tammy, a lot like I'm gonna just say this because y'all mentioned like at the very beginning of when this went live, when you were talking about the entire like interview, and then mentioning like her being on the Real World in that situation. Tammy left not being well liked. She was hated for that situation, and I mentioned in the comments that even though she was one of the main people in the situation between her and that man. It
All
was
right,
other people.
and wrap this up real quick because I need to respond to
Yeah,
this. Go ahead.
she was one of the main, like she was one of the main people in the situations between her and David. You had the other women in the house who egged that on and eventually got him, like, hear me out, got him pushed out. But when Tammy left the Real World, she was hated by a lot of people in a sense of when she's now doing all this other stuff and people bring it up and then we get to see her one more time with these people that she was with in 92, and she let it be known, I apologized to him multiple times. Now, at this current moment, that
But
man is
she
still.
also did something else. So, like, I'm not listening to that. I don't care about that because Tammy lied. Let me say this: Joshua, Kershaw, and
Ooh,
Lovely Giveon.
ooh, ooh, child.
Um,
Ooh, that's a.
let me
Mm-mm.
say, we going back to this in a minute. Let me tell y'all something. When Tammy did her interview with Carlos King, it does make a lot of sense to me. And maybe y'all don't like her. Like I don't. I don't really f with Tammy like that.
I like
But
Tammy.
what I do know is this: this black woman has worked her ass off for
Mm,
over 12 years. What I'm going to do, whether I like her or not, is I'm going to support her. And I get y'all have your personal issue with her, but y'all have to take yourself outside. Like, think about yourself and your regular job that you have. Think about that. Everybody ain't gonna like you for real, but this woman has done her work. Don't watch it, but turn it on. Give her the
That's what black
support
people can't do
because at the end of
that.
the day, she deserves that. And
Tammy,
I'm the
That's why
last
black people can't do that damn way.
person to say that, but I'm also the first person to say that because I'm going to support my black woman who's doing something that it's valuable.
mhm.
That lady has done her work. So I get y'all don't like her reality TV, but she has done her work.
Mhm.
Support her.
I'm gonna say this about the whole Tammy and supporting her. First of all, like taking it like really you don't know that lady personally to have a
Right.
personal problem with her.
Absolutely.
You have a problem with the character that she plays on reality TV. Just like most of us have a problem with the characters that these people get up on quote unquote reality TV and play. you can support her, because at the end of the
Yeah,
day, if you had something going on, you would want somebody to support you too. I don't,
absolutely.
and that is the thing about these shows. You hope that when it comes down to it, they will use these shows as I'm gonna quote Uncle Clifford real quick. Don't let this be your
What
stepping
rule is
stone
this? Give
and
us
not
a
your
rule that
tomb.
Uncle Clifford said. Rule number what?
God dang,
Rule
and I
number
got the
317. What Uncle Clifford said.
no, I got the list of them, but it's the don't let this be your tombstone. No, let this be your stepping stone and not your tombstone. That is
Yeah,
what y'all initially. I'm talking about all the reality people, not
yeah.
just the girls. All of y'all. Y'all are supposed to use these shows to get your career off the ground, or resurge your career, or build your
Use
business,
what you got.
showcase your business.
What you got.
Okay, y'all. Let me give me a second again, y'all. Nicole Blue said, "I don't agree. Just support someone because they're black. How do you sound support because they great? Did you ever work with someone who lazier and they become employees of the month because of their race? So let's talk about this. Tammy was never lazy.
No.
Tammy has been, and I literally just said all this. Tammy has hustled her ass off.
Mm-hmm.
She's played the role on everything she's been on. When we're talking about knowing the story about her and Keisha makes it even worth it for me even more. Knowing Tammy Roman's history from every show she's been on, because y'all know she was on Married with Children.
Yeah, she played
Yep.
Meg.
Yes. So Tammy Roman has done so much stuff. She was on The Real World. She's the second black woman that was on reality television. Tammy Roman has a very good history.
Mm-hmm.
So don't count Tammy's history on basketball wise because it's bigger than that. I'm not saying this because
And
she's a
she
black
used
woman. I'm
basketball
saying
wives as a stepping stone.
her work ethic. She has done a lot. And like it makes me sad. I'm about to cry in a minute. It's making me sad because I downgraded her so much through a lot of stuff. But hearing her on Carlos
Carlos
King
King.
Carlos.
podcast, it made me understand her so much. Like I get it because me going to school for broadcasting and doing my trailer work. Like
Mm-hmm.
nobody respects any of that stuff. Like they were downgraded. They pulled me up and said, "Well, you just have a degree, or you have a trade school degree. Like people don't respect your work." But when you have been the person who's going through that work, it means a lot to you.
Mm-hmm.
That
It don't matter how
Hell yeah.
everybody else feels. What matters is that you've done the work and you've done everything. So forget all that stuff. Put yourself in those shoes of that person and understand that maybe I wasn't the best person portrayed as to be the best person, but I was on television. It wasn't really real. Like those are the realities. Tammy, yo, I have so much respect for her. Like kudos to Tammy Roman. I take back everything I've said about her.
and here's the
But
thing
that's
about
what we do. We want people to support us, but we don't want to support no damn body else. And this is why black people will never get wherever people are because we sit here and do this kind of stuff. We let one thing take us into a whole nother spin about somebody and forget everything else. That one bad thing they did is the one thing that we remember forever. And that's
Yeah.
not who a person is. You are not your mistakes. You are what you do with the mistakes and what
yes,
you make from those mistakes.
and not
Being
just
being in this industry is hard, y'all. Like
who,
if y'all don't understand that part, like it's
who
hard.
who you
Like
telling?
my uncle sung backup for Luther Vandross his entire career. I have worked in media for like I said over 13 years. I said 10 years in radio, but 13 years I've worked in media. It's been a hard road. YouTube was like my last resort. But watching what she said and hearing what she said, I understand the struggle. And I also understand people don't really value your worth
At
until
all.
you actually make
Yeah.
it big. Then they're like, oh my God, I follow him from this or I follow her from that. And I love her from this. But while you're on the road, nobody really supports you. Like I always thought they were like, even on my channel, and I'm not even talking about money for real, but I don't even get cash apps or anything like that. Like, and I don't even ask for that stuff because to me, it's about coming onto my channel and like talking to y'all, having a really good time. I would
Yeah.
love that stuff, but it's a job too. I get
Mm-hmm.
paid $10 an hour in my lowest pay grade. But you think I get $10 an hour coming on YouTube? I don't. but I come on because I want to. It's my passion. When I go to work with my school, I get my pay that I get from my school. Do I got get paid? I should get paid. Absolutely, I don't. But I go because it's something it's a passion of mine. So look at those things before you start judging people who go through things. And again, I think myself back about Tammy and do the same thing. I'm wrong on that because I judged her so badly. And in
Yes,
reality,
he
she did.
did.
And I have to say this about the whole situation of being in media, like breaking it down very quickly. I went to school. Everything I do on YouTube, I make it a point every few months when somebody says something to me and like real life family and friends say, "Well, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing this?" I have to make it a point even on my own YouTube to tell y'all, I went to school to do this. I didn't go to school to do anything else but do what I'm currently doing now. So when it comes to producing, directing, setting up everything, I went to school to do this. I'm doing what I wanted to do because this is what I wanted to do out of life. I'm just not getting paid for it. And I would appreciate if somebody would support me in that. That's why I thank the people who even, hop into, like, I don't have the numbers that everybody else has, but I appreciate the people who come over there and support me because that's all somebody really wants at the end of the day.
Right.
Support me in my craft. And when it comes to
Support me, Marlo, bitch. Support me. That's
right,
like,
but it's like support me. I was like, I make it a point to even my family. I was like, I'm doing what I want to do. I'm not
yeah,
getting paid for it right now, but I'm doing what I want to do, and I have to support myself as a freelance photographer and a freelance graphic designer. And even in that, it's just like sometimes people don't want to pay your prices. So when you
yeah.
do get the support, you want
So
that
we do
support.
we do the same thing, and I'm gonna tell you this. This happened to me this week. So someone said they wanted me to build a website for them. So they looked at my work and they said, "Well, have you built a corporate website?" I said, "All website building website is the same thing. It doesn't make
Mm-hmm.
no difference." But they downgraded me because of that, and so it makes me feel lower than me because I'm like,
Yeah.
well, I can build that website. I just haven't. I had an opportunity to do it, and when I did do it, their business didn't last. So that's not my responsibility. But because I can't show you that. So now you downgrade me. You want to pay me what I want, what I'm supposed to be paid. To me, that's why I don't like doing graphics and websites because people want to try to judge you off of your work. But my work is different because if I build a website for Prosperity Thick Girl and you, and let's say that she works for Coca-Cola and you work for a mom and pop shop, y'all website gonna look different. But if her business goes down and yours don't, but this is my example to show, it brings me down. You know what I'm
and
saying?
people and
And
people don't
that's
get that.
bullshit. Like that's not my work. That's not my work. Like I can't
My
show
work is
you.
the website. And
Yeah,
that's what
that's
the
my
fuck the
work.
business did.
And if you look at the little website, then you know I can do the big website. Period. And
And
if you
my
don't want to, and you don't want to value that or respect that, then take your ass on somewhere else and
Mhm.
let somebody else rape you. Oh, I said the word R word. I'm sorry.
Rape,
R
rape.
word you financially to build that website. Then go on in because I don't need that part. This is a part of my life where I literally did this too for fun because I like doing that. I love doing websites. But don't come to me and say to me like I'm not worth it because you can't see something that I've done on a corporate level because it takes a person to trust you to do a corporate level website to do it. Period.
Child, I listen, I built a logo for someone's record company, and
How much did you charge for that logo?
um it
I'm just
wasn't
curious.
for the logo, and it's not like a it's not like a big company. It's just like a startup. I
Mhm.
charged them initially $100 with me being on retainer for
Bam.
anything else they wanted me to do.
But listen, so do you know how much people pay for logos?
Yeah,
That's my thing. Like it's like when people are negotiating $100 to me, that is so that's discouraging.
but here's the thing.
Exactly.
You know
When
your
I
work, you know your work ethic, you know what you did to put, you know the work you put in for that, and you don't want to like oversell yourself. But the reality is that $100 is very cheap for a
It
logo.
is, and that's when we had the meeting and everything with them because once again, like I do this. This is what I went to school for, and I sat down with them and I said, for someone. like outside of me, I'm giving it to you cheaply, but we're also going to set up the situation with if you need graphics for shirts or anything else, you come to me first and then I tell you another price from
That's how
there.
you
And
do it,
that's
though.
how I set that situation
That's how
up.
you do
Now,
it.
when it came to, okay, I started making obituaries. I don't want to hear nothing about it, but I got
Mhm.
into that, and it was a situation where my
How
mother
much
had a
were they
friend.
paying you for those?
First of all, I had never made one ever. That like
Oh,
when
okay.
I did it, this was the first time doing it, and I was like, it was like my mother's friend, but I didn't know the man. But I was like,
People think that doing websites or like graphics is like something fun that people do when it's like
no, it's the
that's
most,
no, that's their mentality though.
yeah,
They think it's like something for fun, like they shouldn't pay you for it. But look at these major corporations who had these businesses who had those. They pay thousands of dollars for that.
to outsource it.
But then when they come to you and you're like, well, I charge $500, they're like, oh, well, I can't pay that. That's too much money.
Oh,
Like,
that's the point. Yeah,
wait. Well, what do you expect your business to do? Like, or what's going on here?
that's
It's like
and
some temporary business, and I hate working with black people for real. I'm gonna be honest, I hate it because they're so judgmental when it comes down to your fees. Churches, I've had the worst business with because
child.
churches
I'm not
they
doing it.
will really railroad you, and I'm like, you know what? The last one I did was the last one I'll ever do because they're like, well, I could have bid it myself, but then why you ain't do it?
And that's the point of this story. So I did one for my mother's friend, and I was like, well, I felt bad because he had just lost his mother, and I was like, I'd never done one before, like this first time ever doing an obituary, and like
Mm,
the like full thing. Even like wanted me to write like the full program wanted me to write the obit, and I was like, I don't know this lady, but I did it all, and I was like, okay, I'll charge you 115 because it's like first time ever doing an obituary, and
mm.
he loved everything I did and had me do a slideshow. Then so he tacked on another $15 for the slideshow I put together because I do those as well. And then said, loved your work. Gave me
Very
more
true.
money when I like gave me more money when I gave him the finished product, handed me more money for my work. So when I got asked to do another one and I told them what my price was, they didn't say nothing else to me, didn't get back to me, saw my work and what I did, still didn't get back to me. And then my mother, because it was friend of the family, when my mother went to the services for their mother, and she,
Thank you,
because she
sis.
was on the phone with me
Yes.
facilitating the situation, and
Ricardo,
she
real quick, let me give me real quick. I'm gonna set out my super chat. Thank you, Q, for the super
yeah,
chat. Let me go, Deb. Listen, y'all, I never really asked for nothing for real, for real. Me being a school teacher, like y'all be like, I don't know what people be thinking, but sending me cash apps, it means a lot for me because
same.
during the summertime, during my breaks, I don't work. Like I don't get money for real, for real. So this means a lot for me. And I think Shy Sound for even saying this. You know, $2 will help, like for real, y'all. Send it to my cash app. I don't need a lot of I don't you don't have to send me $100, $10, $20. $2 will help a lot for real, because I work hard for this channel.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it makes me not want to come onto YouTube because I put programs together. Like I have the PDF files. I do a lot
Mm-hmm.
of stuff to put my programs together. So I do appreciate her for saying this because it means a lot when you guys do even say anything when it comes down to anything financial for my channel, because none of us, all of us who have these channels, it takes work.
It
ten
does.
dollars an hour, $10 for a whole hour will be amazing because that's what you get paid for working a lot of times.
It
And I'm
does.
not
Exactly, and he uses his money for school. He
Yeah.
puts his he don't use his money for him most of the time. He uses his money for his students that
I
don't
do.
have food and don't have uniforms and don't have school supplies. It's not just the school supplies. He does uniforms. He feeds these kids. He takes time with it.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about it. It's not going to him basically for real in real life.
And
His rent
I
is
pay my
covered, and
own
that's what he
bills.
worries about.
yeah.
Yeah, I pay my own bills and stuff, but like my super chats, it does go to my kids for real. And like people were asking me the other day, was like, well, what do you need for your school? My school provides everything for my students, but what they don't provide is anything for the teachers that are at working at my school. So that's my thing. Is like, and thank you, Miss Val, for the super chat. Um, But again, my thing is that I'm gonna get this like next month.
Mm-hmm.
Today means more than the
Mhm.
next month for me because and I love super chats, y'all. I'm not taking that down from nobody. I really appreciate super chats, but my cash app it's immediately it's for me right now because
Mm-hmm.
when I spend my money, like when my kids don't get lunch, when my kids need books at school, like I pay that out of my pocket. So I just want people to know that, understand that part. I'm not begging for nothing because
No.
regardless whether you send it to me or not, I'm still gonna do
God
it.
gonna make sure
Yeah.
I just
he
let
did it.
people know when I'm on my own stuff. I just let them know in the intro. I was like, if you want to, you ain't got to, but if you want to, it's down there
Thank
for
you, Pink
you.
Dynamite, for your super chat as well.
We thank y'all all for the super chats, and I let people know. I was like, I ain't no, I'm not begging for it because I realized a long time ago when I was trying to pay for my master's degree, which I'm still paying on that, and they're gonna get their money when they get it, and then y'all gonna send me my little certificate. But when I was paying for my master's degree and paying for it out of pocket, I just realized like a lot of people who were, oh my God, you're so great, we're so proud of you, and it's just like, well, I'm not asking you to pay for the full thing. I'm like, I'm paying for it out of pocket and I'm working multiple jobs. It would be nice if, you could at least share my GoFundMe I had up. Wouldn't even do that for me. And then it's just like now when you come to me asking me maybe to do a photo shoot for
Oh
you.
wait, let me say this too. Thank you, Pam, for my cash app too as well.
Oh,
I didn't
shout out
I
to
just not
Pam.
seen
Yes,
it.
Cash
Nicole Blue, yes, child. Believe me, that they railroad child,
Yeah.
and then people don't want to pay your prices. You want
Mm-hmm.
me to sit here and put all these goddamn rocks on your name and glitz and glitter, and I got shit all over my clothes now. I done ruined the whole outfit, and then you want to ask me why my prices, what my prices? Because I worked for this. I worked hard for this. I gave you what you asked for, and it's spectacular. That's why.
Yeah.
Child, they act
And let me
like.
tell you something. At my school this year, like I wanted to do this on my other channel, but
Mm-hmm.
we here now. We have a lot of black men at my school this year, y'all. I am so happy about this. We have a black man in kindergarten, first grade, second grade, third. I'm the second grade black man, third grade, and fourth grade. We have black
And
men.
that's
We have
great.
two black
Wow.
men in third grade. So me coming on, y'all, like there's a guy who's working at my school right now who watches my channel who joined my school because of me. So
Oh,
I'm telling y'all, like, I'm changing lives over here for real, y'all. And my program that I work with, like, they pay for your schooling as a black person, black man, black woman. They pay for your certifications. So I'm helping people, like, for real, for real. That's why when I say stuff, y'all, like, and that's why I want to do on my other channel because I want to do news stuff over here, but I also want to make sure that people know if you're in Atlanta, like you can get a job. If you are passionate about kids, like talk to me because I can help people get jobs that want to work with kids for real. And
Please
they,
want to
they will
work
pay
with the
for they will
kids.
pay for your certifications as a black man or as a black woman going to want to be a school teacher. We need y'all.
mm.
So
And want to work with
take
the
me out of
kids.
the
Don't be
equation.
doing it
I
for the
don't care if
money.
you like me or you don't like me. I don't care about none of that stuff. Take me out of the equation. We need y'all as black men and black women in these schools right now because these kids don't have that and they
No,
need y'all.
I didn't have that. Like I had maybe, if I'm being real,
What's going on,
in,
82?
in high school, I had, to be real, to be honest, two black teachers. One was a science teacher, one was my homeroom teacher, and was the choir teacher. So, spent most of my time with her, but the rest of the teachers were white. And then you see that disconnect between the two. But I appreciated the two black teachers I had
But
Mm-hmm.
we don't have
because,
that problem in DC. We got all black. We got mostly
y'all,
black people.
And see,
y'all,
Andy, see, that's different. When I graduated from
mhm.
high school, Atlanta was they needed black men as teachers. That's I wanted to move to Atlanta when I graduated from high school because I knew I could get a full ride from school and I wanted to teach. My major was early childhood education. My mom didn't want me to move from Ohio, so I stayed. But the crazy thing is that it came back around for me. And so
Hmm.
now, like I'm telling everybody, like, yo, if there's something that you want to do, you're passionate about it, like, let me know. I got you. I can get you in the door. They will pay for your education. So when I come on and say, yo, throw me a few dollars or whatever on the cash app or whatever, like it's because it helps me help other people for real. And I've gotten at least 10 people jobs right now. Like
Oh,
that.
And I don't advocate for people that's not true. So Deb
Yeah.
is passionate about you can tell how passionate So Deb is about what he talks about. I don't advocate for everybody, but this is one person that yes, he does what he say he's gonna do, and his word is his bond. I have seen it, I have experienced it. So yes.
And well, I haven't experienced it, but I'm gonna just say I go up for people who are about their word and are about their business and really get stuff done. And from what I've seen of SoDeb so far, he gets it done. And let's be clear, I don't say that for a lot of people because I don't like people like that. Just being honest, people are not my forte. But I like the people I'm up here with. Just don't like
Yeah,
everybody.
Starbucks charge about $20 for a damn cup of coffee.
Child, tell me why I went to Starbucks and I want to give me a little frappe, and the lady was like, "Oh, I can't make no blended drinks." Then what can you make? Because that's the only thing I wanted.
And last year, like I really wanted to buy my kids this flag football thing. Or was it flag football? I think it was called something else. It was like capture the flag is what it's called.
Yeah.
But as a substitute, I don't make a lot of money for real. Like the teachers do. And I was like deciding whether I wanted to do this for a profession or whatever. But I bought that because the boys that they want to play, but they can't touch each other. So flag football or catch the flag, you don't got to like tackle nobody. You just take the flag to each other.
Yeah.
So it changed the direction of what they were doing. And so it was like, we ain't gonna tackle you. They trying to get these flags, but nobody ever got touched. Nobody got hurt. And that school was like, man, like we wish we would have thought about this. I'm like, for me, I didn't like all the physical stuff when I was in school. I wanted to like play football and capture the flag, but don't tackle me or hurt me because I'm a fragile man. Like I don't like all that stuff.
I'm delicate.
And I
breathe
mean fragile in a space where like don't hurt me. You know what I'm saying? Not fragile in my mentality, but don't hurt me. So when I bought that, like it just changed that they're playing outside because it's like, well, I ain't gotta like push him down to the ground and play football with him. It's these I need to get these flags off of them. So like everything I do, like a lot of my stuff that I do, it is for my kids.
And then there's just like, oh, I appreciate that in you as a
Y'all
teacher.
have gym?
And then like
Do y'all have gym at your school?
We don't have gym in our school.
child gym is the wait, what?
They have
What's the
social
grade?
black
That's
like
part of
45 for
school.
like 30 minutes and then they go back inside. They don't
What's
have
the
gym.
what's the grade level for your
Oh
school?
God.
Well, I teach second grade.
Okay,
Well,
but
our
then
school goes up to all the way up to
In the
12th grade.
second grade,
Yeah.
gym was the best part of second grade. Like I
yeah,
wanted to go
it
play
was.
kickball. I wanted to go play
I like
tag. I
But
want to do
but
all of
but
that.
but the thing is this, y'all, and I really want on my other channel. I really want to talk about this. My principal told us this story because we do a lot of Black History stuff.
hmm
What she told us, it changed my whole perspective about suspending kids from school. She showed us the statistics of Black kids that get suspended from school. Her goal is to never suspend kids from school.
Mm.
Like it takes a lot for them to get suspended from school. So last year I was like, get these kids up out of here for real. Like it's time for them to go. But her reasoning to not do it, it changed my life. Like y'all, like I cried in our sessions this week because I'm like, to me, like I wish that was my principal. She was like, I don't want to be a part of that statistic for my kids. Listen, we might have some problems, but let's work these out in school, not outside of school, because when we suspend our kids, when they go home, they don't learn.
Yeah.
They'll
They,
learn or eat some
and they
of
get
them.
behind, and then we got to catch them up. Let's keep them in the school. Let's figure out how to do this part. Like our principal is amazing. The other thing is that we have a assistant principal for each grade. First grade has assistant principal. Second grade, third grade, fourth grade, fifth grade, every grade to the 12th grade, they have their own principals. So the way that it works, like this lady, like the way she's doing stuff, like to me, I wish I had that growing up. And I support her vision because it makes us work harder as teachers, but it also makes us value our kids more. And I love that. We've been reading books about Black history, and how I told her, I said, growing up, I thought that reading was a punishment.
I loved it.
Oh, I
I
love
didn't
reading.
realize that reading was a privilege. Reading when I was in school, they made you read as a punishment. But but back in the like they could not read.
They got killed for reading.
They got killed for reading. But we had the privilege of being able to read. Yo, it changed my whole life. And I think I knew this, but going through these classes, like it grounded me. And I felt bad. I had to apologize to myself, like, listen, we gotta do better because I hate reading. But I'm gonna look at it differently now because I know that it's not a punishment anymore. It's really like I need to know how to read for real.
Mhm.
And y'all can see me like when I'm doing my stuff, like I struggle with reading when I'm reading the articles on my channel. I ain't no shame in my game. I struggle reading sometimes because I hated it, but I didn't realize the privilege of reading.
Now math, I hate it.
Oh, yeah. No,
I
math
hate
is not
math.
my. Ooh,
I
math
read
is.
anything. I love reading. I love English. I
Yes.
love history. Math, yeah. No, we're not good.
I love reading, and that's the thing that like my aunt would be like, "You spend too much time on your phone." It was like, one, I use my phone for business because photographer do all this stuff. I can do the graphic design from my phone. But the other thing is I'm actually reading on my phone because I love to read. Reading was not like life was bad for me as a kid, but it was just like I
It was
once
an
again, like I
escape.
say, it was an escape. Like I don't really fool with a lot of people, and reading just
Oh, and
made it
thank you, Shy
easier.
Town, for the cash app.
Thank you for the cash app. But I was like, reading was just fun because it was just like you got to get lost in these different books and like you pictured yourself into their world. So yeah, reading was fun. Math, I'm cool on that. Okay, I'm good on math. No, thank you. I know how to count my money. I know where my money is, where it's not, and how to do the stuff when it comes to my money. But anything else, no. I'm not about to do it. I hate math.
That's how I rate a good book. If a book makes me think that I'm watching a movie, because I fell asleep reading a many of books, and I'm waking up like, what channel was this on? And if a book can do that for me, oh my God, that's the book.
Oh, hey,
Ooh,
beautifully
yeah.
animated. Thank you for coming over here.
Hey,
She said
sis.
I had an awesome high school principal. Everyone loved him. Blessed to
We
have
do
had
too.
him. He unfortunately passed away from cancer. Listen, there you go, cancer again, y'all. After
Mhm.
we graduated, he never told or showed he was suffering. Listen,
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling y'all, like I never knew I needed to be a teacher, y'all. Like it means so much. And I know you know that, girl. Like it means like I
Mhm.
never knew I needed to do this.
I love
When I
when
walked
kids
into
do
school on Monday and we had our meetings, and then Tuesday they set me down at my own desk. It made me feel
that.
like y'all don't understand what that meant for me. Like I have my own
That's
desk,
because they
and
saw your work last year. They
yes,
saw your work last year,
we had
and
to
they
do
value
we
you
had to do
this year.
role play. They gave us scenarios about role plays, and one of the teachers that she's like our art director. She's like, you know how to like. I know you know how to do with these kids. I was like, but improv, I hate doing it. She was like, but you know how to do it. She's like,
Mhm.
I see how you work with these kids. Like the fact that they understand my impact with these kids, and the kids know the same thing. Like
Mhm.
it
Mhm.
changes you a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I like for me, like I know my channel's about news and stuff. That's why I have my other channel because I want to go and I want to be like rant like rant with cut off and rant with so dead. Like I want to rant about my shit at school because I love what I do, y'all. Like it makes me happy. I don't feel like I go to work.
Because seeing a child and knowing that you impacting the child's life is a whole nother level of happiness. I had a group called Turning Positive Girls into Positive Women. I had 19-year-olds jumping double dutch. I had them doing arts and crafts.
Girl.
Kids want to be kids. They just want to
Yeah.
know it's okay to
Mhm.
be a child. So if you get one child doing something and you get another child doing it, they can't tease each other about being, oh, you're a little kid. But no, because we're all little kids, because we're all doing the same things. And if you can get they could beef all in the neighborhood, but once they came down in my center, it was no more of that. And once they left my center, now you ain't beefing no more because guess what? Y'all were just in here playing together. So I would get all the girls. It's not about just our children anymore because the kids that no one cares about may be the child that hurts your child because nobody cares about that child. So like I said, they care about another child. This is why we have the violence that we have because
Yes.
everybody wants to protect theirs. No, it's not just about chores. My house has always been the house that all the kids come to because I don't know what you do in your house, but you know what I do in my house. So you gonna call? Is my child over there, girl? You already know where your child at. That's what kids want. Kids and these kids still love me to this day. I'm talking about these kids are like 30 now. Now I'm not that much older than them. I'm 13. I'm only 43 now. So I act like I'm old. But I have 30-year-olds that still come back to me and say, Miss Joanne, I love you, or just come past just to see me, or when they see me on the street, they want to hug. Kid, the way you impact a child's life can impact. It's impacting our future. We do
That's
not have the luxury of no longer doing this bull crap where we don't care about each other no more. Because what makes us better than the generation before us? If they didn't do
right.
the things that they did before for us, where would we be? So we have to give back to our next generation because they have to give back to their next generation, and it has to go on and go on. Because guess what? We can't live in. We won't have to live in a the world, and guess what? We helped create it. We can't complain when the world is fucked up because we helped create it. What did we do to change it? So if we're not doing nothing to change it, stop complaining all the damn time and do something.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at. Like to me, like it's just like I don't have no kids, but these are my kids, and I'm working
Well, I
hard
have five,
every
and I
day.
love all the kids.
Yeah,
Prosperity, I already told you
I'm
them
doing
kids
it.
probably eating you out of house and home. So when they graduate and go on to college and you take your vacation, I'll slip you a little something on your cash app because child, I
I
remember
got
being
two of
a
them out of college, and I got two more to get through. I got a 15 and 16-year-old. I got two to graduate. My premature baby, he was supposed to have been all these things they said, but my baby graduated high school a whole year early. So it's not about what they tell you're gonna be. It's about how you parent your child and
hmm
how you mother your child, and you cater to them kids and you love on them.
and how you pour
And
into them.
education is not a game, and I don't play them games. One thing you gonna do, the only job you got as a child is to get your education and to do what I tell you to goddamn do.
And you
So
also have to pour into them positively because if you
exactly.
don't, it leaves them susceptible to all these outside people trying to get into their minds and get them to do something that would go against what you already taught them.
Yes,
Now,
that's why I teach my kids to read the dictionary because don't ask me no question. How you spell this? No, go read the dictionary because I'm your mama. I'm gonna give you the right answer. But if you go to somebody on the street and ask them a question and they give you the wrong answer, how do you know that it's wrong? You got
Right.
education is something nobody can take from you. Nobody can take it from you. So you got to get it for yourself.
You
And
got
that's
to
the
get
way I
this.
raise my kids. You have to get it from for yourself because anybody can tell you anything.
and
Well, listen,
honestly,
I did drop my wish
I see
list
the
for
wish
my
list.
school stuff. Because there's some shirts and hoodies that I want for my school year, and there's like a pair of shoes that I want. But if y'all want to go ahead and click on that link, send me some stuff because this
I'm gonna
year is
put
gonna be
you on my
so
TikTok.
amazing.
I'm
That's
gonna put you
great,
on my
Sky
TikTok so
Town.
that
That's really great. Because that's how I am. They call you down
Because people was
because
asking
their
like,
parents
what
want
do
to
I
be
need
parents.
for? Well, people were asking what I need for my classroom, but they was like, we provide everything. I was like, well, I want to give someone that was like nothing that you're going to bring. We don't. We already have everything. So I'm like, well,
Mhm.
then give me some stuff for as the teacher. So I got like school teacher shirts that I want. So y'all click those links, send me some stuff, cause
I'm a well, as soon as wash day happen,
I gotta
I'm
get
gonna
you a
get on my
teacher cup.
I'm gonna get on my TikTok and put you on there because you know, hey, there's the best way to get, especially about teachers. That's the best way to get you out there
you
We
because
know,
gotta
they.
get you the cup to sit on your desk.
Mhm.
I got some cups that I want. I got some cups on my wish list that from teacher stuff though. I
No,
like.
you need a cup out there, girl. You don't need. I'm not talking
Well,
about that.
I already told you I was gonna get one from you though. I already
No,
told you that.
yeah, and I'm also gonna gift you one.
She gonna custom cup for you
Oh,
to be
okay.
on your desk for the kids to come see
You're
like who made your
different. You
cup.
need your
Okay.
own. You got your own
Yeah.
swag. You gotta have your own. You gotta be personalized.
I say
Okay.
this about education, especially going into higher education. I don't care if you go directly out of high school or you take some time off and go back when you're older. If you gonna do it, you do it because
But also,
you know
it's not about college either, Brent and
yeah,
Ricardo. It's
to get like a
trades out
trade.
here also.
Yeah,
People,
that
yeah,
too.
people think that college is no. Everybody's not meant for college.
No, yeah.
Trades are good because I got a couple of certificates. I'm a CNA. I'm a medical
Hmm.
office specialist. Yeah, yeah. It's not about
Yeah,
like I tell my kids all the time. I graduated, went back to school again, got another one, went back again, got another one. You got to get yours. I got mine.
yeah, and I forgot to add trade, but that's just like college it may not be meant for you, but maybe something else is meant for you. And when you succeed in it and when you get your certificates, you get your diplomas, you get your degrees, you get, awards because your business then, outshined like and they didn't set you up for, you really did this. Be proud of that.
Yeah.
Own what you did.
I'll tell you this:
Wave it in their face.
my kids last year, they saw me. I was editing something on YouTube, and
Hmm.
they saw my subscribers. They was like, "Are you celebrity?" I said, "No, I'm not a celebrity."
You
They
know,
was like,
kids think
Mr. Lane is a
anything on
celebrity. I
TV.
was like, no, no, yo, I'm not a celebrity. It was like, yeah, you got 8,000 subscribers on your YouTube channel. He's a celebrity. I said, no, I'm not.
Child,
I
kids
said,
make you feel special.
Hmm.
yes, they do. They do.
Kids, adult would make you feel little as hell, but you go talk to a child, you feel like you walking on
Yeah,
clouds. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
it makes
Like
you
my
feel.
niece and them saw me on here. My sister sent text to the whole family, telling me, "Oh my God, y'all, Joanne is she kind of famous. She be on YouTube talking to all the people, and she know them too." I said, "Girl,
No,
I don't even have my own channel up all the way yet."
and
Mhm.
that's the thing is like I be
Are
just
you
so
doing your
happy.
live, the girl?
No, no, I'm about to start. I'm about to start. I'm about to start. I want to start with the because I want to do a deep dive into you don't watch the show that you don't watch, Love and Merge from season one,
Oh my
and
Yeah, I
I'm
don't
god,
watch it.
child. Well, if you
me and
do a deep
Nola and Beef Soap and Candy Shop supposed to be getting together to do something.
thick girl, if you do
But
a
I need to start just doing lives just to
But
be doing them so
Shy
I can
Town,
get that watch hour.
can you put the girl's channel in my chat so people can subscribe to it?
thick girl, if you start doing deep dives, you know me, I'll come over there and support you and everything. Cause I be thankful when you come over there and support me, even if it's after I done got off of there.
You know what I
Y'all
said?
know what
I'm
I'm
going
gonna
to
do.
go
I'm gonna
back and watch
support if
that
I don't
show
do
though.
nothing else.
Huh?
I'm gonna go back and watch that show.
Child, it's a mess. I'm
Cause
in the middle
y'all
of
like the way y'all talk about it, I'm like, maybe I should watch it.
child.
I
It's
never
a good
really like
show.
got into it at all.
But the show that Brent Ricardo, All the Kings Man, I went to her chat the other night and she was giving, child, I was all conversating like I knew the show. I didn't know nothing about this goddamn
I
show,
No,
but I
love
was
mind
that
all in
show. I love
on
that show.
mind you, I got to wait till because I said it to Day when I was updating the folks because I did two lives and everything, got them out of the way because I got to do sisters before the weekend or I won't do that show at all.
Oh, you doing
I'm not
sisters
gonna watch
too?
that.
Yeah,
I'm not watching
yeah,
that.
I do
Can I
sisters.
come on with you when you do sisters?
Yeah, because they only got two more episodes left.
I watch that show faithfully. I hate that Tyler Perry made it, but I watched it faithfully. And I
What?
was like, it doesn't make sense. You
Do
know
you
what?
think she's gonna tell So Dead no?
Huh?
Do you
What
think
you
she's
say?
gonna tell So Dead no? He can't come on her channel. That
I
would be
would.
asinine and crazy.
Who
She's
said
gonna
I'm?
say yes.
Who said I'm
He
not?
loves
Um,
you.
girl, Shy tells that she doesn't see your channel. So this how we find your channel.
It's
Prosperity Thick Girl 40.
okay, yeah, because I for like I don't
I
think it's
can't send it from my. I'm on my phone.
I don't think it's hold on, I'll go pull it up and then I'll send it to SoDeb.
She said DM her your channel so people can find it, and
Okay.
then
But
just
yeah,
like in the description or something.
now I don't do it on Wednesdays. I do it the day after just because most of the time I'm trying to well, I do
Well, I don't do nothing on Thursday either, so that would be cool for me.
okay. Well that
But I
they got
watch the show faithfully, so I can be present.
okay, cause now who is
Because
your fave?
I'm sick of that girl. What's her name? The girl that Zach dated,
Karen? Karen.
Karen. I can't
we
stand her.
we gonna get along just fine because I didn't have to beat her for filth today and talking about oh he does this all the time
But
he
be
get
back
mad
up.
at me he go out and sleep with everybody and then he come back and I'm like well why would you want that the last time he did that you came back and gave you something you don't want that I
Yeah.
didn't have to tell that crazy lady way too many times to stop that but no I do it on Thursdays because on Wednesdays I'm probably either trying to get Basketball Wives out because I don't feel like fooling with nothing on Mondays. But now I've
Okay.
started to do daily, like you know the Am I the A-hole stories on Reddit.
Mm,
I like those stories, so now I've started to do those stories, and I was like, I'll just do like 3 stories in one live daily as something
okay.
I could get up here and do because then it's just like I got other stuff I want to work on, but people don't realize how much it takes when it comes to YouTube,
True.
especially when you're trying to plan out a entire like this is not something I'm gonna come up here and do once. This
Well,
is
listen,
going to
I'm gonna end this live and we can talk backstage. So
okay.
let me end this live for us, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me for this conversation, y'all. I really do appreciate it. I will see you guys on another show, but I got to go. Bye, y'all.